To save the sanctity of his family, the patriarch ventured deep into the wilderness, fighting thousands of ferocious beasts. He collected enough magical beast cores. Afterwards, he hurried toward Sand Sculpture City. Before long, Song Yunxiang piloted his shuttle into Sand Sculpture City's vicinity. Although he used a concealment array to be safe, he decided to store the shuttle in his spatial storage and proceed on foot. Halfway there, Song Yunxiang took out the faceless mask of the multitudes. He hadn't had a chance to study it carefully before. Now that he needed to sneak into Sand Sculpture City, he figured he'd try a different appearance. With a slight thought, the mask activated. He transformed into the visage of a Xiaoyu native. Although he thought, looking like a half Xiaoyu native might be better, since he was about to deal with a submarine researcher, this form wouldn't be suitable. Thinking this through, he changed into the appearance of the lecher Song Yi. Still unsatisfied, he switched through several different looks. Once inside Sand Sculpture City, Song Yunxiang headed straight to the branch of the Hong Merchant Guild. Seeing a customer enter, the maid warmly greeted him. "Welcome. What would you like to purchase, sir?" Disguised as an old man, Song Yunxiang replied that he was looking for Manager Liu. "Manager Liu, this gentleman is here for you." Hearing the maid's call, a middle-aged man in the hall walked over in puzzlement. It was Liu Yong of the Hong Merchant Guild. "May I ask who you are, sir?" Song Yunxiang gave a slight bow. "I was referred by Manager Hong of Southern State to conduct this trade." Hearing this, Liu Yong invited him into the inner hall. "Are you a Song clan retainer?" Song Yunxiang nodded. "You could say that. I'm indeed here on behalf of young Master Yunxiang. This trade is for the Thousand Chi Sutra and the Zisha gallbladder." After confirming his identity, Liu Yong led the way toward the reception room. "So you're Yunxiang's man. That's fine. This way, please. The Samarin family's representatives have been waiting for quite some time. By the way, the ferocious beast materials they requested, do you have them ready?" Song Yunxiang replied that everything was prepared. In the private chamber of the reception room, two individuals sat quietly waiting. The young woman curiously glanced at the elder beside her. "Mr. UNP, I don't understand. The Thousand Chi Sutra and the Zisha gallbladder are both rare elixirs from your private collection. While they aren't extremely precious, they're still very rare. Why would you pay out of your own pocket to trade them for materials, to develop new beast mech models?" Hearing this, the elder smiled faintly and explained, "Miss Jeruo, while we're here on behalf of the Samarin family to fulfill the seller's commission, the data from these new mech models is ours to take back. If it helps speed up our research, what's a small personal expense?" "It's just a small expense," the elder chuckled. "I'm quite optimistic about the seller's new prototype that can rival the Soul Master's innovation. Developing a new machine based on that concept. It's very promising indeed." Just as he finished speaking, a knock came at the door. "Apologies for the wait, both of you. This is the buyer of the Thousand Chi Sutra and the Zisha gallbladder." Liu Yong proceeded to introduce both parties, and under his assurance, the transaction was smoothly completed. While surprised at the high quality of the crystals Song Yunxiang presented, there were no unexpected incidents. After the deal concluded, Song Yunxiang took his leave, having secured both rare herbs. All that remained was the seller's wooing flower. First, he decided to scout out the seller's location in the Western District, then act at night. With this in mind, Song Yunxiang activated a concealment array and quietly infiltrated the Western District. He had expected the military zone to be heavily guarded, but to his surprise, some simple diversions allowed him to slip through with ease. After confirming the seller's location, he set off toward his destination without delay. But midway through, he suddenly sensed a divine level aura. Cautious, he quickly hid nearby, quietly observing. Even with 2 layers of concealment, there was no mistake. This was a divine level aura. Strange, who is that woman? No familiar soul force fluctuations. Could she be someone I never encountered in my previous life? She seemed to be watching someone. Song Yunxiang curiously scanned the area using his new system. Then, images of Lan Kuan's group appeared in his view. Jiaran tribe. That young man radiates soul power waves. That feels strangely familiar. At the hot springs bathhouse in the western district of Liaoqing, the Longhai Kingdom trader, Lan Zhou, left with the divine jade. The 3 people monitoring him from a distance immediately followed. Am I the mantis stalking the cicada? Seeing this, the divine level expert Huang Miaoying quietly tailed them, hidden from sight. Song Yunxiang also made his move. "Well, I'll just take it all." Unaware of all this, Lan Zhou was still fiddling with the divine prison in his hand. Behind him, Lan Kuan's group shadowed his every move, waiting for an opportunity. As a celestial level expert, Lan Zhou soon sensed something was amiss. He glanced back discreetly, and then leapt away, disappearing into the distance. "Not good, he's noticed us." Seeing this, Lan Kuan signaled the others to give chase. Lan Zhou's figure darted between buildings, heading toward the outskirts of the city. Once at the celestial realm, one can move freely in the air. A city wall several dozen meters high was no obstacle for him. Just as he reached the outskirts, Lan Kuan's group hastened their pace. "Lanli, stay behind and cover us. I'll chase him with the young master." Hearing this, Lanli used his strength to leap onto the city wall, landing about a third of the way up. "Jianshu, hurry up," he shouted as his voice trailed off. Blue Jin, still below, also sprang into action. Using Lanli's support, he leapt to an even higher spot. After steadying himself, he shouted down, "Step on us and use us as leverage." Lan Kuan pushed off with his feet and leapt upward, using each foothold to reach the top of the city wall. Once he had locked onto Lan Zhou's position, he immediately gave chase. The soldiers guarding the wall quickly noticed something amiss. How dare you trespass beyond the outer wall? Before he could finish, Lan Jian flashed past and disappeared from sight. Once outside the city, the two no longer held back. They quickly deployed their spirit constructs. Lan Zhou didn't seem surprised when he saw who was pursuing him. The two newly formed constructs boosted their speed several-fold, and in the blink of an eye, they intercepted Lan Zhou. Lan Zhou showed no hint of panic. Instead, he smirked and began mocking them. Are you idiots? Using Tiandu navy-colored Veyron constructs in the desert. It's obvious this was devised by those fools from Longhai Kingdom. Only they could come up with such a stupid idea. Lan Zhou sneered. I had hoped to lure other princes. I didn't expect you, Lan Kuan, to show up. You mixed blood trash. Hearing this, Bluagian's face turned red with anger. You vile scum, stop your nonsense. Hand over the sacred jewel now. Lan Kuan frowned as he fixed his gaze on Lan Zhou. Uncle, the sacred jewel is critical. If you turn back now, I'll plead with my father to spare your life. Lan Zhou sneered dismissively. Turn back? Huh, of course you'd say that. Born from a human woman, such mixed blood. Even the way you speak favors the human race. Ha, pathetic human weaklings. And incompetent demon beasts. Only they live on land. We noble Jiaren possess the blood of true dragons. The rightful place for the Jiaren is the infinite, boundless depths of the sea. Allow me to show you a combat technique, worthy of the deep sea's name, the Star Soul Construct. As he finished, a golden lightning bolt struck down suddenly, but when the smoke cleared, Lan Zhou was gone from where he had stood. Not good. That treacherous bastard must have gone underground. The ground around them began swirling like water. Lan Zhou's voice echoed through the sands. Don't think I'd be as foolish as you lot. You useless worms are daring, I'll give you that. Daring enough to chase me. A peak celestial level expert. How foolish of you. The sudden attack forced the two to remain on guard. When Lan Zhou's strike missed, he vanished again. So, the old thief Longhai King must have given you that thing to deal with me, right? The dragon subduing spike is a weapon designed to counter the Jiaren. The previous Star Soul General, Ao Bing, Blue Ao himself, was taken down by that thing. But if you can't see me, what good is a dragon subduing spike? Hearing their trump card exposed, Blue Jian felt things had taken a bad turn. Lan Kuan quickly formulated a plan, shouting, Blue Jian, draw his attention. I'll seize the chance to bind him with the dragon-subduing spike. Blue Jian was unsure what to do at first, but Lan Kuan leaned in and quietly clarified. Stick to the plan we discussed earlier. Hearing this, Lan Jian immediately understood. Got it. With that, he leapt into the air, firing his weapon in all directions. Come out, you scoundrel. Face me and fight for 300 rounds. Meanwhile, on the city walls of Sand Sculpture City, Huang Miaoying had eliminated all the guards. She looked at the distant battlefield and smiled regally. Song Yunxiang, also observing from afar, carefully watched her every move. Playing cat and mouse. Is this divine-level woman just enjoying the spectacle, or is she waiting for the right moment to strike? A guard who narrowly escaped from Huang Miaoying rushed toward the city center. Strange, still no signal. What should we do, Captain? There are so many people fighting outside. But the alarm hasn't gone off. No, we must report. A short while earlier, in the central district of Sand Sculpture City, at the city's most renowned high-class beast slave club, the establishment, Hu Yinying was lounging with two beast women, looking thoroughly content. The club's manager, Abba, approached respectfully. My lord, do the two cat girls meet your satisfaction? Hu Yinying nodded. Not bad. They're top quality. Hearing this, Abba grinned. My lord, if you like. You can have both of them. Just take them home to enjoy at your leisure. Furthermore, these two cat girls were bred here in-house, and we have official pedigree certificates. They're not wild stock. This wild beast race is fully domesticated, Abba said confidently. You can rest assured, my lord. There are no safety issues. Just as he finished speaking, the two cat girls began to affectionately play up to him. Hu Yinying, always the lavish spender, happily agreed. It's not too expensive. Sure, I'll take both. By the way, you mentioned a wild beast race. I heard your shop recently got an exceptional specimen. Is that true? Abba confirmed. That's correct. Our shop recently acquired a prime batch, but they've already been reserved by regular clients. A hint of displeasure appeared on Hu Yinying's face. Do you think I'm someone who lacks money? Bring it here and let me see. If I'm satisfied, I'll pay double. Abba immediately bowed and replied nervously, I dare not. I'm not trying to be evasive, but it's already been reserved by the fourth son of the Seller family. Our shop can't afford to offend them. I ask for your understanding. Hu Yinying's frustration was evident. That damn fourth son of the Seller family again. All right, how about this? Bring it here so I can take a look. If I'm satisfied, I'll reserve one myself. I'm sorry, my lord. Abba responded. This wild beast race hasn't been tamed yet. Right now it's still being trained in the dungeon. If you want to see it, you can come with me. Hu Yinying, intrigued, stood up. What are we waiting for? Lead the way. On the second basement level of Fairy's Haven, the taming chamber. The group quickly arrived at the location. Abba began introducing the specimen. My lord, behold this wild beast breed. That's the prized specimen reserved by the Seller family's fourth son. They say he's the strongest warrior of his tribe. He's got quite a fiery temper. Don't be fooled by how he looks now. When we captured him, he killed 5 Xian-level veterans. Luckily, we used a few young Mares as bait, leading him into the trap. If you're interested in this female centaur slave, my lord, you can place a 30% deposit today. Just as Abba finished speaking, Hu Yinying's communicator went off. He answered it, and found Hu Yanfang on the other end. My lord, you were spot on. Those three do have issues. They've been following someone recently spotted in the city, a Heaven Street guest of the Seller family. After some investigation, I found that this guest is actually a fugitive wanted by Longhai Kingdom. Shall we inform the Seller family, my lord? Hu Yinying shook his head. No need. Send me your location. I'll come to meet you right away. After hanging up, he tossed a storage talisman to Abba. I have to go. This talisman contains the ransom money for Blackie and Whitey. Keep the change. I'll be back later. With that, he left the area in a hurry, the two cat girls in tow. Watching him go, Abba muttered to himself. Such an impressive man. So generous. It seems this young lord must be someone important. Just to be safe, I'll make sure the beast slave is delivered to the fourth son promptly. Back to the present. The guards were just about to report to the Seller family when two figures blocked their path. Who goes there? The guards, suddenly on edge, drew their weapons. Hu Yinying chuckled. Relax, no need to be nervous. I'm a guest of your master, Lord Maijin. What's going on here? One guard recognized him. Captain, I saw these two earlier today. They came in with General Maijin. I heard they're from the Hu family. At this, the captain quickly ordered his men to stand down. Apologies, honored guest. We're just city guards from the West District. Tonight we're stationed at Gate 13. Just now, several individuals climbed over the wall and left the city. They've started a fierce fight with constructs a few miles outside. But it seems someone tampered with the alarm formations. We're not sure exactly what happened. The alarm never went off, and we can't contact headquarters using our communication devices. A mysterious figure suddenly appeared, attacking our soldiers in the defensive zone. Only a few of us made it out alive. We were on our way to report this to the Seller family's manor, hoping for reinforcements. Hu Yinying gave a sly smile. So you're saying the Seller family hasn't been informed yet? Correct, the captain replied. Since you're guests of General Maijin. Before he could finish his sentence, Hu Yinying and his companion charged forward. Before the guards could react, they were knocked unconscious. It all happened in mere seconds. The guards collapsed to the ground, completely out cold. Shall we finish them off? Hu Yanfeng asked. No need, Hu Yinying replied with a faint smile. Just leave them. Let's go see how the Jiao clan's infighting turns out. With that, the two quickened their pace. Meanwhile, outside the city, Lan Jian continued bombarding the surroundings. Come out, you scoundrel. Be careful. Don't be too reckless, Lan Kuan cautioned. But just as he spoke, a bad feeling crept over him. In the next moment, Lan Zhou suddenly emerged from behind. Die, you idiotic half-blood, he shouted, thrusting his weapon forward. Lan Kuan, already prepared, caught the incoming arm. Not only did he block Lan Zhou's attack, he also immobilized him. The idiot is you. Did you think I had the dragon subduing spike on me? Now Jinshu, do it. Upon receiving the command, Lan Jian sprang into action. Dragon subduing spike, activate. In an instant, amidst crisscrossing black lightning, a uniquely shaped, incredibly powerful weapon manifested in his hand. Everyone was stunned at the sight. Could that be the dragon subduing spike mentioned in ancient empire records? I recall it was last held by the Nansong Temple in my past life. Isn't that the artifact of Elder Jigupo? Lan Kuan started urging. Jinshu, hurry up. I can't hold out much longer. Lan Jian's eyes glinted with malice. Don't worry, your highness. I'll free you from this burden. He hurled the dragon subduing spike forward. The impact struck Lan Kuan instead. A loud crash rang out. Lan Kuan was hit squarely. His expression one of utter disbelief. The tremendous pain surged through him, and his construct suit disassembled. With a scream, he passed out on the spot. Lan Jian then brought him before Lan Zhou. Your loyal servant Lan Jian reports to my master. Lan Zhou chuckled mockingly. He dismantled his construct suit. So you see, you're an idiot. You thought you caught me? Do you really think you pitiful fools could track down a peak heaven-level expert? Moron, I had Lan Jian lure you here on purpose. Idiot. As his taunting words echoed, there was no response from Lan Kuan. Lan Zhou then noticed awkwardly that Lan Kuan had already lost consciousness. Lan Zhou immediately ordered Lan Jian to wake him up. Following the command, Lan Jian complied. He twirled the dragon subduing spike in his hand. In an instant, a barrage of black arcs struck Lan Kuan's body. The piercing pain forced a series of wails out of Lan Kuan. Lan Zhou smirked as he watched. Lan Kuan, the dragon subduing spike's power isn't something you can endure. Lan Kuan, now awake, ignored him. Instead, he turned his gaze towards Lan Jian. Jianshu, you are a loyal soldier in father's royal guard. Why would you betray Longhai? Why betray my father? Lan Jian's expression remained cold. Apologies, Prince Lan Kuan. From the start, my loyalty has always belonged to Lord Lan Zhou. Hearing this, Lan Kuan realized the truth. This was a well-orchestrated plan all along. Lan Zhou, my uncle, what exactly are you after? Lan Zhou grinned slyly. I need your Jiao blood essence. Hearing this, Lan Kuan's brows furrowed deeply. Lan Zhou toyed with the divine jade in his hand, beginning his explanation. Do you know why the Jiao jade is treasured by our clan? Long ago, during the Western Sea Beast Plague, our Jiao clan was forced to abandon our oceanic homeland, seeking refuge under the human empire. But then, the original Ao Bing's retainer, Lan Tong, gained the power of the Star Soul General. After a grueling 3-day battle, he single-handedly killed tens of thousands of sea beasts. With Ao Bing's unparalleled divine strength, Lan Tong restored peace to the Western Sea. Our Jiao clan returned to our ancestral lands, hailing Lan Tong as the leader of our clan, established the great Longhai Kingdom. As everyone knows, When the Xinghuan general's vessel falls, the Xinghuan will return to its primordial state and seek the next suitable vessel. In order for the Xinghuan general Ao Bing to receive protection from brave warriors, the Jiao people endured countless hardships and finally obtained the secret method taught by the celestial general at the cost of exhausting their own resources. Master Lan Tong created the Jiao Jade as the greatest legacy of the Jiao people. This is the origin of our treasure, the Jiao Jade. Whenever an Ao Bing vessel nears the end of its lifespan, the secret method is once again activated, sealing the Ao Bing soul into the Jiao Jade, awaiting the next chosen individual to inherit it. When this painting was unveiled, everyone's minds were filled with thoughts. The inheritance method is so similar to that of the Huyan clan. Unfortunately, the method has been lost. Otherwise, if the Shishui kingdom could seal the Xinghuan general as a legacy passed down through generations, dominating central China would just be a matter of time. Is this story told from the perspective of the Jiao people? But the version I heard was about the Longhai king officially appointed by the Heavenly Empire. Han Kuan seemed to understand something after listening. So, does activating the inheritance of Xinghuan general Ao Bing require the blood essence of the Jiao people? Lanes slowly stepped forward and said that to activate the Jiao Jade, beginning the inheritance of the vessel for one generation, the blood essence of 3 royal Jiao people is needed. Originally, my plan was to go from Shidaio City to the heavenly capital kingdom, coordinating from inside and outside, set an ambush to capture 2 princes. Unexpectedly, some divine intervention suddenly appeared, completely disrupting my plan. Hearing this, Lan Kuan couldn't help but laugh out loud. It needs 3 royal bloodlines. Huh? Haha. No wonder the king made each prince lead a team, chasing you from all directions. Turns out it was just to keep you from gathering 3 people. There's only you and me here. What can you do now? Out of options, huh? Don't tell me that Lan Jian is your son or something. Lonzo calmly replied, idiot. If I were out of options, why would I lure you out here? Foolish Lan Kuan froze on the spot at those words. Seeing this, Song Yunxiang sighed helplessly. No doubt about it. This dumb expression. He's almost identical to the Jiao prince I met in my past life, who got sold and still helped count the money. Oh no, they've been talking too long. Shidaio City's Qin guards are on their way. These verbose villains are really... Although that woman's hidden technique wasn't particularly advanced, with her sacred level cultivation, she shouldn't be easily spotted by these. The Qin guards noticed. A large number of Qin guards gathered and headed outside the city. Fugitives ahead, stop immediately. Disarm, and put your hands on your head. While the Qin guards spoke, they launched several attacks, trying to formally subdue their target. Lan Jian simply raised his arm and counterattacked. To your old tomb. Get lost. The leading Qin guards were immediately hit. Gon quickly reassembled the mecha. Stop fighting, let's go. Take that little fool to the divine retreat. After saying that, he jumped away and left. Upon receiving the order, Lan Jian pulled the dragon-slaying spear from the ground and quickly followed behind. The 2 of them, one after the other, rushed towards the direction of the divine retreat. The Qin guards were shocked upon seeing this. Quickly, notify the guards there. They must not damage the divine retreat. The captain had just received word. 4th young master, General Mai Tai and his personal guard are on their way here. Huang Miaoying vaguely guessed Lan Zhou's intention. Could it be that Jiao person wants to use the energy of the divine retreat to activate Ao Bing's inheritance? The 2 of them each pulled out a red card. Uncle, we're going too. With that, they reassembled their mecha and charged out. Song Yunxiang was slightly surprised. Wow, who are these people? Oh well, let's just follow them for now. With that thought, he started moving as well. At the divine retreat, there were many mecha defenses around. In an instant, several attacks struck down, targeting the soldiers below. They hadn't even reacted before being hit. Losing consciousness, Lan Zhou and Lan Jian's figures appeared immediately afterward. Lan Zhou then deconstructed his mecha and slowly walked towards... Oh, my foolish nephew Lan Kuan. Now let me explain. Why with just you and me we can still gather 3 fresh Jiao blood samples to activate the inheritance ritual. In this box is the sacred level blood essence of the previous Ao Bing's vessel, Lord Lan Ao, and the energy can make the inactive blood essence boil again. As he said this, Lan Zhou poured the blood essence from the bottle onto the divine jade. In the next moment, the divine jade began to emit a faint glow. At the same time, an utterly emotionless voice came through. Please inject the 2nd royal blood sample. Hearing the prompt, Lan Zhou maliciously glanced at Lan Kuan's position. Realizing things weren't going well, Lan Kuan immediately panicked. What? How can this be happening? As Lan Zhou injected the 1st royal blood sample, 3 hidden factions watching from the shadows began to stir restlessly. Xia Yu's country hurriedly asked their young master. It seems those Jiao people are activating the Xinghuan general Ao Bing's inheritance ceremony. Should we stop them? Huyan frowned deeply upon hearing this. Unexpectedly, Xinghuan general Ao Bing's inheritance ceremony was 90% similar to Xinghuan general Nez's. If it were the same as Huyan family's inheritance, then before the 3rd blood sample was injected, that guy, in order to avoid missing the chance to enter the inheritance's secret realm, would definitely not dare to construct a mecha easily. This would be an opportunity. Thinking this through, he decisively gave the order. Let's go. Interrupt their ritual. Find an opportunity to either steal or destroy the Jiao people's heritage item. At this moment, Lan Zhou confidently approached the restrained Lan Kuan. Before him, a specially crafted dagger appeared in Lan Zhou's hand. Prince Lan Kuan, it's your turn now. As soon as he finished speaking, The dagger slashed sharply across the other's skin. The intense pain forced Lan Kuan to cry out in agony. Lan Zhou then began chanting a mysterious incantation. Under the influence of the chant, the dagger glowed faintly purple. Huang Miaoying, hidden above, watched the scene with interest. So the energy from the divine retreat can actually activate Lan Ao's preserved blood essence. It seems this divine retreat energy is something I must bring back to the Shishui pool. Perhaps it could awaken the dormant Holy Landlord. Meanwhile, Song Yunxiang, also hidden below, revealed a look of surprise. This is the ancient technique for extracting Yu blood essence. How fascinating. It's almost identical to what's recorded in the Lin Yuan clan's alchemical texts. Hopefully, they complete the inheritance ceremony smoothly. Then, regardless of who ends up with Ao Bing, I can just go over and replicate it. Blood from Lan Kuan's wound began to flow out. Guided by the technique, it slowly converged toward the divine realm. He was powerless to resist, helplessly watching it all unfold. As the blood was infused, the surface of the divine jade glimmered with green light. Realizing the blood infusion was successful, Lan Zhou stopped what he was doing. The emotionless voice once again emerged from the divine realm. Please inject the third royal blood sample. It's too late now. Lan Zhou suppressed his excitement and began his next actions. Just then, a sudden cry sounded. An energy attack rapidly struck toward him. Lan Zhou stopped immediately, leaping away to dodge the assault. Furious at the interruption, he yelled, "Who's there?" Huyan didn't respond. Instead, another attack was launched. A beam of light repeatedly crashed down on the target. Lan Zhou cursed and quickly twisted and turned to evade. Quick, go. Take advantage of the fact he won't dare construct anything. Kill the other one first. Take that object. Hearing this, Lan Jian immediately grew more vigilant. The next moment, Hu Yanfei's attack roared in from behind. Lan Jian fell to the ground, but swiftly raised his right leg to counter. However, his power level was significantly lower than Hu Yanfei's. After blocking the counterattack, Hu Yanfei's extra limbs instantly grabbed his leg. Lan Jian struggled, but it was too late. Hu Yanfei exerted force, forcibly breaking his right leg. Lan Jian quickly pulled away, creating distance. But before he could steady himself, Hu Yanfei closed in at incredible speed. Before Lan Jian could react, Hu Yanfei instantly destroyed the head of his mecha. The headless mech collapsed and faded into nothingness. Lan Jian, severely injured, coughed up blood and tumbled to the ground. In the next moment, a massive foot stomped down on him, crushing him into a pulp. It all happened in just a few seconds. Lan Zhou, witnessing the scene, flew into a rage. Damn it, you're looking for death. Xinghu and mecha, assemble. As soon as he finished, a mech materialized and enveloped him. But just then, a sudden crimson energy beam flashed past, piercing his body in an instant. Hu Yanxing continued channeling his soul energy through forearms. Inside the light beam, the outline of the dragon-slaying spike appeared. Lan Zhou struggled within the dragon-slaying spike, trying to escape. He was utterly terrified. Who are you? How do you know how to control the dragon-slaying spike? Hu Yanxing disassembled his mech, sneered, and said, Fool, the dragon-slaying spike was created by my Huyan clan to counter your Sea Spirit clan's artifacts. Hearing this, Lan Zhou let out a furious roar of defiance. Damn you, Huyan. Damn it. I should have known. That loathsome burning sensation. He then looked up and cried out. Masters above, reveal yourselves and help. The Longhai Kingdom will reward you handsomely. Huang Miaoying, hidden in the sky, heard this, and was shocked. He can actually sense my presence? It seems the so-called Tian rank Jiao isn't entirely worthless, but instead of revealing herself, she decided to wait for the two Huyan ants to seize Ao Bing's inheritance. Stealing it from them in secret would be even better. Seeing no movement from above, Lan Zhou's face twisted with anger. I always suspected there was a powerful figure far above me in the sky, watching over this, but they remain unmoved? Could it be Di Feiyou? Huyan Fa warily looked around. Where is the master in the sky? Young master, do you see them? Hu Yanxing let out a dry laugh and walked toward the divine realm. Uncle, you're a Tian rank and still can't sense them. You're asking me? I'd say there's no master at all. It's probably just these seafood creatures bluffing. Forget them. Let's figure out how to take this thing. Hearing this, Hu Yanfa snorted and walked over. The two began observing it closely. Let me think. If this item is like the Lingzhu jade passed down by the Huyan family. His words abruptly cut off. The sound of footsteps, distant at first, suddenly approached. The two turned their heads and were immediately taken aback. No way. He actually broke free of the dragon-slaying spike's hold? Lan Zhou pulled out a dagger and rushed at them. Even though I don't know who's helping me, it seems fate is still on my side. Hiding in the shadows, Song Yunxiang quietly put away his artifact. Who else could it be? Of course, it's me. If I let them take Ao Bing's essence away, how could I copy it then? Based on what they just said about the past timeline, Lan Kuan should have pursued them into Tian-Du territory, and that Jiao traitor had accomplices laying an ambush there. I don't know exactly how it played out, but in the end, Lan Kuan received Ao Bing's inheritance. Now the Huyan clan has barged in, adding a lot of unexpected variables. It's all because of this sudden appearance of the so-called divine retreat, which has disrupted the original timeline. Where did it come from? Could it be some butterfly effect I inadvertently triggered? Impossible. Young master, step back quickly. I'll hold him off. With that, Hu Yanxing charged forward. Lan Zhou, on the other hand, used the momentum to leap backward. As he drew closer to the divine jade, he slashed his arm, chanting the mysterious incantation once more. Seeing this, the two immediately realized the danger. Damn it. Song Yunxiang laughed darkly. Beautiful. Huang Miaoying frowned deeply. What? A faint bellow echoed from the divine retreat. The divine realm, having absorbed the third royal blood sample, emitted a green glow. Then, one by one, runes emerged from within it. Inheritance ritual activated. Longhai secret realm opened. Hidden in the shadows, Song Yunxiang frowned deeply. Is it just my imagination, or did I just hear something? From the divine retreat? A spectral figure gradually emerged above the divine realm, radiating authority. A voice filled with dignity and ancientness echoed in everyone's ears. The first vessel of Xinghuan General Ao Bing, the great princess Wu Jinghai of the West, and Lord Lantong, king of Longhai. You, the warriors chosen by the first inheritance, enter the secret realm and undergo 3 trials. The warrior who ultimately prevails will become the next vessel for Xinghuan General Ao Bing. As the words ended, a powerful force erupted from the divine prison, pulling everyone helplessly into it. In midair, Huang Miaoying couldn't stop herself from falling. What's going on? Why am I getting pulled in too? Far away, Song Yunxiang was similarly caught off guard. He felt utterly exasperated. Was the person who set up this inheritance array a fool? Why the hell is it dragging me into? What kind of idiot design is this? They didn't even include a selection mechanism for the intended inheritors. Night fell quickly. And in the depths of the Maijia Manor in Shidayo City, the Maijia patriarch, Mai Biao, was trapped in a terrible nightmare. In his dream, he returned to a time 10 years ago, when, due to territorial disputes, Tiandu sent troops to clash with Xiaoyabo. At the border of the deadly desert near Shidayo City, a fierce battle broke out. The evenly matched situation was disrupted by the appearance of several beams of light. The beams streaked back and forth across the battlefield, slaughtering Shidayo City soldiers. When they finally realized what was happening, they saw that the beams of light concealed a razor-sharp flying dagger. After completing its deadly mission, the flying dagger was remotely controlled to return to the wing of a mech. This mech was none other than Bai Qi, one of the new historical Xinghuan generals. His operator was Nan Rongyi, one of Tiandu's 8 generals. Damn it, we were misinformed. Tiandu's Xinghuan general Bai Qi actually showed up on this battlefield. Open fire and keep him busy. A barrage of attacks rushed toward the target. But in the next moment, Bai Qi appeared behind them. What the? That speed? Was that just an afterimage? Before they could figure out what had happened, Nan Rongyi swung his halberd, its overwhelming momentum, instantly cleaving the treant in two. Seeing this, the Shidayo City soldiers were overcome with terror. They scrambled to flee the battlefield. But before they had taken more than a few steps, a violent explosion knocked them to the ground. At that moment, Mai Biao, watching the battle from the canyon's edge, saw the inevitable defeat. He quickly fled the battlefield's perimeter. Damn that Xinghuan General Bai Qi, and that Nan Rongyi. Protect the patriarch and get him out of here. We'll hold them off. The archers sacrificed themselves to delay the enemy. Mai Biao felt a pang of emotion. Your loyalty will never be forgotten. Rest assured, I will take care of your families. His words were cut short. A razor-sharp flying dagger pierced through the soldiers' bodies in an instant. In mere moments, Mai Biao stood alone. As Nan Rongyi slowly approached with his imposing presence, Mai Biao, knowing he was no match, he fell to his knees with a thud. Mercy, spare me. Good sir, please spare me. Nan Rongyi stared coldly at him. So you are Mai Biao, the patriarch of Shidayo City's my family. Hearing this, Mai Biao quickly responded respectfully. Yes, that's me. Good sir, if you spare my life, I will gladly offer. Before he could finish his sentence, Nan Rongyi struck him down. No need. I'll let you keep your life. Look at this canyon. Take it as a warning. If I ever hear of Shidayo soldiers daring to cross this line again, for any reason, I'll personally come to Shidayo City to take your life. Terrified, Mai Biao quickly promised. I'll make sure my subordinates stay in line. We won't ever cross it again. No, never again. Frightened and unsettled, Mai Biao woke up from his nightmare. He kept muttering the promise. That scene became an unshakable nightmare in his mind. Mai Biao sat up, breathing heavily. Recalling the humiliation in his dream, he was filled with anger. Nan Rongyi from Tiandu Kingdom, Xinghuan General Bai Qi. Come, prepare my attire. I'm heading to the underground hangar. Soon after, Mai Biao, now dressed, headed to the underground hangar. On the way, a guard hurriedly approached with a report. Patriarch, we detected unusual activity outside the city. Mai Biao waved his hand dismissively. That's a trivial matter. Let Mai Jin and the others handle it. As the hangar doors opened, Yuan Pai and Jia Rua stepped inside together. Greetings, Patriarch, they said. Mai Biao didn't respond, as he was too stunned by what lay before him. Is it almost complete? Yuan Pai nodded and replied, yes. To date we got lucky and managed to get the missing materials from the trade association. It's pretty much finished now. Mai Biao's eyes roamed over the peculiar-looking mech before him. Magnificent. Truly a testament to the will of Shidayo City. He was almost speechless. I must personally name it. He hesitated. I'll call it on second thought. I don't know yet. But with this mech, one that can rival even a Xinghuan general. Xinghuan General Bai Qi, Nan Rongyi. I'll repay the humiliation of that day 100-fold. Meanwhile, the Ao Bing inheritance ceremony was finally underway. The grand array pulled everyone into the secret realm. When Song Yunxiang opened his eyes again, he found himself in the southern wilderness, 2 years after the tide. His appearance had reverted to how he looked in his youth. He rubbed his head, feeling relieved. Luckily, I acted fast back then, using illusionary protection measures on myself. Sure enough, This trial is another one of those illusion-based tests drawn from memory. Clearly, this level of the trial is meant to confront inner demons. He muttered to himself. The so-called threefold trial must have this hurdle. What a cliché. What a shame. I've already mastered countless techniques in my past life. These trials are really too easy. But since I rarely get such an immersive experience, I might as well have some fun and take a stroll. This is the uniform of a Xuanjia commandant. I don't even have a scar on my face. By that reasoning, this illusion must be set. 2 years after the tide in the southern wilderness. Feeling more composed, Song Yunxiang stepped outside. The guards at the door respectfully called out, "Commandant Song." Song Yunxiang let himself go. "Call me Dad. On your knees." The guards' faces instantly turned dark. "Commandant, you're always joking," they replied. Wow, the lines in this illusion are pretty advanced, since this is a simulated world. I should be free to act however I want, right? With that thought, he headed toward the cliff. That's Zhongzhou ahead. A key fortress city on the southern border. But judging from this timeline, the southern state would have already been ravaged by the tide. General D had led half the Xuanjia troops to the north to reinforce the 10 elemental array. Meanwhile, I was left behind with the other half to defend Zhongzhou. But back then, my arrogance led to a critical mistake. I fell into Yi Wang's lure the tiger from the mountain stratagem, which resulted in the collapse of the defense line south of Zhongzhou. In the ensuing battle against Yi Wang, I got that scar on my face. So that's it. This illusion is meant to make me reflect on my youthful arrogance. Mistakes born from arrogance. What a pity. But just as one can control a dream once realizing it's a dream, so can I now control this illusion. This illusory world bends to my will. With that thought, he unleashed his aura completely. It seemed fine, no issues. He could now enjoy the long-missed power of a saint-class shadow in this illusion. Then, without hesitation, Song Yunxiang soared into the air, leaving the place behind. I'll track down Yi Wang and give him a good beating first, he thought. That'll be satisfying. Then I'll simply brute force my way through this trial. Grinning, Song Yunxiang quickened his pace. Meanwhile, in the southern sector of the illusion's fortress city, a fierce battle was raging against fierce beasts. Though this wave of beasts was numerous, their overall strength wasn't particularly high. Under the combined assault of many warriors, the beasts were quickly slaughtered. Everyone breathed a collective sigh of relief. The beasts are all dead. Disassemble your mechs and rest, the captain ordered. Take 2 watches to recover quickly. Following his command, everyone stood down from combat readiness. Zhang Daguai hurried over to help his elder brother, Zhang Dafu. That was way too dangerous just now. Let's go rest and grab something to eat. The two had barely taken a few steps before the captain called them back. Zhang Daguai, you did well just now. The young master seemed unreliable, but who'd have thought you'd turn out to be such a capable Xinghuan general in waiting? After praising him, the captain turned his gaze toward Zhang Dafu. Zhang Dafu, I don't know why you were so reckless, but as a Tiandu soldier, we do not let any warrior die in vain. Do you understand? Hearing this, Zhang Dafu apologized with a guilty expression. All right, go rest. And Zhang Daguai, make sure your brother takes it easy. As the two left, someone nearby asked the captain who they were. The captain sighed. They're from the once prominent Zhang family of Zhongzhou. Too down on their luck, young masters. I have some history with their elders. After getting their food from the mess line, Zhang Daguai sat next to Zhang Dafu. Big brother, eat quickly. If it's not enough, I have some jerky here. Zhang Dafu thanked him and took the food. No need to be so polite. I even have some good stuff hidden away. Want a sip? Zhang Dafu shook his head when he saw the liquor. Big brother, why are you so intent on throwing your life away? The Zhang family's fall from grace might have been fate. But don't you think it's good that we join the military, protecting our homeland? Zhang Dafu was silent for a long time before he replied. I'm sorry. It's all my fault. I was out of my mind back then. I even thought about harming you. For the mistake I made, I'll atone with my life. Hearing this, Zhang Daguai dismissed it. Why bring that up again? I told you I forgave you long ago. No one blames you. Just as he spoke, a blaring alarm cut him off. More beasts incoming. All units, prepare for battle. Hearing the command, all the soldiers quickly activated their mechs. But when they saw what was coming, they realized the situation was far worse. Captain, we're in trouble. There are too many beasts. We can't handle them on our own. Realizing the danger, the captain quickly issued orders. Send the beacon signal to call for reinforcements. Contact the 2nd and 4th sectors. Evacuate all medical and logistics personnel. Captain, that won't work. There are flying beasts out there. They'll just pick us off like sitting ducks. Damn it. The swarm of beasts charged forward, a dense wave rushing ahead. But suddenly, they stopped in their tracks. A deafening roar echoed from the rear. Turning around, they saw a powerful wave of sword energy, rising like a dragon into the sky. One slash to shatter mountains and rivers. A man shouted as he swung his massive sword. An invisible blade of energy tore through the beast horde, cutting them down in an instant. The majority of the beasts were obliterated in one strike. As the smoke cleared, a massive crater appeared on the battlefield. The mysterious warrior, holding a broken sword, was now visible to all. Captain, is that the legendary ghost of Nanzhou? The ghost of Nanzhou. Could it be the legendary semi-saint? There were stories that this semi-saint from Nanzhou had perished 2 years ago in the flood at Yuanding City. Then about a year ago, rumors began circulating again. It was said that someone had spotted a non-standard old Junzi sword, a relic that moved as if alive, roaming the beast-infested territories of Nanzhou. Thus, it was dubbed the Ghost of Nanzhou. After executing his powerful strike, the mysterious figure departed into the air. The soldiers quickly moved to mop up the remaining beasts. Song Yunxiang happened to be passing by and witnessed the scene. He couldn't understand it. Isn't this supposed to be a memory-based illusion? How am I seeing events outside my memory? It seemed the illusions created by these ancient energies were no ordinary tricks. The Ghost of Nanzhou, huh? Let's see who you really are. Song Yunxiang muttered. Is it really Elder Su? He took to the air, closely trailing the figure. In the original timeline, if he hadn't shown up to save the second prince, perhaps Elder Su would have been the one to rush to the rescue. But now, because of his intervention, Elder Su had temporarily broken into the Saint Realm. In the original timeline, though, it was likely that Elder Su met a grim fate. The current Ghost of Nanzhou Junzi sword, cobbled together in a haphazard manner, was perplexing. As Song Yunxiang thought this over, he sped up, but his movements were noticed by the other. The Ghost of Nano halted abruptly, pointing a broken sword at him. The surrounding energy surged toward the blade. Seeing this, Song Yunxiang realized the danger. Instinctively, he reached into his cloak. He intended to draw his weapon to block, but inside his clothes, there was nothing. Absolutely nothing. A single sword shatters mountains and rivers. As the broken sword of the Phantom of Nanzhou slashed forward, a sword aura spanning dozens of meters instantly engulfed Song Yunxiang. When the energy dissipated, a golden defensive sphere was seen slowly rotating. That was close. I almost instinctively tried to use my government-issued shield. I nearly forgot that this is my illusionary realm. Realizing that his opponent was completely unscathed, the Phantom of Nanzhou immediately accelerated, preparing to leave this place. However, after taking just a few steps, he suddenly seemed to have suffered a severe injury. His body trembled, and he collapsed onto the ground. However, he then placed his enormous right hand on his head, activating the heavenly demon disintegration technique. In the next second, he vanished from the spot like a bolt of lightning. Seeing this, Song Yunxiang also sped up and followed. A moment later, a faint purple barrier suddenly appeared ahead. The Phantom of Nanzhou did not hesitate for a second, jumping straight past the barrier. Song Yunxiang, who was following closely behind, slammed into it headfirst. What the hell is this? That guy just went through it directly. So why was I bounced back? The stone wall formed by the barrier stretched endlessly, spanning an unknown distance, with no visible end in sight. Song Yunxiang flew along the barrier, puzzled, for a while. Finally, to his shock, he discovered it. This wall truly had no boundaries. Thus, he activated his new system and initiated a scan. Scan complete. The host is currently in a temporary form. Deep, he was inside an illusionary world generated from his own memories. Since this illusionary world was based on his memories, its effective range was limited to a radius of 500 miles within his original area of activity. Upon hearing this, Song Yunxiang was slightly disappointed. He had hoped to take this opportunity to explore more. But if the radius was only 500 miles, there wasn't much worth seeing. He couldn't even leave Zhongzhou. The Phantom of Nanzhou? Huh? I'll have to find another opportunity to investigate. For now, I'll track down the Night King and give him a good beating. Let's end this illusionary world quickly. With that thought, he swiftly headed toward the Night King's location. At that moment, in a small port city within the illusionary world, the battle there seemed to have just ended. On the ground, remains of Tiandu Nation's mechanical units were scattered everywhere. Hurry up and clean up the battlefield. Take all the supplies we can carry. We're moving on to raid Tiandu next. After issuing these orders, Zhongzhou's Tan Xingye began plotting. Next, as long as we use the lure the time and trick Xian Jiawei into coming here, we'll have the perfect chance to ransack Tansheng again. A little looting wouldn't hurt. Just as he was thinking about this, he suddenly noticed a figure rapidly approaching from the distance. The figure was closing in at high speed. In just a few moments, the figure arrived beside him. Song Yunxiang stretched his body and stood up. So, you really are here. The Night King immediately became more alert. You're that Xian Jiawei guy? Song something. Ah, Xiang, how is this possible? Wait, you flew here. Impossible. Only saint-level beings can fly through the air. A mere Xian Jiawei commander. This is impossible. Absolutely impossible. Song Yunxiang chuckled. Then, using his mask, he altered his appearance. No more pretending. You guessed right. At this moment, I am indeed a saint-level powerhouse. New master system. Activate Star Soul. Descent into the abyss. With a loud roar, Song Yunxiang summoned the Star Soul. The Star Soul grasped the. In an instant, a golden pillar of light pierced through the heavens and earth. Within the light, an ethereal machine gradually materialized. Countless flying swords hovered around it. At this sight, the Taiha mercenaries below froze in shock. As their leader, the Night King revealed a knowing expression appeared as the Star Soul General was summoned. How is this possible? In just a few breaths, the Star Soul General, Abyss Lord, was fully constructed. A powerful pressure instantly spread across the battlefield. Not good. Enemy attack. Protect the general. The mercenaries, realizing the danger, immediately launched an attack. Song Yunxiang stood tall and proud. He calmly uttered a few words. Primordial swords, deploy. As his words fell, behind him, dozens of long swords radiated a blinding light, unsheathing in unison, like shooting stars streaking across the night sky. They shot toward the mercenaries below. The Night King's expression immediately darkened. Floating swords, just like the Star Soul General, Ganjiang, a psychic-controlled weapon. Damn it. Get out of the way now. But his warning came too late. Or rather, could they even dodge it? Clearly, they couldn't. The flying swords weaved through the crowd at high speed, cutting through the tough mechanical armor like tofu. After wiping out the small fry, the swords swiftly returned to their original positions. Song Yunxiang gazed at the Night King. Stop hiding. Summon your star-soul general, Ganjiang. Hearing this, the Night King was utterly shocked. How does he know I obtained Ganjiang? There's no way there's a traitor in the mercenary corps. Besides, the only ones who know this secret are the people of Taiyuan. Could it be? Did Taiyuan deliberately leak this information to Tiandu's forces? Taiyuan truly cannot be trusted. They always preach about universal love and harmony. On the surface, they intervene militarily to stop wars between nations. But in reality, they are secretly maintaining a delicate balance. Are they deliberately ensuring that no nation gains too much power? Could it be they don't want the divided eastern continent to ever reunify? A group of enigmatic women. What exactly are they plotting? Seeing that the Night King remained motionless, Song Yunxiang chuckled. You lured the Xian Jiawei commanders away using the lure the tiger from the mountain tactic. I must admit, that was a brilliant move. You really are a rare military genius. Hearing this, the Night King tried to maintain his composure. Has he really seen through everything? Before I thought he was just an unremarkable low-ranking commander. Looks like I, the great Night King, have truly underestimated him. Seeing the Night King's reaction, Song Yunxiang felt inwardly pleased. Enough talk. Hurry up and summon your Ganjiang. Let me enjoy this fight and bring an end to this tedious illusionary event. Although the Night King didn't understand what he meant, he knew that only the Star Soul General, Ganjiang, could stand against him. With that realization, he stopped hesitating and began constructing it. Moments later, a powerful, twin-winged war machine materialized before him. War machine, Wind Dragon Arsenal. As the Night King swung his massive blade, a sharp wave of energy transformed into a fierce, clawing dragon, rushing towards Song Yunxiang in an instant. A hint of disappointment flashed in Song Yunxiang's eyes. So, Ganjiang's strongest technique is the Wind Dragon Arsenal? It was once such a fearsome attack, but now, it seems underwhelming. Summon the battle support, sword formation. That should be enough. Attack as you please. Under Song Yunxiang's command, 3 longswords shot out like lightning. They spiraled through the air, ensnaring the oncoming dragon. After shredding the dragon to pieces, the sword's momentum did not wane. They shot straight toward the Night King's position. Seeing this, the Night King quickly detached his mechanical wings. Wind blades, form up, block them. His wings interlocked and spun at high speed, forming an illusionary barrier in midair. But the moment they clashed, the shield began to crack under the force. The Night King's face paled in shock. He couldn't believe that his proudest defense was completely ineffective. Under the relentless impact, the barrier crumbled. Like a shattered mirror, it disintegrated into nothingness. With Song Yunxiang's precise control, the flying swords instantly enveloped the Night King. A deafening explosion erupted. The Night King was obliterated on the spot. Song Yunxiang watched the scene unfold with indifference. That's it. Far less entertaining than I expected. Well then, the core of this realm should be in that direction. Time to end this dull, illusionary world. With this thought, he gathered his soul energy into his hands. Then, he proceeded with the next step. At the same time, in the heart of the mystical realm, the elder who controlled the realm suddenly opened his eyes. Someone has already passed the first trial. In such a short amount of time, my proud lineage has produced such an outstanding successor. Just as he was marveling, the void before him suddenly cracked open. Seeing this, the elder quickly issued a warning. Those who have passed the first trial, please remain where you are. The formation will guide you any attempt to move on your own. Before he could finish, a pair of golden hands burst through the rift. The next moment, Song Yunxiang forced his way through the crack. The elder's face twisted in rage. Such reckless arrogance. But he quickly realized something was off. Wait, what kind of soul power is this? You're not one of my clan's successors. Who are you? How did you enter my clan's sacred realm? Surrender immediately. As his words fell, chains surged forward, spiraling towards Song Yunxiang. Yet, with a casual wave of his hand, a shocking scene unfolded. The very chains meant to bind him, twisted midair and wrapped around the elder instead. What is this? How are you controlling? Before he could finish, a powerful force erupted from Song Yunxiang's palm. So, you're the administrator of this realm? Then get over here. The captured elder struggled in vain, pleading desperately. What do you want? Please, spare me. Song Yunxiang snorted coldly. Even if you're just a lingering fragment of the original master's soul, you'll have to bear my wrath. You call this a mystical formation? You think you're qualified to create a secret realm without even verifying the identity of those who enter? No bloodline verification code. I got dragged into this mess for no reason. Well then, I'll be taking over the management of this secret realm. You got a problem with that? The elder's face twisted in utter disbelief. Who are you? Why are you unaffected by the realm's formation loss? Hearing this, Song Yunxiang chuckled and explained. In the first trial's illusion, I found a loophole. Hacking into a world built from formation-based code was just a matter of effort. But who exactly are you? Even a grandmaster of formations shouldn't have this level of power. At this question, Song Yunxiang didn't bother answering. Enough nonsense. Be smart about this. Hand over control of the secret realm to me, or I'll just take it by force. The elder snorted coldly. The inheritance of the Star Soul General, A.O. Bing, is the very foundation of my clan. I will never let an outsider seize it. Hearing this, Song Yunxiang sighed in exasperation. When did I say I was here to steal A.O. Bing? Hand over the control of the realm. I'll personally choose the next A.O. Bing successor for you. No need to waste more time. But the elder remained unconvinced. I may not be a living being, but I'm not that easy to fool. Even if it costs me the last remnants of my soul, I will never let you have your way. Apologies. I was merely informing you of the inevitable. I wasn't asking for your permission. If that's the case, then disappear. With those words, Song Yunxiang summoned a glowing energy sphere in his palm. With the help of the new master system, he pinpointed the flaw and forcibly hacked into the formation's core program. It's just a matter of effort. As the system continued cracking the code, the formation's weak point was soon uncovered. Seeing this, Song Yunxiang discarded the old man and flew straight toward the weak spot. He increased his energy output once more. Then, countless black fragments began breaking apart and reassembling. At this sight, the elder's face twisted in utter shock. Impossible. The secret realm is collapsing. That thing has invaded the formation's core stability. Even my very data is being erased. Realizing the danger, he quickly cried out to stop him. Sir, esteemed immortal master, please stop at once. If you cease now, I will willingly hand over control. But you must promise not to seize A.O. Bing's inheritance. Song Yunxiang smirked coldly. Too late. I'm almost done here. The elder's face darkened. Damn it. If this continues, not just the secret realm, but even my clan's legacy will be lost. After a moment of hesitation, he clenched his teeth and made his decision. I surrender the secret realm to you and acknowledge you as my master. Please, have mercy. Hearing this, Song Yunxiang stopped his actions. People are always like this. They don't cry until they see the coffin. What took you so long? Please, Your Excellency, release me from these restraints. I will now offer you the core of the secret realm. Hearing this, Song Yunxiang loosened the chains binding the elder. You're free. Now, let's see what tricks you have left. The elder bowed slightly before taking action. He reached deep into his own body, slowly pulling out a glowing, golden sphere. This is the core of the secret realm. Please accept it, Your Excellency. Song Yunxiang used the new master system to examine it, and found the internal structure strikingly familiar. He immediately dismantled Abyss Lord and let it dissolve. A flash of white light followed. In an instant, he reverted to the form he had upon entering the realm. So, entering this core region automatically resets appearances, but even formation laws can be deceived by perception. Interesting. The elder before him held the core with utmost reverence. Song Yunxiang flickered forward in an instant, grabbing the core from his hands. With it in his grasp, he landed back on the ground. This thing looks familiar. Right, the box. There was something almost identical inside. So this really is the secret realm's core? Hearing his question, the elder nodded respectfully. Could you shrink yourself a little? It's a bit difficult speaking like this. The elder hesitated before replying, I cannot. However, since Your Excellency now holds the core, you should be able to adjust your own size. Please infuse your divine will into the core. Then, you shall control this entire realm. Song Yunxiang listened, and began to act according to what was said. As divine sense was injected, a miraculous scene unfolded. The healing in his hands slowly dissipated, replaced by a miniature formation-covered realm. So that's how it is. This secret realm was carved out within a unique space, creating a small, independent world, and he had become the ruler of this world. With a wave of Song Yunxiang's arm, the black cube that had fallen earlier returned to its original position. Then he turned his gaze to the old man kneeling on the ground. Calmly, he uttered two words, shrink down. Quite interesting. Can you change into other forms as well? Seeing his mischievous grin, the old man immediately sensed trouble. Turn into a woman. As soon as Song Yunxiang spoke, the old man's body began to glow with white light. Moments later, he transformed into a soft, adorable mermaid girl. The girl stared blankly at her own body for a long time. Realizing what had happened, she quickly covered herself. Master son, please don't mess around. Song Yunxiang ignored his words, let out an evil chuckle, and said again, enlarge. A blinding light suddenly burst forth. In just an instant, two enormous objects appeared on the girl's body. Master son, please show some respect. Song Yunxiang coughed awkwardly. A mistake. A mistake. Even after toying with him like this, he didn't get angry or resist. It seemed like he truly enjoyed it. Let's see how the others are doing. With that, Song Yunxiang pulled up the secret realm's data. The scenes experienced by those undergoing the trial appeared before his eyes. The Star Soul General was that holy woman. Seeing this, Song Yunxiang immediately became interested. Let's check on him first. Meanwhile, inside the illusion where Huang Miaoying was, several yellow lightning bolts struck down, accurately hitting the surrounding fierce beasts. Huang Miaoying controlled the Star Soul General Wenzhong and easily ended the battle. Just then, a man ran towards her from the distance. The Star Soul General Wenzhong then lifted his stance, allowing the young Huang Miaoying to slowly descend to the ground. Seeing the approaching figure, she excitedly called out, Father, I defeated the fierce beasts. Are you alright? I have warned you many times. When encountering fierce beasts, you should evade them. Never summon the Star Soul General to fight. Why do you always refuse to listen? Huang Miaoying looked flustered. I'm sorry, Father. I won't dare to do it again next time. In the distance, Song Yunxiang silently observed the scene. He remembered Wenzhong, one of the 4 saints who once defended the nation, a royal figure of the saint rank, who was said to be the mortal form of the Star Soul General Wenzhong. Could it be this woman? He hadn't expected that her heart demon illusion would be from her childhood. Better use my secret realm administrator privileges to quickly check out her illusion in detail. With that thought, Song Yunxiang began scrolling. One scene after another appeared before his eyes. To his surprise, this illusion had already repeated 13. Damn, how could a dignified saint rank expert be trapped by their inner demons? Could it be that they don't want to wake up? I was originally planning to use my administrator privileges to forcibly remove this illusion. But since there's something interesting going on, I might as well. Who knows? I might uncover some strange clues. At the foot of a distant mountain, peach blossom trees filled the landscape. Petals danced in the gentle breeze. However, amid this beauty, an isolated grave stood incongruously. Year 1233 of the new calendar. Tomb of 7th Prince Yuji, established by Si Kongjing. Two sets of footsteps gradually approached through the silence. Huang Miaoying and her father deactivated the outer formation and stepped inside. Watching her father close the formation with a wave of his hand, Huang Miaoying eagerly asked, "Father, can you teach me how to do that?" Her father lovingly patted her head and smiled. Miao, why do you suddenly want to learn formations?" Huang Miaoying beamed with an innocent smile. "If I learn formations, whenever I miss mother, I can come here anytime. I won't have to wait until the peach blossoms bloom every year." Her father fell silent for a moment before replying, "Let's go. We should pay our respects to your mother first." The two of them knelt by the tombstone and began burning spirit money. In the distance, Song Yunxiang observed the formation, falling into deep thought. This is a formation set up with sealing techniques. This method, I've seen it before, in the Imperial Tomb Reversal Realm. Si Kongying. Could this man really be him? Legend has it that the Eastern continent once had a mysterious lineage of formation masters. This is the inheritance of the Guardian lineage, responsible for sealing the Imperial Tomb Reversal Realm. Could it be the same person I once encountered in the Imperial Tomb Reversal Realm? The one who exhausted his own life force to suppress the Earth Spirit Secret Realm. That mummified corpse. Legend has it that beneath the Earth Spirit Secret Realm is a sealed Star Soul General who once unified the entire Eastern continent and established an empire that ruled for hundreds of years. It's said that this Star Soul General possesses a terrifying, uncontrollable power. If he ever chooses a new master, the entire continent would be plunged into endless war. To prevent such a catastrophe, the Guardian lineage has spent centuries maintaining the seal on the Earth Spirit Reversal Realm. This should be the Eastern continent. Nearly 100 years ago, at Shikong Mountain. Could the timeline really match up so coincidentally? At this moment, after completing the ritual, Si Kongjing turned to Huang Miaoying. "Go play nearby for a while. I want to speak with your mother alone." Hearing this, Huang Miaoying obediently walked toward the forest. Si Kongjing then began expressing his longing. Seeing this juicy drama unfold, Song Yunxiang became intrigued. He immediately conjured a watermelon from the secret realm's core and leisurely started eavesdropping. Back then, now, more than half of the 10-year period has passed. But who would have thought that when we met at the bridge back then, our fates would intertwine in the peach blossom forest? Meanwhile, not far from the peach blossom forest, Huang Miaoying's big eyes sparkled as she stared intently ahead. A thick-skinned wild boar was rooting around the ground. The wild boar rooted around for a while, sensing danger. Thinking of the delicious meal in her mind, Huang Miaoying couldn't help but drool. When the wild boar noticed her, she stopped hiding and charged forward. After subduing the boar, leaving it barely alive on the ground, she let out a satisfied smile. During this time of eavesdropping, Song Yunxiang had pieced together Si Kongjing's story. It turned out that a guardian lineage successor had 10 years of freedom to marry and have children, leaving behind heirs. That young man, Si Kongjing, left the Imperial Tomb Reversal Realm to travel the lands. However, after 10 years, he had to return to resume the duty of sealing the Imperial Tomb. During his travels, he reached the capital city of Shishui Kingdom and attended the Luo Bridge Poetry Gathering, where he met Huang Miaoying's mother, Huang Yuji. The two fell in love at first sight, swearing their lives together beneath the peach trees. Back then, Si Kongjing didn't realize how much trouble he was inviting by getting involved with a royal princess. He even considered abandoning his guardian lineage responsibilities to grow old with Huang Yuji. Though they enjoyed a brief period of happiness, the royal family soon discovered them. Later, Huang Yuji suffered a severe injury and gave birth prematurely, passing away after delivering Huang Miaoying. Thus, Si Kongjing retreated to Shikong and the maple forest settlement he had established, living in seclusion with his young daughter. It was a heart-wrenching story, a tragedy that brought tears to anyone who heard it. As Song Yunxiang was immersed in the tale, he suddenly heard Huang Miaoying's voice. Turning his head, he was stunned by the scene before him. Little Huang Miaoying was standing triumphantly over a wild boar many times her size. She excitedly ran back, despite her young age. As a natural prodigy, she already possessed Earth-rank strength. Song Yunxiang followed them as they continued onward. Upon reaching their destination, Si Kongjing cast a spell to open the formation. Stepping inside, before them was a simple, crude house. Huang Miaoying eagerly showed off her prize. "Sister Juxiang, look." Miao caught a huge piggy. A woman named Juxiang, bound by phantom chains on her hands and feet, smiled faintly at the two of them. "Master Miao, Miss Miao, you're back." Seeing Juxiang, Song Yunxiang was momentarily stunned. In that moment, memories from his previous life resurfaced. "I know this woman. Could it be? She's that old witch It turned out that when Tiandu fell, the gravely injured Song Yunxiang had fled to Shishui Kingdom. Once his wounds had somewhat healed, he ignored the empress's pleas and insisted on returning to Tiandu. However, as soon as he left, he was obstructed repeatedly by this old witch. As he expended more and more energy, Song Yunxiang started to lose strength. When he reached his limit, he was ultimately forced to dismantle his constructs. Gritting his teeth, Song Yunxiang glared at her. "Old witch, you really are like a lingering ghost." At this, Zhu Xiang let out a chuckle and replied, "Song Yunxiang, you can't escape. Just surrender quietly." Song Yunxiang sneered. "The Empress of Xi has already agreed to let me go. Yet you and Jinxi still pursue me without permission. What exactly is your deal? Do you mean to say the Empress's word is worthless?" Hearing this, Tong Zhuxiang snorted coldly. "You brute, there's no need for you to argue. I have reason to believe you stole critical military intelligence from Shishui Kingdom. You are hereby arrested on charges of espionage." Song Yunxiang retorted disdainfully. "Bah? You old witch, don't think I don't know what you're scheming." No sooner had he spoken than a battleship suddenly approached from the water. "A decree from His Majesty the Martial Emperor." 7 words echoed through the crowd. Hearing this, Tong Zhuxiang's expression turned grim. It seems His Majesty had this planned all along. He's determined to protect Song Yunxiang. The battleship drew closer, and a voice called out from within. "Jinxi, cease the pursuit immediately. All parties are to stand down. All constructs are to be dismantled." Hearing this, the subordinates quickly sought Tong Zhuxiang's guidance. Tong Zhuxiang waved them off. "Ignore it." Soon after, the battleship docked. A woman clad in official robes stepped out from the ship and began reading the decree. Hear this. Song Yunxiang's loyalty and bravery have been recognized. His valor in defending the throne has earned him merits. The gathering of the Literary Sages Society has been most uplifting. By order of the Emperor, he is hereby summoned to the palace to be conferred the title of Marquis. Thus decreed. Song Yunxiang was speechless. What the heck? Southern Court Marquis? Isn't that the highest title for the Empress's consort? That's practically equivalent to the Empress of Tiandu. What's that woman up to now? Does she really want me to join the harem? After reading the decree, Yuan revealed a subtle smile. "Marquis Song, congratulations. Please return to the palace with me to report." Tong Zhuxiang's expression soured. No way. His Majesty actually placed this kid in the harem? Then the secrets he holds about ancient civilizations will eventually be discovered by His Majesty, and his power, resembling that of the mythical Taijuan. I must have it. With this in mind, Tong quickly spoke up. "Wait." At his words, his subordinates immediately prepared for combat. Hearing this, the woman reading the decree sneered. "Is the mighty Jinxi planning to defy the decree? Are you trying to rebel?" Seeing the accusations coming his way, Tong Zhuxiang quickly defended himself. "I wouldn't dare." However, Song Yunxiang is highly suspicious. Before he could finish, the woman glared coldly at him. "If you have any evidence, you may present it at the divine capital before the Empress. The Empress will make the final judgment. I am here on imperial orders to summon Song Yunxiang. And Jinxi, step aside. Do not obstruct me." With that, she urged Song Yunxiang to board. "Let's see who has the guts to block you." Song Yunxiang inwardly felt delighted, and as he left, he mocked Tong Zhuxiang. "Tong Zhuxiang, I'm leaving now. Best wishes for your long life and good health." "Oops. Sorry about that. I almost forgot that you're already over 100 years old. I wasn't cursing you. Saying you're at the end of your days or anything like that. Don't take it to heart." Tong Zhuxiang gritted his teeth. "Song Yunxiang, we'll see about that, Your Majesty. If you insist on being a delusional tyrant, don't blame this old one for ending Shishui Kingdom's 400-year legacy." The scene shifted back to the present. Song Yunxiang shook off his thoughts. Jinxi of Shishui Kingdom, an agency supposedly founded by a former empress. She selected people from slaves and criminals, creating a special unit. Could it be? Yes, that old witch must be this woman here. Interesting, running into an old acquaintance in such an unexpected place. This old hag. Back then, she wanted to harness the power of the new master system. Wait, who's stronger now, her or me? Forget it. Doesn't matter. Let's just keep watching. Moving on. Let's keep enjoying the show. At that moment, Huang Miaoying tossed her spoils into the courtyard. Then she ran up to Tong Zhuxiang. Tong Zhuxiang seemed quite fond of her. Soon after, the two exchanged a glance, and Tong Zhuxiang's cheeks turned red. As evening fell, thanks to Huang Miaoying's efforts, dinner was especially lavish. They began eating enthusiastically. Song Yunxiang grew a bit bored. These scenes are useless. Let's use the Secret Realms Recovery Authority to fast forward. Speed it up. Speed it up. No need to watch irrelevant daily routines. With a bit of manipulation by Song Yunxiang, time quickly moved on to late night. By then, Huang Miaoying was sound asleep on her bed. Si Kongjing was reading a book on sealing techniques. When Song Yunxiang saw the content, his interest was piqued. The 5 elements reverse wind bell formation. It's quite similar to the formation that sealed the battle ancestor. Maybe I can learn it while I have the chance. Wait, the old witch is spying from outside the door. Is she trying to learn the sealing formation as well? She's entering now. What is she up to? Hearing the commotion, Si Kongjing looked up. To his surprise, Tong Zhuxiang entered looking disheveled. Song Yunxiang was baffled. Where are you looking? Kick him out and keep reading, my friend. Tong Zhuxiang looked shy, while Si Kongjing stood up and waved her away. No. Tong Zhuxiang bit her lip as if making a decision, and then pulled off her robe. Seeing this, Song Yunxiang perked up. He grabbed some melon and settled in to watch. When the other party still avoided eye contact, Tong Juxiang boldly removed her outerwear. Then she stripped off her undergarments, throwing them casually on the floor. This alluring scene would stir any normal person. Song Yunxiang was momentarily stunned. The two locked eyes, and a hint of tension filled the air. The woman continued undressing piece by piece, while the hidden Song Yunxiang watched expectantly. However, Si Kongjing, being the man of the house, seemed oblivious as he drew his great sword. He pointed his sword at the alluring figure. Rejected. Tong Juxiang's tears fell uncontrollably. She turned and ran from the room, humiliated. Song Yunxiang couldn't help but burst out laughing, trying to climb into bed only to be sternly rejected. She failed to seduce the master of the house. Who would have thought that in her younger days, this old witch had such an embarrassing moment? This is taking too long. Let's speed it up by 10,000 times. As he adjusted the settings, time sped by. Scenes of Huang Miaoying's experiences flashed rapidly before his eyes. A month passed. Nothing special seemed to happen. After 6 months, life went on as usual. But 2 years later, something finally occurred. It piqued Song Yunxiang's interest. Let's return to normal speed. After making the adjustment, he watched closely. At this time, Si Kongjing decided to teach Huang Miaoying the art of formations. Hearing this, Huang Miaoying was overjoyed. Si Kongjing smiled at her. The formations I'll teach you are different from the common formations on the Eastern continent. This is the sealing formation of the guardian lineage on the Eastern continent. This ancient tradition goes back to eras. Song Yunxiang secretly observed from the side. It's indeed the guardian lineage's sealing techniques, but teaching such an advanced technique to a child under 10 this way, Si Kongjing doesn't seem to be a great teacher. Still, these sealing techniques, I can learn them too. If I get another chance to enter the Earth Spirit secret realm, I can finally explore those previously inaccessible areas. Time flew by, and soon 2 months had passed. After studying during this time, Huang Miaoying finally made some progress. However, the formations she produced were crooked and uneven. Father, I did it. I've learned it. Huang Miaoying was overjoyed. Si Kongjing frowned but said nothing. Song Yunxiang yawned out of boredom. This little fool has no talent for formations. I've already learned this just by fast-forwarding. Unexpectedly, the guardian lineage's sealing formations shared a striking resemblance to the 5 elements great formation that sealed the battle ancestors Star Soul General. Back then, I only had a 60 to 70% chance of breaking the 5 elements formation by force. Now, with the guardian lineage's sealing techniques, I'm 120% confident I can break it perfectly, and after breaking it, I can reseal it with a more advanced lock. After all that, I might even add a password to it. Song Yunxiang then summoned the secret realm recovery. This little fool will need a lot more practice. Let's fast forward and check on the others. He decided to speed things up while seeing how the others were doing. Let's fast forward this part first. Have they started over again? Come on, do something productive. Why watch this little mermaid? Could that woman be a descendant of the Hyugan family? Good grief, she was already balding in her 20s. She's a proper mage. No doubt about it. She's as cheerful as a middle-aged kid. Scenes of various trials kept flashing by. But the final scene, a snowman with 2 human legs appeared on the scene. Song Yunxiang was astonished by what he saw. Meanwhile, 2 months passed in Huang Miaoying's secret realm. After mastering the formation technique, she did something truly shocking. Not only did she unlock Tong Juxiang's restraints, but she also unsealed the barriers, setting her free. Sister Juxiang, you're free to go. After all these years, you've endured a lot. On my father's behalf, I'm giving you back your freedom. Tong Juxiang hesitated, but at Huang Miaoying's urging, she had no choice but to leave quickly. As she stepped outside the formation, a subtle smile appeared on her face. At that moment, Song Yunxiang was still puzzling over the mysterious snowman. He fast-forwarded through over a century in the secret realm, only to see a single image of someone sleeping. Just as he was about to speed up again, he happened to catch the scene of Tong Juxiang being released. Wait, what's going on here? Did that little fool let the old witch go? Looks like we're at a critical moment. Let's rewind to see what happened. Where's my melon? Did I finish it? Bring more melon. With a wave of Song Yunxiang's hand, a fruit platter appeared once more. After discovering that Huang Miaoying freed the old witch, Song Yunxiang rewound to the critical moment in the illusion. It started at the moment when Si Kongjing needed to leave the mountain to handle some matters. Before departing, he handed a jade plaque with his name engraved on it to Huang Miaoying and gave her 2 instructions. First, never easily summon the new Star Soul General. Second, never leave the formation's boundaries. I got it, father, but can't you just stay here? Hearing that, Si Kongjing's face was full of guilt. Don't cry, don't cry. Once I finish this task and come back, I'll take you away from here. Then we'll go to Tiandu Kingdom. I'll let you taste all the great food there. At the mention of food, Huang Miaoying perked up. You promise? You better not be lying. After they made a pinky swear, Si Kongjing patted her head fondly. Don't worry. If you run into danger, just use the formation I taught you. Activate this jade plaque, and the formation's defense system will kick in. Also, I'll sense it right away, and return immediately to protect you. After giving these instructions, Si Kongjing left. Song Yunxiang noticed that the jade plaque's design looked familiar. It resembled the life tokens used by sects in the central continent. When it's lit, it means the holder is still alive. After Si Kongjing left, only Huang Miaoying and Tong Juxiang remained inside the formation. Over the years, Huang Miaoying had grown close to her, regarding her as family. During a playful moment, Huang Miaoying noticed the scars on Tong Juxiang's wrists, from the restraints on the wall, unable to bear it. She used the formation to unlock the chains. Seeing this, Song Yunxiang shook his head. So that's how it is. The old witch used the sympathy card. Such a crude tactic. It would only fool a naive little girl like her. Sister Juxiang, you can go now. Leave this place. You've suffered enough. On behalf of my father, I'm giving you back your freedom. Quickly, go before my father returns. After urging her, Huang Miaoying opened the formation. As Tong Juxiang turned to leave, a cold smile appeared on her face. Song Yunxiang sighed at the sight. This little fool is way too easy to trick. Could it be that this is the mistake he can never forgive himself for? Let's keep watching. Time sped forward once more. Only Huang Miaoying remained inside the formation, without anyone around. He spent his days in boredom. As his birthday approached, his father still hadn't returned. A few more days passed, and as he lingered in his boredom, a sudden deafening boom sounded outside. Could father be back? Thinking this, Huang Miaoying excitedly ran towards the source of the noise. But Song Yunxiang realized something was wrong. Someone was attacking the formation. Better go take a look. Outside the grand formation, two mechanical constructs were attempting to break the formation's gate. A group of people stood quietly in the background. Patriarch, we've found the concealed area behind the formation. This must be it. Wang Shengnan sneered. Who would have thought they'd hide here in the Shikong Mountains, truly hiding in plain sight? He was now the head of the royal family, a peak heavenly realm cultivator. A steward beside him bowed respectfully. Patriarch, your wisdom is unmatched. We've been searching for 10 years. Without that traitor's tip, who would have guessed? They were hiding right under our noses? After saying this, he urged the pair to hurry and break the formation. But the formation was strange, and the breaking spikes they brought didn't seem very effective. At that moment, Huang Miaoying opened the gate herself. Father, is that you? Are you back? Seeing the scene outside, she froze in confusion. You're not my father. Who are you people? The steward quickly issued orders. The formation's been opened from the inside. Move in now. Realizing something was wrong, Huang Miaoying tried to close the gate, but it was too late. The breaking spikes were wedged firmly, preventing the gate from closing. The guards in the rear began moving forward. Once the constructs were ready, several mechanical units appeared in the arena. They surrounded the young Huang Miaoying. The steward smirked, certain of their victory. Huang Miaoying frowned, glaring at the enemies around her. Star Soul manifest. As her words fell, a golden bolt of lightning struck down from the heavens. In the blink of an eye, a mighty and imposing Star Soul General, Wenzhong, appeared before everyone. A Star Soul General? The steward was stunned and speechless. Could that little girl be an innate genius? Was she that illegitimate child, born to the lady and that scoundrel? Before he could finish, a heavy slap landed on his face. Wang Xingnan's expression darkened. Even if she was raised in obscurity, she is still royalty. How dare a mere ant like you speak ill of her? An innate genius. She could bring prosperity to our royal line for centuries. Capture her alive with the soul-binding locks. Be careful not to hurt her. Anyone who harms her will face death along with their family. At his command, the guards immediately began their operation. Chains were thrown, ensnaring Star Soul General Wenzhong. But in the next moment, Wenzhong's weapon soared into the air. The weapon hovered above, spinning rapidly. In the name of Star Soul General Wenzhong, call upon the might of the heavens. As these words were spoken, golden lightning began crackling around the weapon. Take this, Huang Miaoying shouted. Dark whirlpools swirled in the sky, and a blinding thunderbolt struck the weapon, which then slammed down onto the mechanical units. The units were locked in place, unable to dodge, and they let out anguished cries. The chains that bound Wenzhong broke apart, as Huang Miaoying struggled. As the dust settled, calm returned to the scene. The mechanical units were no longer able to fight. In Wang Xingnan's eyes, however, there was only joy and excitement. A heaven-level cultivation, capable of such tremendous destructive power. Truly a prodigy. If we nurture this girl properly, our royal family could rise to the top ranks in Shishui Kingdom. The steward. Everyone, attack again. More guards charged forward immediately. Star Soul General Wenzhong manifested a uniquely shaped weapon in his hand, then moved to counter the oncoming enemies. The steward trembled and turned to Wang Shengnan, saying, Patriarch, this young one may not be so easy to deal with. Our forces here are limited. Perhaps it's best if you personally. Before he could finish, the battle was already underway. A group of guards who had just advanced were immediately cleaved in half by Wenzhong. Wang Xingnan snorted coldly at the sight. A useless bunch of trash. He pulled out a talisman. The remaining guards quickly began to encircle their target. They didn't approach directly, but used chains to harass from a distance. Huang Miaoying, still a child, lacked combat experience. Before long, her movements revealed a flaw. Noticing her distraction, the coordinated guards launched their attack simultaneously. In a flash, Wenzhong's movements were restrained. You villains! Infuriated, Huang Miaoying unleashed her ultimate move. From Wenzhong's form, a surge of violent lightning erupted. Caught off guard, the surrounding guards were charred inside and out. This attack clearly drained a lot of soul power. Huang Miaoying panted heavily, showing signs of fatigue. Wang Shengnan, who had completed his preparations, praised. An extraordinary talent, truly worthy of our royal bloodline. But alas, we are worlds apart in cultivation level. Forgive this old man for bullying the young. Hearing this, Huang Miaoying struggled to lift her weapon and attack. But Wang Shengnan was even faster. With a flash of movement, he appeared right in front of her. He grabbed Wen Zhang's arm. With a twist, searing pain shot through Huang Miaoying's body. Wang Shengnan yanked her arm and stepped back, his palms surging with immense soul power. Come out, girl. As the words fell, he struck out with a palm. Bang! The blow shattered Wen Zhang's construct on the spot. Hit hard, Huang Miaoying tumbled to the ground. Her tears started streaming down. Clutching her life token, she sobbed uncontrollably. Father, there are bad people here. They're bullying me and trying to catch me. Father, where are you? Why haven't you come back? Song Yunxiang noticed something strange about Xikong Jing's life token. The glowing name had gone dark. Wang Shengnan, having finished the battle, withdrew his construct. He looked at the girl before him and asked, Little girl, what's your name? Huang Miaoying didn't answer. She just stared at the life token in her hand, her heart aching. Father, why haven't you come back? Seeing her like this, Wang Shengnan sighed. Don't be afraid. Your mother and my mother were cousins. No one will hurt you. Come home with me. I won't go. I have to stay here and wait for father to return. Song Yunxiang began to understand. Could it be that she's realized what the state of that life token means? Wang Shengnan then knocked her unconscious and carried her away. But as they stepped out of the formation, something strange occurred. Time froze in that single moment. The illusionary world started collapsing. Then it reassembled, starting a new cycle. Xikong Jing and Huang Miaoying reappeared, just as before. Watching Huang Miaoying hop around, Xikong Jing let out a long sigh. When will you finally grow up? Huang Miaoying grinned and replied. Miao doesn't want to grow up. Song Yunxiang quietly observed this scene. Is he really repeating this inner demon illusion over and over? This is the 14th cycle. I see. So this is why he's trapped in this endless loop. His inner demon's obsession is waiting for someone who will never return. Song Yunxiang sped things up again. The 15th illusion was the same. The 16th cycle showed the same scenes. In the 17th and 18th cycles, up to the 20th, he saw the same events repeating. Finally, he couldn't hold back. How long will this go on? I didn't want to interfere, but if I consider it tuition for learning the ceiling formation. At this point in the scene, Wang Shengnan asked for the girl's name. Huang Miaoying, dazed and heartbroken, stared at the life token. Father, where are you? Please come save Miao. The next moment, a snap echoed through the scene. Following the man's voice, a shimmering barrier suddenly bound everyone in place. Huang Miaoying, sensing something, looked up. She saw that familiar figure appear before her. The illusory barrier tightened, then exploded like a burst of fireworks. Wang Shengnan stared in shock. A formation master? Impossible. Xikong Jing stood at the center, his sorry for being late. Huang Miaoying was overwhelmed, her tears welling up as she looked at him. Father, you finally came. Miao, I've been waiting so long for you. Knowing Xikong Jing's skills, the royal family's head, Wang Shengnan was utterly stunned. You're supposed to be dead. That's impossible. Song Yunxiang didn't waste words. He immediately activated a ceiling formation. Wang Shengnan sneered. This stuff won't hold back heaven-level speed. Your formation, it can only intimidate below-earth-level weaklings. If I'm fast enough, your formation is useless. After mocking, Wang Shengnan prepared to construct, but the ceiling formation suddenly expanded, enveloping the entire area. Failing to break through, Wang Shengnan froze in place. Idiot. As long as my formation is big enough, you're just a fish in a tank no matter how fast you are. Lapse. Song Yunxiang commanded. The ceiling formation visibly began shrinking rapidly. In a moment, the entire royal entourage was compressed into a small sphere. Disappear. Song Yunxiang tossed the sphere into the sky. After all that, he turned to look at Huang Miaoying. At that moment, she tearfully leaped into his arms. Father, why are you only coming back now? I thought something had happened to you. Song Yunxiang comforted her. Don't worry, I'm fine. I'm back now, aren't I? Just as Huang Miaoying was about to say more, she sensed an unfamiliar presence. Alarmed, she quickly moved back. Wait a minute, your soul force is different. Are you really my father? Hearing this, Song Yunxiang was troubled. Oh, I got careless. I forgot to disguise my soul force. No way. How can someone so young detect soul force variations? Is it her innate talent? Or are all innate ones the sensitive? Embarrassed, he began to explain. Well, you see, I went to Tiandubo and inherited our family's ancient legacy. So my soul force changed. Look, I can switch back to the old one. The current soul force is fused with a veteran's 60 years of battle experience. You saw how skilled father's fight was earlier, right? That was thanks to the old master's wisdom. Huang Miaoying hesitated, then asked uncertainly. Really? Song Yunxiang grinned. Of course, father brought you a gift too. Look, it's roast duck. Lured by the aroma of the roast duck, Huang Miaoying instantly surrendered. She immediately grabbed it and began eating happily. Wait, that's not how you eat roast duck. In Tiandu City, there's a proper way to enjoy it. First, separate the skin and meat, then wrap it in lotus leaf pancakes, with sweet bean sauce, scallion strips, melon, and hawthorn paste rolled together. And then you eat it in one bite. Huang Miaoying drooled hungrily. Then let's go to Tiandu for roast duck. Come on, Dad. You said we could leave. once you got back last time. Please, stop stalling. Seeing this, Song Yunxiang sighed and agreed. Alright, let's finish what we started. He then took out the core of the mystic realm. After some manipulation, the surroundings began to change rapidly. Based on his memories, it generated Tiandu City. At that moment, they found themselves inside a restaurant. Within Tiandu City. Outside, towering buildings. Bustling crowds, it was a vibrant scene. Dad, is this Tiandu? I've never heard of ceiling formations that can teleport. How amazing. Song Yunxiang chuckled. That's the power of that great master. Don't worry about it. Just eat. Seeing the table laden with delicious dishes, Huang Miaoying drooled and immediately dug in. It was her first time tasting such food, and its flavor was utterly irresistible. Seeing her like this, Song Yunxiang couldn't help but sigh. Tiandu City. Once this war with the southern wild beasts is over, I should visit it again. After eating her fill, Huang Miaoying clutched her stomach, looking satisfied. Song Yunxiang smiled. Full already. Got anything else you'd like to eat? Huang Miaoying didn't respond. She walked over to Song Yunxiang, then she hugged him tightly. She whispered 2 words. Thank you. Then she turned into fragments, disappearing from the room. When she vanished completely, Song Yunxiang returned to his true form. So that's it. Her heart demon trial was over. Time to check the core area now. There should be quite a few people who've passed the first trial by now. With this thought, he headed for the core area of Ao Bing's mystic realm. At that moment, the realm's administrator couldn't get up because of her. Song Yunxiang casually sent out a beam of light. The administrator returned to normal. So how's it looking? How many have passed the first trial? Upon hearing his question, the administrator brought up the panel and explained. Currently, 4 people have passed the first trial. They're about to start the second trial. Wait, including Your Excellency, that's 5. Your Excellency, will you be participating in the second trial? In the second trial, participants face the past elite fighters of the Star Soul General, Ao Bing. Song Yunxiang asked curiously, are these replicas like you? The administrator quickly clarified. No, I only inherited a remnant soul of the first Ao Bing's elite fighter, Lan Tong. My essence is bound to the mystic realm's core, but those replicas are different. They're automatic battle data, recorded by the mystic realm's core. Replicas have no emotions or will, but they inherit all the combat skills, experience of the original fighters. Hearing this, Song Yunxiang nodded. So, these 4 must vary greatly in level, right? Will their levels be standardized? The administrator responded. The trial will suppress everyone to the level of the weakest participant in the mystic realm. Currently, they'll all be suppressed to mid-tier Earth level. Song Yunxiang felt a bit awkward upon hearing this. Mid-tier Earth level? Oh no, could it be that I'm the weakest here? He quickly cleared his throat, changing the topic. Let me guess. The third trial. Is it about the winners battling each other to determine the final champion? The administrator was stunned. How did you know, Excellency? That's exactly right. Haha, just a lucky guess. So the so-called 3 trials of adversity are as expected. The first is a test of strategy. The second is combat, and the third is interactive matches. It's pretty much the usual pattern. Excellency, the second trial is about to start. I must appear before the contestants to explain the rules. Would you kindly restore my earlier, intimidating appearance beforehand? Sure, Song Yunxiang replied. But honestly, you don't look intimidating at all right now. How about I give you a more interesting look instead? Oh, by the way, what's your name? I'm merely the one who oversees the trial formation. I don't have a name. But before, Lord Lan Tong referred to me as, let the little one proclaim himself as the great lord of Long High Star, Soul General Ao Bing, the first generation amateur, Lord Blue Bronze. Song Yunxiang chuckled. Then I'll give you a name. It'll match your new image perfectly. With that said, he began to control the secret realm's healing. The next second, the girl's body started to emit a blinding white light. As the white light faded, a blue, chubby-headed fish appeared on the spot. Realizing his new appearance, the administrator immediately broke down. Seeing this, Song Yunxiang burst into laughter. How is it? Isn't it much cuter than before? This way, you're a perfect fit as the secret realm's mascot. Hey, the identity of the secret realm's administrator. Let's name you Xiaolon. Sun Shang. Isn't that name too ordinary? Can it be a bit more unique? Song Yunxiang thought seriously for a moment. Indeed, it's a bit plain. How about Dog Egg, Lucky, or Iron Pillar? Hearing this, the administrator sighed in disappointment. Forget it. Xiaolon it is. Honored one, this current look isn't very dignified. Song Yunxiang agreed cheerfully. Dignified, right? I'll make it happen. With a wave of his arm, 2 small horns appeared on the fat-headed fish. Honored one, no disrespect, but isn't this a bit too perfunctory? Alright. I've given you the ability to freely adjust your size. Now go. The fat-headed fish sighed helplessly and disappeared from the scene. Meanwhile, in the void of the secret realm, 4 small floating lands were quietly drifting. The trial participants were already in position. Hui Yanfa failed to pass the new illusion realm and was eliminated. Seeing Lan Zong, Han Kuan shouted angrily, you bastard. Look at what you've done. Treating the legacy of the proud clan as a joke. The formation around the floating land blocked the sound, so Lan Zong couldn't hear him. He looked at Huang Miaoying in confusion. When that woman activated the inheritance ceremony, she didn't see him. Could it be he was the powerful one who overlooked everything from above? Huang Miaoying was still recalling scenes from the illusion. A blinding white light flashed suddenly from the void. Immediately after, a thick fog spread out above everyone. As the fog dispersed, a massively enlarged, fat-headed fish appeared. I am Xiaolon, the guardian of this secret realm. Congratulations on advancing to the second trial. Your cultivation levels have been suppressed to the Earth rank. Please hold out till the end in the upcoming battle to earn the right to enter the third trial. The second trial begins now. As soon as the words fell, everyone vanished from the floating lands and was transferred onto the battlefield. Countless undead armies materialized soon after, trapping them in the center. Seeing this, the participants immediately drew their weapons and began fighting. Lan Kuan used the Wei Yuan warrior in Tiandu Navy colors. Hu Yinxing piloted the Huyin clan's four-armed custom mech. And Zhou used the desert-style mass-production mech from Shidayo City. Huang Miaoying piloted a mass-production model from Shishui Nation. It seemed she didn't want to reveal her identity as a Star Soul General. Song Yunxiang also entered the battlefield voluntarily. It was the perfect chance to test his newly developed Wei Yuan warrior. An hour passed quickly. Trial participant number 3, Lan Kuan, recorded 1262 kills. Trial participant number 2611, Hu Yinxing, had 4,254 kills. Trial participant Huang Miaoying managed 689 kills. But Song Yunxiang's kill count was far higher, reaching a staggering 1,000. Although the damage output was intense, the burden on his soul power was unbelievably heavy. As he pondered over this, a gradually solidifying phantom, suddenly, a powerful pressure radiated from the phantom. Song Yunxiang quickly figured out who it was. Where did this bald monk come from? Could this be the clone of a commoner? Did I already reach the boss fight? Soon, in front of the others, similar commoner clones appeared. Huang Miaoying's opponent was a valiant young woman. Hu Yinxing faced a muscular young man. Lan Zhou's opponent was a burly man full of muscles. Seeing this, Lan Zhou cried out, "Brother Lan Ao, is that really you?" The clone didn't respond, but started assembling a mech with a wave of his hand. Soon, a combat mech equipped with an arsenal of weapons materialized. This was the new Soul General Ao Bing, the 9th generation commoner Lan Ao, a master of various weapon systems. Meanwhile, inside Hu Yinfa's heart demon illusion, he was reliving the most unforgettable moment of his life. The bride shyly reminded him, "Husband, shouldn't we rest now?" Hearing this, Hu Yinfa excitedly reached out to lift her red veil. But just then, the fat-headed fish administrator arrived. Trial participant number 6, Hu Yinfa, failed to pass the first trial. Result: failed. Failure will result in forced expulsion from the secret realm in 10 seconds. As the announcement ended, Hu Yinfa's figure slowly faded away. Far away, in the snowy mountains at the northern border, a snowman was still snoring away. The fat-headed fish appeared in midair once again. Trial participant number 5, Zhang Bei, also failed the first trial. Result: failed. Failure will result in forced expulsion from the secret realm in 10 seconds. The two expelled participants returned to the real world, landing hard near the divine rank retreat. The nearby guards immediately surrounded them. "Bold intruders, get down with your hands on your head now. Did you hear me? I'll count to 3. After regaining his senses, Hu Yinfa quickly pulled out his jade token. "Wait a minute, everyone. I am Hu Yinfa, elder of the Hu Yin family. Our young master is a guest invited by General Mai Jin. You can verify my identity." The soldiers verified his token and then lowered their weapons. "Apologies, Elder Hu Yin. We didn't mean any offense. However, we still need you to cooperate with our investigation. Someone else appeared alongside you just now. Do you know if they are friend or foe?" "No, wait. It's not human. It seems to be a member of the demon race." Hearing demon race, Hu Yinfa immediately rushed over to check. Could it be one of those prideful clan members who were fighting? As he wondered, he looked down into the pit and saw someone inside. A girl with 2 horns on her head, clad in tattered clothes. Meanwhile, in the second trial grounds within Ao Bing's secret realm, Lan Ao, who had assembled his mech, launched an attack. Approaching his opponent, he leaped high and slashed down ferociously. Lan Zhou quickly retreated to the side to dodge. "Brother Lan Ao, it's me, Zhou. Don't you recognize me?" But Lan Ao gave no response. Instead, he picked up his weapon and attacked again. After exchanging blows twice, Lan Zhou noticed something strange. He's too weak. His level seems to be the same as mine, suppressed to the late Earth rank. Thinking this through, Lan Zhou let out a sigh of relief. Despite his intimidating appearance, he's just trash who can't even use half his strength. If we're at the same level, I should be able to beat him. With that thought, he leapt into the air, using the momentum to gain height. As his mech descended, it began spinning at high speed. "How dare you disrespect Brother Lan Ao, whom I respect the most? Let me take you down in the name of my brother's honor." Spiral annihilation. As his words fell, a massive tornado surged toward the target below. Naturally, the clone Lan Ao wasn't going to sit still. He swiftly swung his weapon, launching a similar ultimate attack. In an instant, the 2 tornadoes collided fiercely. The moment they clashed, a deafening explosion echoed through the sky. The scene shifts to Hu Yinxing's side, where the clone Lan Zun began assembling his mech. Moments later, a machine covered in flames emerged into the battlefield. He was Ao Bing's 3rd generation commoner clone, known as the Flame Master, who wielded twin-headed dragons. Seeing this, Hu Yinxing chuckled. "Flames? Using fire in front of me is like showing off in front of a master." His 4 arms gathered golden energy and fired beams at the enemy. Lan Zun dodged skillfully while launching a counterattack. A fierce battle instantly erupted between the two. Meanwhile, as soon as the clone appeared, Huang Miaoying sprang into action. With a cold snort, he launched the first attack. The clone Lan Ling leaped into the air. Star Soul Assembly. A mech-wielding twin swords materialized instantly. This was Ao Bing's fifth-generation commoner clone, known as the Sword Master of Frost and Ice. Seeing this, Huang Miaoying conjured a lightsaber and vanished from sight in a blur. In the blink of an eye, he reappeared right in front of Lan Ling, and the two engaged in close combat. The scene shifts to Song Yunxiang's side. The clone Lan Ruqian pressed his palms together, and a purple mech materialized before him. He was Ao Bing's sixth-generation commoner clone, who never fought directly, but instead controlled 4 dragon bone whips from the shadows. The Whip Master. Seeing this, Song Yunxiang became intrigued. This octopus-like form is pretty interesting. Let me show you something similar. With a thought, a green mech materialized instantly. This is the reverse age mode of Star Soul General Ao Bing. The first generation commoner clone of Star Soul General Ao Bing has finally appeared. The sheer pressure it emanates forces Lan Kuan to kneel on the ground. Gazing at his opponent, he is utterly shaken. Could this be the legendary figure, the great lord of Wujinghai, the original commoner of Star Soul General Ao Bing, and the creator of the Blue Bronze clan of Longhai? The assembled Blue Bronze clone stared coldly at his opponent. A deep sense of helplessness arose in Lan Kuan's heart. How can I possibly defeat such a formidable opponent? Blue Bronze suddenly swung his trident, and 2 enormous dragons roared as they charged forward. Reacting quickly, Lan Kuan leaped into the air. The next second, the spot he had just been standing on erupted in flames. Before he could catch his breath, the dragons were already right behind him, engulfing him in their fiery breath. At the same time, on Song Yunxiang's battlefield, the clone Lan Lu maneuvered his whip blades, initiating the first round of attacks. Song Yunxiang blocked and parried effortlessly, waiting for the right moment. Seizing the opportunity, he forced his opponent's weapon into the air and instantly dashed toward Lan Lu. A powerful kick sent Lan Lu flying dozens of meters, until he finally managed to stop himself. Lan Lu then unleashed a long-range ultimate attack. The 4 whip blades shimmered with a faint purple glow, whirling wave annihilation. As the command was given, the whip blades began to vibrate, at a speed too fast for the eye to follow. In a split second, a massive tidal wave of afterimages surged towards Song Yunxiang. Faced with such an overwhelming attack, Song Yunxiang remained unflinching. Let me show you what real firepower looks like. Reverse age mode. With a loud shout, he activated his dragon head arsenal. A surge of green energy condensed around him. Once fully charged, he fired the energy directly at the oncoming tidal wave. The continuous sound of air being torn apart echoed through the air. Under the intense suppressive fire, the massive tidal wave was quickly riddled with holes. Moments later, it shattered completely, dissipating into thin air. The remaining energy surged straight towards Lan Lu. Seeing this, he hastily leaped into the air to dodge. At that moment, Song Yunxiang's figure had already vanished from sight. Sensing danger, Lan Lu quickly, but a voice suddenly echoed in his ear. Looking for me? Song Yunxiang didn't give him a chance to react. Before the words faded, his weapon pierced through Lan Lu's chest. Lan Lu struggled violently, trying to break free, but Song Yunxiang didn't waste the opportunity. He fired a blast of energy, right into the mech's core. Once done, he quickly retreated from the blast zone. Amid the blinding white light, Lan Lu disintegrated into ashes. It was clear Song Yunxiang had won. He stroked his beard, feeling somewhat reflective. A clone, after all. He probably couldn't even use 20% of the original strength. If I had known he was this weak, I wouldn't have bothered using the Secret Realm's core energy. Creating that star-colored Ao Bing was a bit of overkill. But still, Ao Bing handled pretty smoothly. And Kuan, it's your turn now. Don't let me down. Whether or not I can replicate Ao Bing is entirely up to you. After Song Yunxiang disassembled his mech, the fat-headed fish cheerfully swam over. Congratulations, my lord. Well done, my lord. My lord, how were you able to control Star Soul General Ao Bing? Song Yunxiang casually pointed towards the healing core. Ah, I see. You used the power of the Secret Realm's healing. But wait, something's off. Even if you use the Secret Realm's healing, I've never seen Ao Bing with that color or style before. Even though I've seen it before. You handle Ao Bing with remarkable proficiency, my lord. Seeing that he couldn't bluff any longer, Song Yunxiang cleared his throat and quickly changed the subject. Ever since you took on this mascot form, your tone, movements, and expressions have all become so goofy and cute. The fat-headed fish thought for a moment. Have they? I've always been like this, right? Never mind. Show me how the others are doing. Following the order, the fat-headed fish brought up the battle scenes of the other fighters. Song Yunxiang frowned as he looked at Lan Kuan. Is this guy going to lose? I have no idea how he even got through the previous trial. Maybe I should just go there and take a look? The fat-headed fish nodded. You could, but don't intervene just because you feel like it, alright? Fine. Let's check on Kuan first. Don't let me down, old man. With that, the man and the fish vanished. Meanwhile, in Lan Kuan's arena, he had taken so many hits that he couldn't even keep his mech operational. He coughed up blood, staggering. Just as defeat seemed certain, a pill suddenly dropped from above, landing right into Lan Kuan's mouth. Seeing this, the fat-headed fish was furious. Sun Shang, didn't I tell you not to interfere? Song Yunxiang's face turned red as he awkwardly explained. My hand slipped just now, and a pill fell. I don't even know where it landed. After a moment, Lan Kuan stood up again. To his surprise, he found his soul power quickly recovering. Strange. I'm not sure what's going on, but it looks like I can fight again. He turned to face Blue Bronze above, as a tribute to the former king of Longhai. This time, I'll fight as Longhai's Star Soul General, Star Soul Assembly. As he spoke, a silver-white mech appeared on the field. This is the mass-produced Star Soul General model of Longhai Kingdom, known as Xuanhan. Yunxiang observed the scene below with interest. That's the mass-produced mech, built in Longhai Kingdom, inspired by the Gentleman's Sword. Looks like the kid's finally bringing out his best moves. High above, Blue Bronze emitted an intense pressure. With a swing of his weapon, two dragons once again roared as they charged forward. Lan Kuan furrowed his brows, readying himself for battle. A weapon slowly took shape in his hands. Battle Energy Spiral Strike. As the words left his lips, he pounced forward like a leopard. The whirlwind created by his weapon's rapid rotation formed a ferocious vortex. Yunxiang found the scene a bit dull. Same technique as that other guy. Why does everyone get so hyped about it? They just keep using the same moves over and over. The vortex moved at lightning speed, passing through the dragons, and suddenly appearing behind Blue Bronze. He swung his weapon, immediately targeting him. But the Blue Bronze clone was prepared. It turned around instantly, meeting his attack head-on. Their weapons clashed, causing a blinding flash of electricity. Blue Bronze exerted his strength, forcing Lan Kuan back to a distance. Energy gathered in Lan Kuan's chest. As he launched his next attack, the energy burst forth, slamming down with force. Blue Bronze did not dodge. Instead, he used his cape as a shield. However, the fierce energy did not seem to cause him much harm. This was all part of Lan Kuan's plan. When Blue Bronze lowered his guard, he found Lan Kuan already closing in. Spiral Annihilation. He called out again. Blue Bronze quickly moved his weapon to block, but the vortex bypassed him and struck one of the dragons. Seeing his opportunity, Lan Kuan appeared and landed back on the ground. Blue Bronze immediately commanded the remaining dragon. The remaining dragon launched a ranged attack. Prepared for this, Lan Kuan hurled his weapon, shattering the dragon into pieces. Seeing this, Blue Bronze activated his ultimate move. Golden energy began to gather in his hands. The energy grew larger and larger, violent lightning enveloping the entire space. Lan Kuan was not about to sit idle and watch his opponent finish charging. I don't have much soul power left, but I can still manage one last move. He channeled most of his remaining energy into his chest. Dragon Roar Cannon. He shouted, firing it towards Blue Bronze in midair. Interrupted in the middle of his spell, Blue Bronze quickly raised his cape to defend. Lan Kuan seized the opportunity and advanced. The two clashed in an intense melee. Song Yunxiang, observing from the side, shook his head in boredom. This is so dull. I'll see what's going on with the others. The glowing panels displayed the other fights. Huang Miaoying had already secured an easy victory. Hu Yinqing was still struggling, but seemed to be gaining the upper hand. Lan Zhou's behavior was less commendable, though he had clearly won. He continued taunting his opponent relentlessly. The second trial was nearing its end. Song Yunxiang stroked his chin and glanced at the fat-headed fish beside him. Xiaolan, the others were just fillers, weren't they? Ultimately, you'll still choose between the two proud ones for Ao Bing's legacy. The fat-headed fish frowned, thinking he was going to interfere. Song Yunxiang waved it off with a laugh. Don't worry. Who you choose doesn't matter to me. But the third trial being a duel is just so dull. Don't you think so? Settling the inheritance of your prized treasure with a mere duel is way too hasty. The fat-headed fish pondered this, finding it logical. Then what does my lord suggest? Song Yunxiang grinned and shared his idea. On Hu Yinqing's side, the battle had reached a fever pitch. He raised his defenses and charged straight at his opponent. All four of his arms swung simultaneously, instantly defeating the clone on the spot. Afterwards, Hu Yinqing disassembled his mech. What a tough battle. If only I had the chance. I'd really like to face the original version of that clone. Trial participant Hu Yinqing has cleared the second trial. As the fat-headed fish's voice faded, Hu Yinqing's body became translucent and disappeared. The victorious trial participants gradually returned to the previous location. Who's that old guy? I don't recall seeing him before. Hu Yinqing, while surprised, didn't dwell on it. Suddenly, a flash of white light appeared. The next moment, Lan Kuan, panting heavily, showed himself. Congratulations to all of you for clearing the second trial. You will now proceed to the third trial. Please be prepared. The third trial begins. As soon as these words were spoken, the scene changed to Longhai Kingdom's Dragon Tail City, in the western Wujinghai region. At that moment, a massive beast army was attacking the city. A large teleportation array transported everyone directly into the fray. Hu Yinqing glanced around warily, while Lan Kuan, furious, glared at Lan Zhou not far away. You bastard, he shouted, charging towards him. Lan Zhou easily dodged the attack, then countered by grabbing his wrist and slamming him to the ground. Idiot, did you really think you're a match for me? At that moment, an alarm sounded, reaching everyone's ears. The glowing panels faded away, and the surroundings became fully visible. It's Longhai Kingdom's warning horn. We're in Longhai Kingdom. When Lan Zhou and Lan Kuan realized this, their faces changed dramatically. Damn, it's the beasts. Beast tide. The fat-headed fish then began to explain. Attention, trial participants. This is Longhai Kingdom in the real world. Everyone, the third trial is to protect this small harbor city of Longhai Kingdom from this beast tide. Longhai Kingdom lies to the west of the eastern continent of Jinghai, established by the proud race under imperial support to counter the sea beasts of Hell's Sea. After the empire fractured, Longhai Kingdom, with its growing military power, gradually became one of the major nations, standing on equal footing with the human kingdoms. Dragon Tail City is a defensive fortress city in southern Longhai Kingdom, which served as the frontline defense against Jinghai's beast tide for hundreds of years, guarding the gates of Longhai Kingdom. At present, an enormous army of sea beasts has gathered at the shore. The proud race atop the city walls, immediately mobilized to resist. Unit 3, help the citizens evacuate. Units 1 and 2, follow me out of the city to hold them off and buy time. At the commander's command, they charged outside the city walls without fear of death. Meanwhile, the trial participants were still in a daze. Lan Kuan was in disbelief as he surveyed the surroundings. Could we have fallen into another illusion? Beside him, Lan Zhou pulled him up and then sent him flying with a punch. This doesn't feel like an illusion. But if this is real, why am I still restricted to a low tier? Lan Zhou looked around and began to contemplate. He soon noticed Hu Yinqing not far away. Damn Hu Yinqing family. I'll settle the score with you later. Who is this odd old man? I've never seen him before. He seems to be putting on a show. Could he be a refugee, accidentally caught up in this mess? Just my luck. That woman must be the strongest one here. I'll keep an eye on her. Huang Miaoying leaped onto a high rock wall and looked out, finding a seemingly endless sea of beasts. Can't see the end of it. With this many beasts, those soldiers won't hold out for long. Could it be they're buying time for the residents to evacuate? Why does that person feel so familiar? Just as he was wondering, the fat-headed fish slowly appeared above everyone. Trial participants, this is the real-world Longhai Kingdom. The content of your third trial is to protect this small harbor city from this beast tide. To prevent any recklessness, I'll be putting a collar on you. These collars can explode. Trial participants, do not attempt to leave the trial area. The detailed tasks for the third trial are as follows. Support the proud race soldiers. 2. Ensure the safe evacuation of residents. 3. Eliminate the beasts. Just as he said this, Lan Zhou interrupted. Wait a minute. The fat-headed fish raised a brow. You insolent fool. How dare you act so brazenly in the presence of the great guardian? Xiaolan. Penalty, minus 250 points. Now, the trial is supposed to determine who will become the new Star Soul General Ao Bing's successor, right? How will tasks like this decide the ultimate winner? Facing Lan Zhou's question, the fat-headed fish hesitated for a moment. Before consulting Lord Song Yunxiang, through mental transmission, he explained the rules to him. Each surviving proud race soldier and evacuated resident will earn you trial points. Defeating beasts will also earn you trial points. Your performance in the previous 2 trials will also be converted into trial points. Finally, based on your total score, Xiaolan and I will determine the new Ao Bing's successor. Any other questions? If not, the third trial begins now. Good luck surviving to the end. With that, his figure vanished. Meanwhile, in Dragon Tail City, residents were being hurriedly evacuated under the soldiers' protection. In the sky, the beasts launched their attack. A red energy blast whistled down, and a massive explosion engulfed an area dozens of meters wide. The soldiers on the ground had little means to counter the aerial beasts. They could only watch as attacks kept raining down. One attack hit the city wall, the falling debris blocking the residents' escape route. At that moment, they were like trapped turtles with no way out. Just as the situation grew critical, a long sword suddenly spun through the night sky, slicing the beast's neck clean in two. The struck beast exploded with a bang. Huang Miaoying leaped up to catch the thrown weapon, and the points for killing. Ding! Plus 100 points. The previously panicked residents looked at him with gratitude. Huang Miaoying then jumped down to the ground, raising his right hand to grab a massive boulder in front of him. As his soul energy surged, purple energy instantly shattered the boulder into dust. Witnessing this, the soldiers and residents around him were stunned. Realizing what had happened, they quickly fled outside the city. Meanwhile, on the coastal defense line, massive sea beasts surged like a tide towards the soldiers, blocking their way. Though the soldiers fought valiantly, the overwhelming numbers forced them to retreat. One soldier was on the brink of death when suddenly a uniquely shaped weapon slashed down, piercing the beast's eye. Howling in pain, the beast writhed violently. In the chaos, the nearby soldiers quickly swarmed it. One soldier looked towards where the weapon had come from, on the distant shore. A silver mech stood watching, with several other uniquely shaped mechs behind it. That's a Xuanhai mech. It's one of ours. It's a Class 2 warrior of Longhai Kingdom. At the same time, in Yong'an City at the southern border of the Tiandu Kingdom, Song Bingtuan, who was previously gravely injured, with only 1 month left to live, took a 5-star pill provided by Song Yunxiang. His internal injuries temporarily stabilized. He calmed his mind and began to move around the courtyard. After just a few steps, he suddenly coughed up a large mouthful of blood. The elderly Song master nearby hurriedly went to help him. Song Bingtuan waved it off, saying it was fine. No worries. Coughing up this old blood feels so much better. This pill Yunxiang gave me is truly miraculous. He then swung his arm and struck. A tree tens of meters away was left with a clear handprint from the impact wave. Incredible. It's just a 5-star pill, and yet it can temporarily restore me to this state. Not only has my physical pain greatly eased, but my soul power is almost entirely back under control. I thought I'd long been indifferent to life and death, but now I find myself so eager for Yunxiang's life-extending methods. What a joke. Seeing him so full of vitality, the others felt reassured. Song Jinsheng then asked Song Mu, "Any news from Yunxiang? Is he having any trouble finding the alchemy ingredients?" Song Mu replied respectfully, "Lord Ho, according to the latest message from young Master Yunxiang, he should have successfully reached Sandcastle City in Xiaoyu Kingdom. Ajin's second team is following up on the situation there. I'll call him over." Just as he finished speaking, a burst of laughter from Song Bingchuan was heard. "Feels great to move around a bit. I'll leave you to your tasks. I'm going back." Song Jinsheng and the others hurriedly saluted as the elevator doors slowly closed. Song Bingchuan stroked his beard, unable to contain his excitement. Who would have thought? I could still have hope of extending my life. Haha. Those old guys will be shocked to see the Star Soul General, Sharon, soaring majestically once again. They'll be scared out of their wits again. The secret realm of the Tiandu City's earth spirits. I, Song Bingchuan, am coming back. His arrogant laughter echoed in everyone's ears. Song Jin frowned slightly, looking somewhat embarrassed. Our third great-grandfather seems to be in an especially good mood. Song Jinzhong nodded, saying, "Like a phoenix rising from the ashes, he's about to be reborn from the flames. How could he not be in good spirits? Don't be fooled by third uncle's current, amiable demeanor. You must understand that in his youth, he was bold and carefree, dressed in fine clothes. His unruly arrogance was unmatched throughout the Tiandu kingdom. After all, he was once a genius figure who dominated an entire era." Song Jinshin hesitated for a moment, saying, "My grandfather once told me that our third great-grandfather was known to be obsessed with his younger sister for the sake of Lady Taifei. He caused quite a stir in Tiandu City back then." As the group chatted, Ajin, the leader of the second patrol unit, arrived. "Greetings, your lordship." "And greetings, two overseers. No need for formalities." The elderly Song Master waved them off. "Tell us, what's going on with Yunxiang?" Ajin then began to recount the information he had gathered. The second team has planted informants throughout Sandcastle City due to a recent retreat of divine forces. The city has been under lockdown. Though we haven't located young Master Yunxiang yet, our informants report a mech battle incident near the divine retreat's vicinity. From what we've gathered, some proud race individuals from Longhai Kingdom were involved, leading us to believe young Master Yunxiang may have been caught up in the events. The elderly Song Master turned to Song Mu. "All right, immediately assemble an elite unit to head to Sandcastle City. Bring along the new mechs sent over by Elder Su and be ready to assist Yunxiang at any time." At this moment, near the first withdrawal point on Ziyuguo Divine Street, a spy is hiding dozens of meters away, secretly observing. After receiving instructions from a gene, he transmitted the footage over. In the footage, a golden light descends from midair with a howl. When the light dissipates, Huyan Xion's figure appears in the pit. He pants heavily, trying to move his body. "Am I not dead? The collar is gone too. So I really was in a secret realm just now." Hearing movement, Huyan Fa quickly rushes over. "Young master, are you okay?" "Thank goodness." After greeting him, Huyan Xion finally has time to look around. He discovers that the current location is still where they were sucked into the secret realm. Scratching his head awkwardly, Huyan Fa says, "Yes, this is the place. I got knocked down during the first trial, kicked out of the secret realm, and ended up here. I've been waiting here for you ever since." The flow of time inside the secret realm is different from outside. It's only been a day and a half since we got sucked into the secret realm. Now General Mai Jin has already set up an ambush. We're supposed to work with them to ambush those who appear afterward. Huyan Xion shakes his head, indicating he won't avoid it. "Let's leave this place." "Wait, before me, were you the only one to come out?" Huyan Fa points in the direction of the city and says, "There was another member of the demon race who came out at the same time as me. A young girl. I'm not sure where she's from. She's been unconscious and was taken by guards to the Maijia dungeons. I heard that the fourth son of Maijia, young Master Mai Tai, is rather fond of her type. By the way, young master, how did you fail?" When Huyan Xion hears this, images of fighting fierce beasts flash through his mind. In the end, he was restrained and torn to shreds. The sense of death was so real, he really didn't want to go through it again. The third trial of Ao Bing officially begins. Testers start entering the battlefield one by one, fighting against the ferocious beast army. Lon Kuan swung his weapon, and with a push from his feet, leaped into the air, landing directly on the back of the beast. He drew his weapon, and fiercely slashed across the beast's hard shell, splitting it cleanly in two. The points for guarding and killing the beast were instantly added. His score jumped directly to 330 points. Lon Kuan then leapt forward again, charging straight into the horde of beasts. Seeing this, Lonzo in the rear couldn't help but frown. "Damn it. That brat Lon Kuan even brought the Sea Patrol soul armor. I just got out of the bathhouse, and all I have is this shabby Xia Yugo Ice Crusher." He then turned his head, glancing at the two still motionless fighters nearby. "The Wei Yuan soldier from Tiandu Kingdom and the special type from the Huyan family. Damn it. Mine's the weakest among the same rank. No way. I need to figure out how to slow them down." With that thought, he confidently spoke up. "Hey, kid from the Huyan family. And you, whoever you are, how about we forget our grudges and form a temporary alliance?" Huyan Xin immediately refused without a second thought. That won't. Someone like you, who can even turn on his own kind, is not someone I can trust. With that, he gathered his strength and leapt forward, charging straight downward. Lonzo awkwardly turned to Song Yunxiang. Hey, what about you? But Song Yunxiang completely ignored him, turning and walking toward the city. So he and that woman are both heading into the city? Could it be that protecting citizens earns more points than killing ferocious beasts? Whatever. Since the rules say the highest score wins, I just need to find a way to score points while lowering theirs. Meanwhile, Huyan Xin had already entered combat mode. He glanced warily at Lonzo, who hadn't moved yet. That shady guy seems to be scheming something bad. I'd better be careful. A ferocious beast resembling a giant lobster swung its massive claws and smashed them down toward him. Huyan Xin blocked with both arms. While launching a counterattack, a small turret locked onto the beast. And with a bang, a golden beam pierced straight through the beast's body. He earned 80 points for the kill. Wait a minute, he thought. 80 points for a small monster. This small amphibious beast only has tough claws. And it seems pretty bad at handling long-range attacks. He launched another long-range attack. To test his theory, the beam pierced through another beast, while also saving nearby soldiers. Looks like rescuing a long-eye soldier gives 50 points. I wonder if I can purposely push them into danger and farm rescue points that way? Forget it. Although my Huyan clan has a blood feud with these sea creatures, warriors who stand up to protect their country deserve at least basic respect and honor. I'll earn my points, fair and square, by slaying beasts. With that, he leapt into the air, activating 4 small turrets simultaneously. Using his aerial advantage, he launched rapid attacks. Meanwhile, Lan Kuan was still locked in battle with a beast when a golden beam shot from afar, instantly piercing the beast beneath his feet. Lan Kuan turned around, utterly surprised. Uncle Lanzhou, he actually helped me. Thank you, Uncle. Lanzhou was speechless. Idiot. You're thanking me? I just stole your kill. As time passed, more and more ferocious beasts crawled up from underwater. Among them were sea urchin-like monsters. With a deafening roar from a giant turtle in the rear, the sea urchin beasts spread open their outer shells, revealing dense, eye-like spheres inside. Each sphere had a circular hole at its center. With a loud bang, countless lasers burst out from the circular holes, completely covering the entire coastline. Lan Kuan and the others turned pale at the sight. Meanwhile, inside Longwei City, soldiers were organizing the rapid evacuation of residents. Thanks to that fairy's help, she's been taking on most of the pressure. Huang Miaoying stood silently at a high vantage point, guarding the city. Not good. A large number of flying beasts are approaching from the south. Hearing this, Huang Miaoying quickly became alert. Sure enough, a massive swarm of flying beasts was rushing towards them. Huang Miaoying frowned slightly. Though they're like ants, their sheer numbers make it hard to handle them alone with my spiritual techniques. Just as she was contemplating, a violent beam of light suddenly shot across from afar, blasting directly into the airborne beasts. The orderly formation instantly fell into chaos, with the beasts circling erratically, searching for whoever had attacked them. The next moment, another purple beam shot out, hitting another beast. Sensing the energy within it, Huang Miaoying was shocked. Such intense soul energy. It's almost on par with a Prime Star Soul General's attack. Wait, this soul energy fluctuation. At that moment, the beasts finally identified the source of the attack. They regrouped and dove downward in unison. However, explosions erupted continuously, blooming like fireworks, and the resulting shockwaves slowed them down. The one launching the attacks was none other than Song Yunxiang. With each beast he killed, his score continued to rise. Raising an eyebrow, he looked up. 80 points for a single toad, but only 100 points for a boss-level enemy? Little Blue Studio's balancing is terrible. Flying beasts are way harder to hit. Huang Miaoying, though initially surprised, quickly leaped into the air, heading for the beasts. She swung her dual blades with precision, slashing an enemy's. The heavily wounded beast let out a wail and plummeted downward. It was about to crash straight into the civilians below. At that moment, a violent sword beam howled through the air, cutting across and striking the falling beast, blasting it 100 meters away. Though the civilians were saved, only 100 points were awarded for the kill, and no points were given for rescuing the civilians. Little Land system is full of bugs, Song Yunxiang grumbled. Hearing his complaint, Fathead Fish suddenly appeared, right next to him with a swoosh. Your Excellency, don't blame me for this. You're the one who set it up this way. Song Yunxiang looked awkward after hearing that. At that moment, a new wave of ferocious beasts flew in from afar, each carrying a shrimp horse on its back. They clearly intended to airlift the amphibious beasts into the city for a joint attack. In the blink of an eye, several shrimp horses landed among the civilians. To avoid harming the civilians, Song Yunxiang transformed the Skybreaker Palace into the Skybreaker Swamp, engaging in close combat. Combining the Skybreaker Swamp with the Fangtian Halberd and his ghost-like speed and agility, the shrimp horses didn't even have time to react before they were swiftly taken down. A wave of points floated above Song Yunxiang's head. This sight displeased Fathead Fish. Your Excellency, he said, didn't you say that modifying the third trial was to select true heroes who could protect the future of the Jaren? But right now, your score is higher than both of theirs combined. And why is it always you stealing the spotlight, putting on a show? Hearing this, Song Yunxiang chuckled awkwardly. Well, since it's a rare opportunity, I thought I'd run more data tests. By the way, Why are you still here? Shouldn't you be keeping an eye on those two outstanding ones from your clan? Meanwhile, outside the coastal defense line, the dense firepower from the ferocious beasts forced everyone to temporarily take cover. These laser attacks spared no one. Even many shrimp horses were killed on the spot. Taking advantage of the beast's attack cooldown, everyone immediately launched a counterattack. The Jaren soldiers formed defensive phalanxes to block the laser blasts from the beasts. Lan Kuan seized the gap between attacks to strike at the enemies. Leaping into the air, he hurled his weapon with force. However, his confident strike was caught by the beast's claw. Lan Kuan instantly conjured dual long blades and slashed down, severing the beast's front claw. With that, the beast's chest, unprotected by armor, was exposed. Just as Lan Kuan was about to finish the beast off, Lan Zhou suddenly appeared on the battlefield, using a vortex slash to snatch the kill. Sorry, Lan Kuan, my dear nephew. First come, first served, and the winner takes the loot. He grinned smugly. After taunting Lan Kuan, he burrowed back underground and vanished. Meanwhile, Huyan Xian was locked in combat with a laser beast, but his attacks barely scratched the creature's hardened shell. Damn it. This thing retracts its false armor to block ranged attacks without an armor-piercing move. I can't land a fatal hit. As he grew frustrated, Lan Zhou suddenly dashed in for a sneak attack. With blades drawn, he flanked Huyan Xian from behind. Die, you little brat from the Huyan clan, he roared. His strike swift as lightning, but Huyan Xian, reacting quickly, dodged aside. Lan Zhou, now exposed, landed a kick before retreating again. Hit and Reup perfected the art of cowardice. He laughed, before disappearing once more. Huyan Xian was left fuming on the spot, forced to juggle both Lan Zhou's ambushes and the relentless laser beasts. However, fortunately, he quickly discovered the laser beast's weakness. Aiming directly at the beast's abdomen, he blasted it into pieces. 300 points were instantly added to his score. His total score now reached 790 points. After a brief adjustment, Huyan Xian charged at the surrounding beast again. I wonder how many points that huge monster in the distance would give? If there's only one of them, taking it down might be the key to winning this trial. Meanwhile, in the distance, Lan Zhou peeked out from underground. That giant turtle, huh? If I could lure it over here. He chuckled at the thought before burrowing back into hiding. At the same time, the battle inside the city reached its peak. Song Yunxiang focused on eliminating the ground-based shrimp horses, while Huang Miaoying dealt with the airborne enemies. Through observation, Song Yunxiang noticed Huang Miaoying. She's been a veteran holy sword for nearly a century, but somehow, she doesn't seem skilled at handling urban chaos. Could it be that she spent the last few decades in closed-door cultivation? Still, I didn't expect her to prioritize protecting the evacuating citizens. That surprised me. Moreover, she's even starting to learn how to avoid harming civilians during combat. While he was deep in thought, a shrimp horse suddenly plummeted from above, aiming straight at him. Song Yunxiang swung his Fantian halberd, slicing the beast clean in two. With that, the beast's assault paused momentarily. Huang Miaoying cautiously approached Song Yunxiang. Who exactly are you? Song Yunxiang chuckled and replied, no need to be nervous. As you can see, I'm just an ordinary passerby who got dragged into the secret realm by accident. Huang Miaoying raised her weapon, pointing it at him. Back in the Western District, I had a feeling something was off. Were you hiding your presence back then? You've been following us, she continued. Hearing this, Song Yunxiang frowned slightly. With my concealment methods, someone at her 6th rank, holy level, shouldn't have noticed me. Heh, trying to play the wise one after the fact. Huang Miaoying went on to share her suspicions. Furthermore, back when the Jiaren escaped, the descending dragon trap at the first divine retreat, taking the lead in opening the secret technique, I suspect it was your intervention. Could it be that you're allied with the Jiaren? Song Yunxiang naturally wouldn't admit it. He changed the subject. Stop overthinking it. This is my first time meeting them, at least for this trial. We're on the same side, aren't we? Let's work together to fend off the beast tide and complete the trial first. I'll go check the east gate. You handle the west gate. As he walked away, Huang Miaoying was lost in thought. Before I got dragged into the secret realm, I never even noticed this person's presence. His cultivation must be higher than mine, or he's using some kind of special technique. And that soul force fluctuation, why does it feel so familiar? Does he have some rare, concealed method? Could he be a true sorcerer? Unwilling to get tangled up with her, Song Yunxiang climbed to a higher vantage point and opened the secret realm panel to check. He quickly noticed something strange. There are 3 people holding the beach defenses against the beast tide, and 1 person is guarding the refugees in the city. By all accounts, the beach line should hold out longer. Perplexed, he summoned Fathead Fish. Why did the southern defense collapse? It shouldn't have fallen so quickly. What happened? Fathead Fish was instantly annoyed. That brat Lan Zhou is a disgrace. Truly a shame to our kind. Not only did he avoid fighting the enemy head-on, but he also sabotaged his teammates from the back, stealing kills and ambushing people. What a scoundrel. Song Yunxiang chuckled upon hearing this. I see. So you understand why I wanted to change the rules. For the 3rd trial, Song Yunxiang said, do you really think a new soul general, in the hands of someone like that, would ever fulfill the duty of protecting your people? Fathead Fish snorted angrily. I've decided I'll see to it that he's disqualified. Your Excellency, I think we can end the trial here. We should pick another promising youth as the inheritor. But Song Yunxiang waved his hand. No rush. Let's see it through to the end and find out the trial's natural outcome. But we can speed things up a bit. Most of the civilians have already been evacuated. Let's move on to the final phase. Following the order, Fathead Fish quickly got to work. Song Yunxiang also made his way outside the city. Some stray beasts had already reached the base of the city walls. Although Lan Kuan was worried, he couldn't be everywhere at once. Damn it, the defense line collapsed. I hope the Jiren within the city have safely evacuated from Longwei City. The massive turtle-like beast on the distant sea let out a roar and began to move. For a moment, Huyan Xian froze at the sight. Taking advantage of his hesitation, Lan Zhou swooped in and stole the kill. Realizing what happened, Huyan Xian was furious. Lan Zhou couldn't resist mocking him. Idiot. Looking around in the middle of a fight. You deserve to have your kill stolen. With that, he fired a ranged attack at the turtle on the sea and burrowed back underground. Angered by the provocation, the giant turtle roared. The ripple of energy it released spread outward. In the next moment, the surrounding beasts stopped their assaults and turned to attack Huyan Xian's position. Seeing this, Huyan Xian fled in panic. That beast is commanding them? Damn it. The Jiren lured them right to me. He quickly found himself surrounded, with no escape route in sight. In the distance, Lan Kuan noticed the situation, but Lan Zhou suddenly appeared and stopped him. Lan Kuan, wait. Uncle Wang, I have a great idea. While that Huyan brat has the monster horde distracted, right now is the perfect time to take down that giant turtle. Think about it, killing a unique, colossal beast would rack up a ton of points, and we can use this chance to wipe them all out in one go. But Lan Kuan ignored him, leaping forward to aid Huyan Xian. Ugh, that fool didn't fall for it. Did he actually see through my scheme? Damn it, whatever. I'll just hide and wait for another chance. With that thought, Lan Zhou retreated back into the shadows. He burrowed underground. Meanwhile, Huyan Xian was still struggling under the relentless attacks of the beasts. Faced with endless waves of ferocious monsters, it was only a matter of time before he was torn apart. Just as his energy was about to run out, Lan Kuan suddenly descended from the sky, weapon in hand. With a loud war cry, he charged into the battlefield without fear of death. With his help, the pressure on Huyan Xian was significantly reduced, though they came from opposing factions. At that moment, they silently entrusted their backs to each other. After a brief pause, they launched a coordinated attack against the beasts. From atop the city wall, Fathead Fish quietly observed everything. At that moment, Song Yunxiang arrived from within the city. Fathead Fish briefly explained the current situation. Since the third phase started, the coastal defense line has nearly collapsed. Now, only these two are still barely holding on. Song Yunxiang nodded upon hearing this, and gazed at the distant battlefield. With Lan Kuan and Huyan Xian working together, the surrounding beasts suffered heavy casualties. Grateful for Lan Kuan's help, Huyan Xian sincerely expressed his thanks. I never thought I, Huyan Xian, would one day fight side by side with a Jiren warrior, entrusting my back to him. Lan Kuan answered with a solemn expression. The coastal defense has nearly collapsed, but every beast we slay buys more time for the city's residents. But we're still in competition under the scoring rules. If this is just an illusion generated by the trial, won't you lose out big time? Lan Kuan shook his head. There are tens of thousands of civilians behind us. Whether this is an illusion or reality, my principles will remain the same, even if it weren't a city of the Longhai Kingdom, or if these weren't Jiren citizens. If it were Xiaoyumilun City, or the people of Tiandu Creek, I'd do the same. Hearing Huyan Xian's words, Lan Kuan nodded seriously. That's right. Wars between nations are driven by interests, and warriors fight for honor. But that's a different matter. The civilians are innocent. In the face of a beast tide, whether human, demon, or nation, we should all stand united against a common enemy. Huyan Xian chuckled. You're an interesting one. This entire scene was witnessed by Song Yunxiang from afar. He was very satisfied with Lan Kuan's actions. Should we save him? Fathead Fish swayed his body and replied, I think we should. Meanwhile, at Longwei City's west gate, Huang Miaoying received a prompt. Civilians rescue mission completed. Saint Rank Beast is about to initiate its attack. All trial participants, proceed to the southern defense line immediately to confront the Saint Rank Beast together. Upon hearing this, Huang Miaoying sprang into action, but doubts filled her mind. Saint Rank Beasts. Only Saint Rank powerhouses or Star Soul generals can stand a chance against them. Can these suppressed Earth Rank trial participants really defeat it? But regardless, it wasn't worth exposing a Star Soul general. I'll wait and observe the situation, she thought. At that moment, the beast horde was already approaching the city gates. The Longhai soldiers stationed on the city walls quickly mobilized, launching an intense barrage of long-range fire. This heavy bombardment significantly reduced the pressure from the beasts. Under the violent explosions, the beasts surrounding the city wall suffered heavy casualties. The commanding officer then led his troops and leapt down to finish off the remaining monsters. Shortly after, Huang Miaoying arrived beside Song Yunxiang. The two exchanged a quick greeting. Looking at the brutal battle below, Huang Miaoying couldn't help but sigh. With the strength of this city, with this city's defenses, stopping that Saint Rank beast is impossible, Huang Miaoying muttered. Even with the help of the trial participants, it's just a drop in the ocean. What's the point of this trial really? Is it truly about finding the most worthy victor? Song Yunxiang responded thoughtfully. What if I told you that soon, The Southern Wasteland's United Defense Line will face a beast tide, 1,000 times worse than this one. Would you believe me? Huang Miaoying's face was filled with disbelief. Impossible. Even the scale of beast tide is unprecedented in the history of Shishui Kingdom. If it's truly 1,000 times worse, then not even the Iron Wall Army and Shishui's Qingyao troops could hold the Southern Wasteland's wall. Song Yunxiang nodded. Exactly. That beast tide completely swallowed the Southern Wasteland wall. The Iron Wall Army, Jiawan Army, and Qingyao Army, thousands of soldiers, all perished in battle. Tiandu's Nanzhou and Shishui's Shanzhou region both fell completely. Millions of civilians died in that catastrophe. Ridiculous. Why should I believe you? Fine. Song Yunxiang replied calmly. Think of it as foresight. But if words aren't enough, I can show you the horror of the future. As he spoke, Song Yunxiang channeled the power of the secret realm, projecting the scenes from his memory directly into Huang Miaoying's mind. In an instant, countless fragmented memories appeared. Though still skeptical, Huang Miaoying carefully observed. She saw saint-rank beasts breaking through the Iron Wall fortress, and soon after, they launched a full-scale attack on Yong'an City in Nanzhou. Countless civilians fled in terror, only to be devoured by the overwhelming beast horde. The entire city was reduced to an apocalyptic wasteland. The cries of agony and despair slowly faded beneath the rubble. Moments later, Huang Miaoying staggered back, gasping for breath. It was pure hell on earth. That's absolutely unacceptable. But what about Quancheng? Quancheng has a saint-rank protector. They should step in. Song Yunxiang shook his head. As far as I know, no saint-rank stepped in from Quancheng. If the entire Shishui kingdom fell to the beast tide, how could Quancheng alone remain standing? Just how long before this happens? Song Yunxiang answered seriously. Less than 2 months. Huang Miaoying froze in place. Wait, if it weren't for the delay caused by this divine retreat news, according to the original plan, to help Su and I break, we should already be at the capital by now, in closed-door training for at least. Could his so-called foresight actually be true? But deep down, why am I so inclined to trust him? What's with that soul power of his? Why does it feel oddly reassuring? Just moments ago, he had shared the beast tide warning with Huang Miaoying. After witnessing the future devastation, Huang Miaoying was left deeply shaken. That number of saint-rank beasts, that scale of a beast tide, even with me and Su and I, plus Quancheng and the royal forces, we'd likely still be unable to turn the tide. I need proof, she demanded. I can't just mobilize Shishui's troops, based on a few words from you, and some images. I need solid evidence. Song Yunxiang shook his head. I'm sorry, I don't have any solid proof. Then who are you? If you can't even reveal your identity, how can I trust you? How can I use what you're saying to convince the Empress and the court? Song Yunxiang. He couldn't reveal the secret of his reincarnation. If that's the case, he had to find another way to fool her. Sorry, Senior Sikong, he thought. I'll have to borrow your name. With that, he dismantled his mech configuration, then deliberately altered his soul power to mimic that of Sikong's signature presence. Huang Miaoying's eyes widened in disbelief. This familiar soul power. He would never forget it. Overcome with emotion, he hastily dismantled his armor, and after carefully checking again, he confirmed yes. It was his father. The memories flooded back, one after another. Huang Miaoying could no longer hold back his deep longing. He cried out, "Father!" and threw himself into his arms. At that moment, it felt as if he had returned to his childhood decades ago, as the two reunited. The battle beneath the city walls neared its end. Countless beast corpses were piled high, resembling a small mountain. Lan Kuan and Huyan Xian panted heavily, clearly reaching their limits. Yet more beasts continued to charge in, undaunted by death. Huyan Xian glanced at Lan Kuan, a hint of admiration in his gaze. To be honest, my soul power is almost depleted. Trial points are irrelevant right now, but having you as an ally, I have to admit, it's reassuring. Lan Kuan chuckled. Even I never thought I'd one day fight alongside a Huyan clansman. Unfortunately, it looks like we'll both meet our end in this trial. Huyan Xian pointed toward the giant turtle. Do you see that creature? From a distance, it didn't seem so terrifying. But now, up close, it's clear. It's not just Earth rank strength. It might be at least Saint rank or higher. Lan Kuan's heart sank. Saint rank. Damn it, we're powerless against that. Huyan Xian clapped him on the shoulder. Don't lose hope. Remember the second trial? We held out against the replica of Xinghu and General Ao Bing, didn't we? And besides, knowing it's impossible, but still giving it our all. That's always been the Huyan clan's legacy. Even if it ends here, said Huyan Xian, I still want to take on the strongest enemy. Lan Kuan nodded in agreement. You're right. As a prince of the Jiaoren tribe, I can't stand idly by as they break through our walls, slaughtering the people of Longhai, even if it means dying in battle. The royal family and its warriors must fall before the people do. I'll be the bait to draw its attention, while you seize an opening. But Huyan Xian shook his head firmly. No. I'm better suited for. My maneuverability and ranged attacks are better than yours. I'll keep its attention on me. Your mech has stronger bursts of power. You find an opportunity to strike a fatal blow. Besides, this whole trial is about the Jiaoren inheritance. It was my meddling that caused this unexpected turn of events. If we're lucky enough to defeat this beast, I'd rather you be the one to earn its points. Without waiting for Lan Kuan's objection, Huyan Xian leaped into action. Lan Kuan, seeing this, had no choice but to follow, looking for an opening. The two moved quickly, heading toward the giant turtle. As soon as they got close, the turtle let out an earth-shaking roar. In response, the surrounding beam-shooting beasts immediately attacked. In an instant, a barrage of beams flew toward Huyin Xian. Fortunately, Huyin Xian's mech was agile enough to evade. Forget them. I'll lure the beast to the front. You take the back. Hearing Huyin Xian's instructions, Lan Kuan moved to flank the turtle. Meanwhile, Huyin Xian charged into the surrounding beasts, with more and more beasts arriving. Huyin Xian. He fired a shell at the turtle from above, but before it could hit, the turtle's two tentacles swatted it aside. The sight left Huyin Xian stunned. The tentacles didn't stop there. They reached out toward him. Still midair, Huyin Xian barely had time to react, and was immediately caught. Several more tentacles reached out, grabbing his limbs and torso. It's over. At least I won't die at the hands of those small fry. He closed his eyes, awaiting the end. The next moment, his body was torn apart. Explosive fire filled the air. Huyin Xian, by risking his life, had successfully drawn the giant turtle's wrath. As expected, he fell in the process. Lan Kuan, seeing the opportunity, immediately raised his weapon and launched his attack. Thanks for the chance you created. I won't let your sacrifice go to waste. Just as the strike was about to land, Lan Zhou suddenly emerged from below, kicking Lan Kuan aside. He immediately activated his battle record whirlpool, striking at the turtle's exposed head. After landing the hit, Lan Zhou burst into laughter. I win. The massive points from this turtle are mine. Seeing this, Lan Kuan was enraged. But a saint-level turtle like this couldn't be taken down so easily. Having been struck by the sneak attack, the turtle let out an ear-shattering roar. Meanwhile, Huyin Xian, who had been removed from the battlefield, awakened inside the trial realm. He thought he'd be sent directly to the outside world, but the collar remained. Clearly, the trial wasn't over. As he pondered this, a translucent panel appeared before him. Trial participant number 2, four-armed yellow-furred man. Phase 1 score, 800. Phase 2 score, 1,100. Phase 3 score, 3,260. Non-Jiao Run tribe penalty, minus 10,000 points. Total score, minus 5,160. Not eligible for inheritance. As he read this information, a sharp pain surged through his mind. Then images of the desolation of the southern wastes flooded his mind. He panted, struggling to comprehend. Before he could react, the figure of the plump fish appeared before him. Trial participant number 2 Huyin Xian eliminated. He will be forcibly removed from the trial realm in 0.5 seconds. As these words faded, Huyin Xian's figure gradually disappeared. The plump fish tilted its head, pondering for a moment. It wasn't sure why its master wanted Huyin Xian to see those things, but with its task complete, it decided to return and report. At that moment, on the southern city wall, Song Yunxiang, disguised as Si Kongying, began to weave his tale for Huang Miaoyi. Father neither reincarnated, nor was reborn. This body called Song Yunxiang simply inherited a strand of my soul's remnant. When it accepted the proper teachings, Huang Miaoyi was moved to tears. So it was Father following me back in Shidaio City. I should have realized sooner. Only Father's formation techniques could create an array that shielded the saint-level divine stone. Song Yunxiang nodded with a straight face. That's correct. Originally, Song Yunxiang was a coincidence in Shidaio City. But seeing your unyielding determination, Father's remnant soul was reawakened within this trial realm. Relying on my proper techniques, I gained certain permissions, allowing me to appear before you. Once we leave this trial realm, this remnant soul of mine may dissipate at any moment. Hearing this, Huang Miaoying immediately embraced him. Then let's stay here in the trial realm forever. Just like back in Sikong Mountain. Song Yunxiang quickly shook his head, coming up with another excuse. That's not possible. Even in the trial realm, my remnant soul is nearly depleted. You may believe me or not, but soon, a tidal wave 1,000 times worse than this one will engulf the Southern Waste United Defense Line. In 3 years' time, the entire eastern continent will be destroyed. At that point, whether it's Miluan, Shishui, or Longhai, Xiaoyu, no one will remain untouched. From mortals to heroes, from heavenly tier to saint tier, no one will walk away unscathed. Therefore, I altered the rules of the third trial phase. It was to show you all the devastation this continent faces. I hope to entrust this power to someone truly worthy. I don't claim to know the will of heaven. Only this man, Song Yunxiang, stands as the lone variable. Protecting this land is my duty as a guardian. Meow. This Song Yunxiang has accepted my plan. He is doing something great. I hope you can consider him as my reincarnation. Help him as best you can. If you do, even if this remnant soul of mine dissipates completely, I would have fulfilled the trust of my ancestors and teachers. Song Yunxiang kept spinning his story, until even he wasn't sure what he was saying. It just kept getting more and more convoluted. I'm almost out of material, he thought. I need a way to wrap this up. Those monsters just showed up at the right time. Perfect chance to make an exit. A few flying beasts hovered overhead, launching an immediate attack. Song Yunxiang quickly pulled Huang Miaoying close to protect her, shielding her from harm. Explosions rocked the area, sparks of energy raining down. He began channeling his soul energy, faking the appearance of his figure fading into particles. Seeing him gradually become translucent, Huang Miaoying panicked. Song Yunxiang reassured her with a smile. Don't worry, to block that attack, This remnant soul of mine has been overtaxed. I'll need to rest now. Before he finished speaking, the flying beast attacked again. Huang Miaoying, enraged, shielded him, emitting a cold. In a flash, the Star Soul General's construct formed around her, blocking the onslaught. Destructive lightning shot out from her palms, striking down several flying beasts in an instant. They didn't even have time to cry out. When the attack subsided, she turned anxiously to Song Yunxiang. Are you all right, father? He smiled warmly. I'm fine. To see you, my little meow, grow into someone who can protect the world. He paused, his voice full of pride. I couldn't be more proud. He reached out as if to say more. But his form began to waver. Before she could respond, he vanished completely. As the last of his image disappeared, he reverted to his original, youthful appearance. Good, time to act clueless. Who? Where am I? What just happened? He murmured, his face now beaded with sweat. Tears rolled down Huang Miaoying's cheeks as she saw this. She dispelled her armor and supported him. Both descended slowly to the city walls. Still dazed, Song Yunxiang gave her a polite bow. Senior Huang, I am Song Yunxiang. Before Sir Sikong vanished, he shared his thoughts with me. Huang Miaoying was silent for a long moment. She finally turned her back to him, her voice tinged with longing and regret. All right, but don't call me Senior Huang. You can call me Miao. Song Yunxiang felt relieved. Convincing her wasn't easy, but it worked. Too bad he couldn't copy her Star Soul General's data within the trial. As they spoke, the battle at the southern wall reached its climax. The giant turtle, wounded by Lan Zhou's sneak attack, did not fall. Instead, the protrusions on its shell started trembling, transforming into clam-like beasts. These creatures moved with blinding speed, rushing into the battlefield. The soldiers defending Longwei City, unprepared, were frozen solid. One of the beasts charged straight at Lan Zhou and Lan Kuan. The two narrowly evaded its attack. The beast's relentless attacks continued. Lan Zhou, airborne, struggled to evade. He was about to be struck down. Lan Kuan quickly intervened, slashing the assailant in half. Thanks, Lan Kuan Wangji. But that beast's score is mine, right? Lan Zhou laughed, unleashing his whirlpool slash, shamelessly securing the 500 points. With the beast swarming around them, Lan Zhou quickly retreated underground. This is all yours, he called. I'm out, leaving Lan Kuan to fight alone. In the end, Lan Kuan managed to dispatch 2 more beasts, but his spirit power was nearly depleted. Then, from the city wall came a sudden noise, and a golden lightning bolt lit up the battlefield. He stared in shock. What was that? Such powerful spirit pressure. Could it be those two? Is one of them that strong? Huang Miaoying, now fully equipped, swept her blade, felling several beasts in one stroke. Even Fat-Headed Fish was astounded. What kind of Star Soul General is this? It looks stronger than our A.O. Bing. Ah, what am I saying? A.O. Bing is the mightiest. He shook his head. No other general compares to A.O. Bing. When Song Yunxiang reappeared in his youthful form, he bowed respectfully. Senior Huang, he greeted. Huang Miaoying removed her armor, reluctantly turning away. You can just call me Miao. Fat-Headed Fish groaned. Man, Song Yunxiang, you sure know how to play people. Give me a break. On the second defensive line, Longhai Kingdom soldiers fought valiantly, giving their all to protect their homeland. They charged again and again, undaunted by death, but as they drew closer, they despaired. Even their strongest strikes couldn't pierce the beast's defenses. The soldiers were about to fall into danger. Lan Kuan immediately charged forward with his weapon. Although he successfully defeated the fierce beast in front of him, it barely made a difference on the battlefield. The soldiers of Longhai Kingdom were completely suppressed. Damn it, this troublesome beast. Not only does it have long-range attacks and mid-range physical strikes, its tough shell can even resist half of the melee attacks. The soldiers of Donghai Kingdom, using mass-produced weapons, could hardly handle it. Wait, something's not right. Is it just my imagination? Or is this thing multiplying? Could it be? Lan Kuan quickly looked at the headless giant tortoise. Sure enough, he saw more of these troublesome beasts crawling out from the tortoise's fake shell. This giant beast was continuously spawning new ones. These missized monsters, we must take down this giant beast first, but how can I defeat it? After thinking for a moment, Lan Kuan clenched his teeth and made a decision. All right, I'll burn my last bit of soul power. Seeing this, Lan Hao was shocked. He's going to burn his soul vein. That idiot. Is he going to self-destruct? I better get out of here fast. Saying that, he turned and ran without looking back. At this moment, Lan Kuan let out a loud roar, channeling all his remaining soul power. His body turned into a blazing blue flame, rushing straight toward the giant tortoise. The tortoise seemed to sense the danger, and quickly went on high alert. The distance between them narrowed rapidly. Countless tentacles sliced off Lan Kuan's arm and leg, but he didn't slow down at all. With a determination to die, he charged straight into the tortoise's fake shell. Sorry, mother, I promised to cherish my life. Lan Kuan closed his eyes slowly as he spoke. The next second, a violent explosion erupted with a thunderous boom, engulfing the entire area. The flames spread like a raging tide, quickly sweeping across the battlefield. Soon after, the battlefield returned to calm. The giant tortoise struggled to stand back up, although it wasn't dead. It had clearly suffered a fatal blow from the attack. From afar, Lan Hao sneered, "Idiot, what a laughable act of cowardice. Only those who survive to the end can have it all." But just as he was feeling smug, A sharp sword suddenly flew towards him, before Lanzhao could react. The sword smashed him into pieces. On the city wall, Song Yunxiang stood proudly. People like him will never understand the meaning of sacrifice. After killing Lanzhao, he deactivated his armor and returned to Huang Miaoying's side. So, you've made your choice, haven't you? We can end the secret realm now. Song Yunxiang nodded. Sorry, Elder Huang, I promised that. The legacy of Ao Bing, the guardian of this realm, could only be passed on to the worthy. Huang Miaoying raised an eyebrow and said, what are you thinking? I have no interest in the legacy of these insignificant ants. And didn't I tell you earlier? Just call me Miaoying from now on. Hearing this, Song Yunxiang chuckled. Hee. Then let me end this illusion. Wait, let's finish what we started. Clean up the battlefield first. I want to see if your full strength is worthy of my recognition. Then how about we do it together? With that, the two of them leapt off the city wall. In the next moment, fully equipped Lu Bu and Wen Zhong appeared on the battlefield. The new Soul Generals were far more powerful than ordinary mechs. The battlefield was soon filled with continuous explosions. Meanwhile, Lan Kuan returned to the secret realm. He opened his eyes in confusion, only to see the fathead fish wiggling its body and approaching him. The fish looked at the dazed Lan Kuan with anticipation. You're awake. Lan Kuan slowly awakened in the core space of the secret realm. The fathead fish chuckled and said, congratulations. Trial participant number 3, Lan Kuan. Take a look at this first. As soon as the words fell, a panel appeared in front of Lan Kuan. Trial participant number 3, Naive Prince. First trial score, 600. Second trial score, 2,000. Third trial score, 3,380. Bonus for choosing the wider path, plus 5,000. Total score, 10,980. Congratulations, you've earned the right to inherit the legacy. Seeing this, Lan Kuan stood frozen, unable to believe it. The fathead fish nodded. That's right. You've gained the right to inherit the legacy. Now, as the guardian of the Jiao clan's legacy, I officially recognize Lan Kuan as the 10th successor of Star Soul General Ao Bing. The inheritance ceremony begins now. With that, a dragon symbol suddenly appeared in the sky. Immediately afterward, a mysterious force surged into Lan Kuan's body. Golden markings emerged on his skin, finally converging into his eyes. Star Soul General Ao Bing's data transfer will take some time. I wonder how the master is doing. The fathead fish thought about it and began to check on Song Yunxiang's situation. Meanwhile, in another secret realm space, Lanzhao looked around in confusion. Where am I? What just happened? Someone ambushed me? Does that mean I failed? Before he could figure it out, a panel suddenly appeared before him. Trial participant number 1, Despicable Loudmouth. First trial score, 1,000. Second trial score, 1,000. Third trial score, 2,630. Penalty for disrespectful behavior, minus 250. Penalty for public embarrassment, minus 3,000. Penalty for unethical acts, minus 3,000. Total score, minus 2,380. Disqualified from obtaining the legacy. What does this mean? What the hell is this? Lanzhao was furious, steam practically coming out of his head. Suddenly, a barrier surrounded and trapped him inside. Damn it. What is this now? What does this mean? Why am I being locked up? Is anyone there? Meanwhile, at the southern gate battlefield of Longwei City, the surrounding fierce beasts had been completely wiped out by the two. Only the giant tortoise in the center remained. Huang Miaoying pointed towards the sky. In the next second, the wing-like mecha behind her soared upward. It quickly merged in the air, forming a mysterious magic circle. Lightning flickered continuously outside the formation. With a loud shout from Huang Miaoying, a golden lightning bolt of immense power struck the giant tortoise in an instant. Song Yunxiang didn't sit idle either. He drew his bow, channeling powerful energy into it. The moment the energy was fully gathered, the arrow shot forward with unstoppable force. The giant tortoise's body was instantly pierced through, and a golden life core rolled out. In the next moment, the life core was slashed into pieces by a flashing sword light. Huang Miaoying appeared nearby, wielding a massive sword. The shattering of the life core signaled the giant tortoise's complete death. See? Without the realm suppression, you can kill it in a single strike. Hearing Song Yunxiang's words, Huang Miaoying shook her head. This beast's actual combat power was only at level 3. The peak of Saint Tier is level 12. The gap between each level is comparable to a major realm advancement in the mortal world. But even so, with full strength at Saint Tier level 6, it's still hard to kill this half-cicada beast in one hit. It's terrifying to imagine what would happen if numerous beasts of this level appeared at the same time. Song Yunxiang frowned deeply, lost in thought. After Saint Tier level 12 comes what they call the Divine Sword Realm. Unfortunately, in my past life, due to my incomplete soul vein, I couldn't advance any further. Helpless, I had to continue expanding sideways. At that moment, Huang Miaoying looked at him in confusion. Hasn't the realm suppression been lifted? Why is your realm still stuck at the late Earth tier? Sorry. Late Earth tier is actually my true level. Song Yunxiang quickly changed the subject, feeling awkward. Anyway, we're about done here. It's time for us to leave. With that, he immediately took out the secret realm control panel and operated it. The surrounding scenery quickly shifted. This is the earlier secret realm space. Huang Miaoying had just finished speaking when a panel appeared before her. Trial participant number 4, Miao. First trial score, 0. Second trial score, 1,600. Third trial score, 3,210. Other penalty, non-Jiao clan member, minus 10,000. Total score, minus 5,190. Legacy qualification, not obtained. After reading it, Huang Miaoying glared angrily at Song Yunxiang. What is this nonsense? Did you make this up? Song Yunxiang scratched his head awkwardly, quickly explaining. Lan Kuan must have messed with the settings. Don't take it too seriously. Right after, his own panel appeared. It was completely different from the others. The panel radiated the aura of an unbeatable boss. Trial participant number 0, Invincible Lord. First, second, and third trial scores. 999,999. Bonus, unrivaled in the world. Plus 999,999. Total score, 9,000 trillion. Legacy qualification, decided by the Lord. Song Yunxiang froze in place, speechless. Well, thanks a lot. Huang Miaoying's cold laugh echoed in his ears. 999,999. What a flashy interface. Song Yunxiang smiled awkwardly and quickly closed the panel. According to the information within the secret realm control, this area should be part of the real world now. The current state is the same as outside the secret realm. Here, take this. With that, he handed over a red soul talisman. Huang Miaoying asked curiously, what's this? Song Yunxiang explained. It's a captured Milun's soul general talisman. Once we leave the secret realm, we'll return to the original spot. I'm afraid Xiaoyu Kingdom's soldiers will have it surrounded by then. You probably don't want Zhuibo's identity exposed, right? While speaking, he grabbed her hand. Why isn't the new system reacting? That doesn't make sense. If this is the real area, it should be able to copy the new soul general data. Huang Miaoying spoke meaningfully. If a Saint Tier wants to leave, who could stop them? Nice words, but I think you have another motive. He didn't expect her to be so sharp. Song Yunxiang immediately felt a headache. Time to go. This place isn't safe. I'm going to check on the Jiao clan kid. See you outside. With that, he vanished in a moments later, he appeared in front of the fathead fish. Lord, you're here. The third trial is complete. Song Yunxiang nodded. How's it going here? The fathead fish replied. Progress is at 99%. Just one final step. One last step? Yes, according to the great king of Longhai, the first Ao Bing, and the inheritance process set by Master Lan Tong. The final step is to infuse the true dragon's blood into each Ao Bing successor. Only then can they achieve the Jiao clan's ultimate form. The Jiao clan's ultimate form. Hearing these words, Song Yunxiang's mind recalled Lan Kuan's appearance from his past life. No, this energy fluctuation is strange. Realizing something was wrong, he quickly questioned, true dragon's blood? Why inject this stuff into Ao Bing's successor? The fathead fish shook its head, thinking for a moment. Master Lan Tong required Ao Bing's successors to be infused with it. Something about a star return plan, I think. The gods don't like polluted vessels. Star return plan. The word vessel made Song Yunxiang explode with shock. He remembered something his second senior sister had once drunkenly said in the legend of the Ling clan. These men, Ling people, and various demon clans were all created by gods as slaves. But your human race is different. You are the descendants of the gods. But if you ask me, descendants is pure nonsense. You're nothing more than shells the gods prepared for themselves. When the star return comes, the gods will return to their homeland. Sensing something ominous, Song Yunxiang urgently asked, where did this stuff come from? Is there a lot of it? The fathead fish hesitated to explain, and simply led him to another part of the secret realm. After passing through a portal, Song Yunxiang arrived at an unknown place. The moment he arrived, his form changed involuntarily, returning to his appearance when entering the secret realm. What's happening? This place isn't controlled by the secret realm core? Lord, this is the lowest level of the secret realm. This area is a special real zone. The fathead fish continued, pointing at a mysterious container in front of them. The true dragon's blood was extracted from here. Is there a lot of it? I don't know. But this is what we've got. Song Yunxiang looked solemnly at the coffin-like container. Yes, this unsettling feeling. It's the same energy I sensed from Lan Kuan in my past life. The fathead fish. Isn't it fine? Lord, do you want to open it and see? Song Yunxiang cautiously asked. What's inside this thing? Is it human? Well, I'm not sure if it counts as human, but it does seem to have some form of life. A bold idea flashed through Song Yunxiang's mind. Could this be a cyborg? Open it up and see. The fathead fish responded and started operating the controls. Moments later, with a series of clicks, a burst of white mist began to spread from the device. As the mist cleared, the body of a young girl appeared before their eyes. Most of her body was covered with machinery, but the most surprising part was the dragon tail growing from her back. Seeing this, Song Yunxiang became even more certain of his guess. Do you know who this is? I'm not too sure, but I've seen something similar in the records from the northern continent. Apparently, several years ago, a race that couldn't cultivate the two soul veins developed a method to gain the power to control soul generals like humans. They created something similar to body modification. The result of that technique was the cyborg. The fathead fish flattered him. As expected of you, Lord, you know so much. The true dragon's blood was extracted from this one. Do you want to activate it and take a look? Absolutely not. Seal the coffin, and let's get out of here. With that, he turned and walked toward the teleportation vortex. The records also speculated that the creation of cyborgs was what led to the destruction of that era. Who knows what this thing really is? But if it's hostile and goes out of control, it'll be a huge problem. Better to leave it here for now. The fathead fish sealed the area and caught up with him. Lord, should Lan Kuan still absorb the true dragon's blood? Song Yunxiang immediately asked. If he doesn't, will it affect his succession as AO Bing's heir? The fathead fish shook its head. No, it won't. Then forget it for now. I've got a really bad feeling about this stuff. After that, the man and the fish left the space. Meanwhile, Lan Kuan finally absorbed the last bit of inheritance energy. The pain on his face gradually faded, and his body felt filled with boundless strength. Dragon Fang Spear, slay the dragon. Star Soul General AO Bing. It hurts. It felt like countless pieces of information were forcibly shoved into my mind. This power. Could it be? Have I truly become AO Bing's chosen successor? But how do I use this power? Let's give it a try. Lan Kuan spread his arms wide. He shouted loudly, Star Soul Armor. But everything remained silent, no change at all. Did I do it wrong? Alright, let's try again. Star Soul Armor. Lan Kuan changed his stance and tried again. But still, nothing happened. This can't be right. Based on the information in my mind, this should work. Star Soul Armor. He stubbornly kept trying. At that moment, Song Yunxiang stepped out from the teleportation vortex. Their eyes met, and the atmosphere instantly turned awkward. The fathead fish stared at Lan Kuan's strange pose, completely baffled. Lord, what is this guy doing? Song Yunxiang raised an eyebrow. No idea. Maybe it's some Jiao clan ritual, or a celebratory dance move. Lan Kuan awkwardly cleared his throat to break the tension. The fathead fish nodded sagely. Not bad, it seems. You have indeed become AO Bing's chosen successor. Lan Kuan respectfully knelt on one knee. Thank you, Guardian, for your guidance. Alright. The fathead fish formally introduced Song Yunxiang. This is the Lord himself. The Lord. Wasn't he just an unlucky soul caught in the secret realm? Those words instantly angered the fathead fish, the loyal flatterer. How dare you? This Lord is profound and unfathomable, with boundless power. He is the master of the Guardian. Watch your manners, little one. Hearing this, Lan Kuan finally realized. The master of the Guardian? Could he be the legendary immortal? Think? He immediately showed a respectful expression. Lord, I did pretty well just now, right? Don't try to flatter me. It's useless. I, Lan Kuan, son of Lord Lanbo, pay my respects to you, Lord. Song Yunxiang quickly stepped forward and helped him up. No need to be so formal. The Star Soul General AO Bing is now entrusted to you. I hope you use this power to protect the continent. But when he made contact with Lan Kuan, the new system didn't react. Could it be that inside the secret realm, the new system has trouble copying the new Soul General's abilities? Could it be connected to the system's network? Lan Kuan, after calming himself, asked the question weighing on his mind. Lord, Guardian. I just tried to summon the Star Soul General AO Bing, but I failed. Could you both guide me? The fathead fish put on a proud look. That's normal. You're not the first one to ask the Guardian this question, and you won't be the last. Don't worry. Once you leave the secret realm, it'll work. Hearing this, Lan Kuan's eyes lit up. So that's it. Then how do we leave? I can't wait to try AO Bing's power. Song Yunxiang then pulled out the secret realm core. In that case, let's get ready to leave. I'm guessing there are plenty of targets waiting for us outside. It's time for action. Lord, are you going to close the secret realm? Let me inform the others. The fathead fish said, before vanishing with a splash. Meanwhile, in another space, Lance Hao continued trying countless ways to escape. In the end, he could only lie helplessly on the ground. Is anyone there? How long are you going to keep me locked up here? Just as he was feeling frustrated, the voice of the fathead fish suddenly echoed in his ears. The inheritance secret realm has ended. Trial participant number 1, Lance Hao, will be forcibly ejected from the secret realm in 0.5 seconds. What? It's over. Lance Hao was about to say more, but he was instantly teleported out. On another side of the secret realm, Huang Miaoying encountered the same situation. The inheritance secret realm has ended. Trial participant number 4, Huang Miaoying, will be forcibly ejected in 0.5 seconds. Alright, let's go too, said Song Yunxiang. With that, he and Lan Kuan disappeared from the secret realm. Outside Sand Sculpture City, the area of the God-tier mining zone was almost completely excavated. Suddenly, a massive vortex appeared in midair. Moments later, 4 beams of light shot out from the vortex. When the beams hit the ground, they caused violent explosions. Seeing this, the soldiers of Sand Sculpture City immediately went on high alert. It's those intruders again. Quick, deploy the constructs and kill them all. Meanwhile, on the other side, Hu Yanxin and his group, who had already left Sand Sculpture City, were on their way back to the Hu Yin clan in the southwest of Xiaoyu King. After leaving the vicinity of Sand Sculpture City, he finally felt at ease and made a call to McKin. Thank you, Major General McKin, for handing over the Dragon Slayer. This time, I, Hu Yanxin, owe you a big favor. By the way, I'll buy this ship from you too. Name your price. I'll transfer the money later. McKin chuckled. No need to be so polite. It's just part of the deal. Consider this ship a gift. That's too kind, but I won't refuse it. Hu Yanxin chuckled. Then, as part of the deal, I think you can tell me now, right? After you two mysteriously disappeared with those intruders, and then suddenly reappeared, what exactly happened in between? Hu Yanxin hesitated for a moment, then spoke. Honestly, it wasn't a big deal. What I know is probably not much different from the information your informants collected. As for those Jiao clan members, I'm sure your people have almost figured them out, and the new Seoul General, Ao Bing, will soon reveal himself. None of that can be hidden. But those two mysterious and powerful figures, even your people probably won't find anything on them. As for that demon child you mentioned earlier, even your intelligence network found nothing strange about him. Maybe he really was just an unlucky slave caught in all this. Hearing Hu Yinshin's vague response, McKin raised an eyebrow and chuckled. Xian, you're a smart guy. I'm sure you're not naive enough to think that leaving the jurisdiction of Sand Sculpture City means you can back out of our deal. Surely you're not that naive. Of course not, Major McKin. Integrity is key. It has always been the guiding principle of the Hu Yin family. Actually, this all started when we encountered those two Jiao clan groups in the Central District. You know, the Jiao clan and our Hu Yin family have an eternal blood feud. When we noticed infighting among them, Uncle Fa and I decided to tail them and observe. Then, Hu Yinshin casually glossed over the details of how they got involved in the Jiao clan's secret realm and how they eventually failed and exited. After listening, McKin probed cautiously. Nothing suspicious happened during your time inside the secret realm, right, Xian? Hu Yinshin sighed deeply. There was nothing special. Uncle Fa failed right at the first trial in the new illusion zone and got kicked out. I made it to the third trial but failed there too, mainly because I'm not part of the Jiao clan. Got docked 10,000 points. Absolutely no involvement experience at all. McKin stopped speaking, frowning as he analyzed the situation. So non-Jiao clan members lose points in the Jiao clan's secret realm? Could it be an inheritance realm? The Star Soul General Ao Bing, the one said to be passed down by the Jiao clan. The Star Soul General. As McKin figured it out, Hu Yinshin no longer concealed the truth. That's right, Major McKin. I think that's a possibility. So you're saying that among the Jiao clan members, trapped in the secret realm, one group infiltrated through a cellar and the other group is hunting them down? What else is there? Hu Yinshin stroked his chin and replied, I also encountered two other individuals in the secret realm, but I only caught a brief glimpse. Hard to tell. Are you saying those two weren't after the Jiao clan's inheritance? Could it be the godly remnants instead? McKin's face grew more serious at the thought. Hu Yinshin, already having gotten what he wanted, didn't really care about the rest. It's possible, but hard to say. Maybe they're just reinforcements, called in by one side of the Jiao clan. Who knows? Alright. The Jiao infiltrator seems to be after the godly remnants as well. Maybe we can set a trap, catch them in their dreams. Just as McKin finished speaking, one of his subordinates hurried over and whispered something into his ear. What? They're out already. Xian, I have something urgent to attend to. I'll leave it here for now. Until next time. He hung up immediately. Hu Yinshin had a sly grin on his face. Looks like they're coming out too. This time, McKin is going to get a real taste of humility. Haha. Next to him, Hu Yinfa snorted coldly. That punk deserves a lesson. What the hell? We clearly proved that the Dragon Slayer is a relic of the Hu Yin family, and yet they still dare to claim it as their spoils of war and make ridiculous demands. Forget it, Uncle Fa, don't be mad. Being able to recover Great Aunt's relic is a pleasant surprise, as long as she's happy. Any price is worth it. I'll report this to Grandfather first. After saying that, Hu Yinshin made a call. Meanwhile, in Huiyin City, located in the southwestern province of Sheyu, Huiyin Fort stood tall against the Huiyin volcano, a massive fortress complex, and the stronghold of the Huiyin family. The family head's mansion was also located within. Inside the main hall of the mansion, an old man was leisurely pruning bonsai trees. Two middle-aged men stood quietly nearby, acting as his guards. The short-haired, muscular man was named Hu Yankai, while the tall, thin man with a beard was named Hu Yonong. Both were protectors of the Huiyin family. Among the four elders of Huiyin, young Master Xian is requesting a call. The old man stopped trimming the bonsai and walked toward the center table in the hall. His name was Hu Yinkong, a master cultivator and the grandfather of Hu Yinshin, as well as the current head of the Huiyin family. Connect the call. Back outside Sand Sculpture City, in the God-tier relic area, for beams of light descended from the sky. This sight immediately put the Sand Sculpture City soldiers on high alert. As the smoke cleared, four figures slowly emerged. With this final group ejected, the vortex in midair began rapidly shrinking. Moments later, it completely reverted to its original chaotic state. The shift in energy caught the attention of Lan Kuan and Lans Hao. This time, you won't snatch it from me. Lan Kuan leaped into action to seize it. However, before he could get close, Lans Hao kicked him back to the ground. Get lost. Lans Hao lost the protection of the Jiao clan Jade and reverted to his original Jiao clan form. Lan Kuan landed back on the ground, seething with anger, watching helplessly as the chaos core fell into Lans Hao's hands. Lans Hao smirked smugly at him. Idiot. Now that we're outside the secret realm, with your measly earth tier level, how could you possibly be a match for me, a heaven tier powerhouse? Nearby, Song Yunxiang noticed the scene as well. Heaven tier, huh? He extended his palm toward Lans Hao. In the next moment, a barrier identical to the one from the secret realm enclosed Lans Hao. Seriously again? Lans Hao was dumbfounded. Song Yunxiang said nothing, only clenching his palm. The barrier immediately began shrinking, completely immobilizing Lans Hao. Once he was done, the soldiers of Sand Sculpture City, weapons in hand, surrounded them. The intruders are back. Quick, Construct your gear. At the captain's command, dozens of mechs swiftly materialized, blocking all escape routes. Seeing the soldiers readying their weapons, about to launch their attack, Song Yunxiang calmly turned to Huang Miaoying. Your turn. Upon hearing this, Huang Miaoying took out a red chaos core and leapt into the air. As she shouted, Star Soul configuration, a red and black mech began to form on the battlefield. Meanwhile, Song Yunxiang grabbed Lanzhao and Lan Cohen and leapt, landing perfectly on the mech's shoulder. The mech was none other than the specialty unit he had confiscated from the witch Manhwa. After the Milun attack on Tiandu, the soldiers from Sand Sculpture City stared at it, confused by its unfamiliar design. Could it be a new model? At this point, Song Yunxiang went undercover. They began to feel confused. Assistant, Milun Kingdom's Heavenly Sage Sect's Holy Historian is present. Milun Kingdom has already signed an alliance pact with His Majesty, the Barbarian King of Sheyu Kingdom's royal court. How could we dare to go against that? Lord Historian, drawing weapons. Upon hearing this, the surrounding soldiers were momentarily bewildered. Milun Kingdom's historian? The Heavenly Sage Sect's alliance. What's going on? Is this real? What should we do? Should we report to General McKin? The captain quickly issued an order. Don't let them fool you. Capture them first. Ask questions later. All troops, follow my command. Advance and take them alive. With that, the soldiers abandoned ranged attacks and charged forward. Captain, is this really wise? What if they really are important? The captain hesitated for a moment, about to speak, when a long blade came whooshing in and cut him in half on the spot. Seeing this, the nearby soldiers panicked. Oh no, the captain's down. Everyone, attack together. Take him out. Huang Miaoying coldly smirked as she tossed her blade, then quickly drew another. Like lightning, she darted through the battlefield. Her terrifying strength, far beyond what the soldiers could handle, allowed her to slaughter most of them in moments. That's enough. Leave some alive to spread the word. Retreat toward the southeast, 5 o'clock position. Upon hearing Song Yunxiang's command, Huang Miaoying nodded, leaping out of the encirclement. Before leaving, she picked up a piece of the God-tier relic. Mere ants dare to disrespect my Milun Kingdom? This insult will be recorded by the Heavenly Sage Sect. You all better watch out. Song Yunxiang shouted loudly, shifting the blame to Milun Kingdom, before following Huang Miaoying into the air, leaving the area. Shortly after, at the General's Manor in the West District of Sand Sculpture City, the soldiers rushed to report the intruder's escape to General McKin. Upon hearing the news, McKin was furious. What? They escaped? They got away? The soldier quickly responded. They claimed to be the holy historians from Milun Kingdom's Heavenly Sage Sect, and they used a Star Soul general we've never seen before. They also said they've signed an alliance with His Majesty, the Barbarian King. We honestly weren't sure what to do, but we followed the captain's last order. Hearing the soldier describe the mech, McKin furrowed his brows, deep in thought. This does sound like the next-gen mass-produced mech Milun Kingdom has been secretly developing. Could it be real? Did any of you see what the holy historian piloting the new Star Soul general looked like? The soldier replied, yes, we did. She was pretty tall woman. Was she dark-skinned, masked, and well-endowed? The soldier paused, trying to recall. She wore a cloak, so I'm not sure about her skin, but yeah, she was definitely busty. McKin was fully convinced by Song Yunxiang's ruse. Based on the description, he was almost certain it was Man Luo, one of the holy historians of the Heavenly Sage Sect, a peak heaven-tier powerhouse. Damn Milun bastards. Just because they signed some alliance with Sheyu Kingdom's royal court, they think they can run wild in my Sand Sculpture City? Pass down my order. Give proper burials to the fallen Sand Sculpture City warriors, and inform the other 3 generals. Tonight, set up ambushes throughout the city. Be prepared for a possible night raid. We will capture them all in one fell swoop. The soldiers responded, and quickly began making arrangements. McKin snorted coldly, looking into the distance. Heavenly Sword? Star Soul General? As long as I have my father's ultimate weapon, they're nothing but child's play. If they dare show up again, they won't leave alive. Ha ha ha. Meanwhile, after connecting the call at the Huyan household, Huyan Xin respectfully said, greetings, clan head. Huyan Kong looked at the boy. He revealed a hint of helplessness. Alright. There's no outsiders here, kid. Drop the act. As soon as he said this, Huyan Xin immediately switched to a playful grin. Hee. Okay, Grandpa. I heard your trip to Sand Sculpture City was quite fruitful. Come on, tell this old man all about it. Don't rush, Grandpa. First, let me show you a treasure. Hearing this, Huyan Kong squinted at the screen. Huh? What's that? Stand back a bit, kid. You're too close. I can't see off his shiny bald head is blocking the camera. Tell him to move aside. Upon hearing this, Huyan Fa quickly and obediently stepped aside. The dragon subduing spike finally appeared fully on the screen. The dragon subduing spike. The very same artifact that Aunt Geo used to pacify Shalon Onis back then. Huyan Kong was ecstatic. Did you encounter the Jiren clan of Dragonsea Kingdom? Hee Grandpa. Let me get back to the ship. Find a comfy seat, and I'll tell you everything in detail. This is quite the story. Not just the Jiren. Huyan Xin chuckled. Then, he recounted everything he had experienced. Huyan Kong was astonished after hearing the full story. Is this true? The Jiren's inheritance realm, 3 trials, and the new Star Soul General, Ao Bing, plus encounters with mysterious powerhouses. What a stroke of luck. Who would have thought that someone from our Huyan clan would get the chance to sneak into the Jiren's inheritance realm? Such an experience. Hearing this, Huyan Xian chuckled, pleased with himself. Exactly, Grandpa. I also think this was a crazy adventure. Do you think the inheritance realm inside the spirit pearl, from our clan's lineage, is similar to the Jiren's inheritance? Huyan Kong stroked his beard thoughtfully. Though I haven't been inside myself, I've heard the older brothers who've been there talk about it. They said it also had 3 layers of trials. Grandpa, what do you think about the images and information I saw at the end? What does it all mean? Not long from now, the southern waste will flood. Eternal Peace City will fall. Southern province will collapse. Those images felt incredibly real, as if I had personally experienced them. The overwhelming presence of dozens of massive beasts was just like the Saint-tier monsters I encountered in the trial realm. Huyan Kong furrowed his brow. He pondered for a moment. The power of the secret realm is mysterious and terrifying. This could very well be a vision showing you a possible future, a prophecy, since the information didn't specify a time frame. Let's investigate first. The southern waste flooding and the fall of Eternal Peace City. At least we have clear locations. But if this is real, Grandpa, are we going to intervene? Hearing this, Huyan Kong remained silent for a long moment. Then, his gaze became firm. He solemnly instructed, Xian, remember this. No matter where we are, our Huyan clan will always be loyal subjects of the Heavenly Empire. Back in the day, our ancestors fought alongside the Grand Emperor to unify the Eastern continent. Now the empire is divided into 3 factions. Their internal struggles are not our concern. But if foreign invaders come, then our Huyan clan will never allow the citizens of the Heavenly Empire to be slaughtered, nor will we tolerate our nation's land falling into enemy hands. If we won't tolerate foreign invaders, then we certainly won't tolerate the rampage of these beasts, who threaten all of humanity. Grandpa, the Xiaoyu royal court seems to be forming an alliance with Maloon against Tiandu. Huyan Fa chuckled upon hearing this. You still don't understand. For hundreds of years, our Huyan clan has endured in this barren land, always gazing northward at the central plains, just to wait for someone who can inherit the will of the Grand Emperor, someone determined to reunify this fractured land with the bloodline of Tianjia. As for Xiaoyu's offerings, they're just a power we've supported, meant to be a future gift to that emperor. Huyan Xian fell silent at these words. Nearby, 2 young demon girls covered their mouths, their faces full of fear. After a long time, Huyan Xian let out a long breath. I understand now. Huyan Kong nodded. Come back then. I'll inform your 9th aunt about the news of the dragon subduing Spike and the Star Soul General Ao Bing. Okay, please pass along my respects to my 9th aunt. When I return, I'll personally pay her my respects. Safe travels, Patriarch. As the call ended, Huyan Xian let out a sigh of relief, but the 2 young demon girls nearby continued to tremble uncontrollably. What's wrong? Huyan Xian asked in confusion. The demon girls stammered nervously. Young master, don't worry. We didn't understand anything that was said. Hearing this, Huyan Xian laughed heartily. Don't be afraid. I'm not the type to harm you. You've been so well behaved. And now that you're mine, why would I ever think of silencing you? Amid their playful giggles and coy banter, the ship accelerated toward the Huyan clan's territory. At the same time, after ending the call, Huyan Kong headed toward the volcanic depths of Huyan Fortress. After several minutes of elevator descent, he reached an area near the bubbling magma. Amid the scorching heat, the air shimmered violently. Yet the group appeared unaffected, even finding the environment quite pleasant. Huyan Kong instructed the Huyan elders to wait, then strode boldly through the corridor, entering a lotus-shaped structure ahead. Inside the building, in the center stood a lotus platform, its material unknown. Shimmering with a mysterious glow, flames danced gracefully around the lotus platform. Seated atop it was a woman in red, her age indiscernible. Moments later, Huyan Kong pushed the door open, respectfully stepped forward. Huyan Kong greets 9th sister. At these words, the woman slowly opened her deep, enigmatic eyes. Oh, the family head's younger brother. You've aged quite a bit. The woman's name was Huyan Wei, her age unknown. She was at the 7th tier of the saint level, and the current wielder of the Star Soul General, Neza. At her remark, Huyan Kong let out an awkward smile. Sister, I'm only a mortal tier cultivator. With a 100-year lifespan, aging is inevitable. Has your closed-door cultivation brought you any closer to breaking through to the 8th tier? At this, Huyan Wei sighed deeply. All these years, I've only managed to maintain my current level, drawing strength from my physical form to prevent regression, advancing further before my body withers. Seems unlikely. Hearing this, Huyan Kong consoled her. My grandson, Huyan Xian, has retrieved the legendary Divine Realm fragment. Perhaps it holds a sliver of hope. Let's hope so, Huyan Wei murmured. But it's wise to prepare for selecting the next bearer to inherit Neza's legacy. Her words startled Huyan Kong. 9th sister, the Huyan clan still needs you. Huyan Wei shook her head. Even if my body withers, using the power of the Lingzhu Jade, I can manifest a form to stay in this world for a while longer, to protect the next Neza's bearer until they reach Saint Tier. Hearing this, Huyan Kong was deep in thought. Could it be the one inside that coffin in the Lingzhu secret realm? Oh right, during his search for the divine fragment, Huyan Xian recovered this artifact for you. As he spoke, he projected an image of the dragon subduing Spike. Huyan Wei's eyes lit up instantly. She stood up in disbelief, moving closer to take a better look. This is the dragon subduing Spike. Where did he find it? Hu Yinkong was surprised by her reaction and quickly answered. In Sand Sculpture City, the Jiaran tribe opened the Legacy Secret Realm, awakening the Star Soul General, A.O. Bing. What? A.O. Bing found his next bearer? That mighty soul finally has a successor? Hu Yanwei's thoughts drifted back to the moment she used the dragon-subduing spike to trap Lan A.O. Brother Lan A.O., I'm sorry. Trapped. Lan A.O. smiled weakly but freely. It's fine, I don't blame you. It's all karma. I once caused your brother's death. Now my life pays the price. Xiao Wei, I only ask you one thing. Please protect. Hu Yanwei's face clouded with sorrow, but she quickly composed herself and soared into the air. Is A.O. Bing's new bearer still in Sand Sculpture City? Hu Yinkong nodded. Yes. Upon hearing this, Hu Yanwei raised her arm, and the entire lotus-shaped structure began to tremble, surrounding the building. Mysterious runes glowed brilliantly. Moments later, the lotus peak opened, revealing an exit. Hu Yinkong, puzzled, asked, Ninth Sister, what are you doing? Hu Yanwei calmly spoke a few words. Star Soul Construct. At her command, a fiery red lightning bolt streaked across the air, and within moments, the radiant Star Soul General, Neza, made a dazzling entrance. Hu Yinkong shouted in concern. Why go this far? Activating Neza will only speed up your life force consumption. But Hu Yanwei guided Neza slowly out of the volcanic crater. It doesn't matter, I must go this time. As she spoke, the windfire wheels beneath Neza's feet began to spin rapidly. Fiery, glowing wheels appeared beneath her feet, shining with blazing flames. Must see A.O. Bing's new bearer for myself. With that, she soared across the sky, like a rainbow streaking through the heavens, heading straight for Sand Sculpture City. Meanwhile, somewhere in the desert, Huang Miaoying and the others stopped. After deconstructing the mech, he focused on studying the Divine Realm Shard in his hand. Meanwhile, Lan Kuan knelt respectfully before Song Yunxiang. Thank you for your help earlier, Master. Song Yunxiang chuckled and approached warmly. All right. No need to be so formal. Just call me Old Song. Lan Kuan hesitated, confused. All right. Master. I mean, Senior Song. As Song Yunxiang grasped his arm. This time, finally, nothing went wrong. A long silent system prompt echoed in his mind. From the dormant new master system. Ding. System has detected a Star Soul General data holder. Initiating data retrieval. Retrieval complete. Beginning duplication of Star Soul General A.O. Bing. Lan Kuan remained oblivious and bowed deeply in gratitude. Thank you again, Senior Song, for your help. If you ever need anything, I, Lan Kuan, will serve you without question. Ding. Star Soul General A.O. Bing duplication complete. Song Yunxiang's face broke. He much appreciated. Off in the distance, Huang Miaoying, still examining the Divine Realm Shard, noticed this interaction. Seeing Song Yunxiang's content expression sent ripples through his heart. That look. Could it be? Is father's consciousness resurfacing? Song Yunxiang, sensing his gaze, turned to look at him as well. A.O. Bing is secured, and Wen Zhong is right ahead. But missing this chance is out of the question. Still, this recording glove is troublesome. I need to find a way to directly contact skin in a large area. Another moment to test the acting skills I've honed over 60 years. Sorry, Elder Sikong. Let me borrow your account once more. I swear, it's not to take advantage of you. It's all for the sake of saving the Eastern Continent. Yes, for the Eastern Continent's salvation. After only a moment's hesitation, Song Yunxiang turned back to look at Huang Miaoying. Imitating Si Kong Jing's energy, he began a telepathic conversation. Miao heard her father's familiar voice and was overjoyed, responding with telepathic power. Father, is that you? Song Yunxiang nodded, bracing himself. Yes, child, it's me. Huang Miaoying, hearing the confirmation, burst into tears of joy. That's wonderful, father. I thought your soul fragment had dissipated. Father, you can appear outside the secret realm now? Yes, though it's very taxing. Every appearance outside the realm greatly depletes me. If my soul fragment is overly drained, it could truly vanish into nothingness. Frightened by the dire consequence, Huang Miaoying lunged forward, panicking. No, father, don't. Nearby, Lan Kuan was stunned. Because the two were conversing secretly, he remained completely confused. Huang Miaoying sobbed, tears streaming down. Father, please, don't disappear. Song Yunxiang's face softened with compassion. He sighed deeply and helplessly. I have no choice. To defy the heavens so requires unimaginable effort. But if we could find rare soul-nourishing herbs, I'll search for them. Father, what herbs do you need? I'll mobilize all the royal resources to gather them. If that's not enough, I'll ask Her Majesty the Empress. She surely has a vast collection. That's too much trouble. I wouldn't want to bother you, Song Yunxiang said, lovingly wiping away her tears. At the moment of contact, the system's voice rang out again. Ding. Detected holder of Star Soul General data. Reading in progress. Reading complete. Star Soul General Wen Zhong. Copying initiated. Unaware, Huang Miaoying gripped his hand and replied. No trouble at all. For father, even if I have to drain the royal treasury, it's worth it. Ding. Star Soul General Wen Zhong copied successfully. Hearing the prompt, Song Yunxiang suppressed his excitement, nodding calmly. Thank you, Miao. Lan Kuan, still clueless, was overwhelmed with admiration. Like an endless river, No wonder even our clan's guardian calls him master. He can even win over such a strong beauty. This once cold and proud warrior now acts so gentle in his arms. Truly a role model for us all. Alright, this has drained too much energy. I need to return the body to Song Yunxiang. I've already sent the list of required spirit herbs to Song Yunxiang. He'll pass it on to you later. After saying this, he added some special effects and shifted his aura back. Huang Miaoying called out softly, reluctant to let go. Father. Lan Kuan was utterly shocked. Father? Damn, this is wild. As expected of our clan's honored lord. Moments later, Song Yunxiang returned to his true form. He let out a deep breath. Both Star Soul General Ao Bing and Star Soul General Wenzhong are now mine. Took me long enough, but it was worth it. After adjusting himself, he clasped his hands in respect. Senior Huang, I told you. Call me Miao. She interrupted, wiping her tears. All right, Miao. Song Yunxiang smiled. Lan Kuan, seeing this scene, let his imagination run wild. Damn, Senior becomes the pretty boy of the immortals. No wonder, our lord must be tied to Ao Bing's current clan. What kind of connection is that? No, I must show even more respect to the lord. Song Yunxiang immediately added Huang Miaoying's contact information. You should head back to Shishuebo first. I need to return to Shidaio City to fetch something. I'll send you the list of spirit herbs that Senior Sikong needs later. Huang Miaoying nodded. Right. Here's the Red Star Soul General returning it to you. Song Yunxiang took it and tucked it away. All right, let me give you something else. He pulled out a storage talisman and handed it over, explaining, it's filled with daily use DJ pills, nothing fancy. That thing looks bulky though. Let me shrink it for you. After speaking, Song Yunxiang pulled out several talismans and flicked them into the air. With a wave of his arm, the sky above the divine grade relic lit up with a mysterious formation. The formation glowed with flickering purple light, enveloping the relic and shrinking it smaller and smaller, until it finally turned into a purple storage talisman. Song Yunxiang handed the talisman to Huang Miaoyi. The unlock code is 688888888. Pardon my skills. I just adapted. Senior Sikong's sealing array, nothing special. Huang Miaoying was stunned. This guy. He actually managed to replicate father's sealing array so perfectly. His talent for formations is terrifying. Thanks, but be careful. Remember that body isn't. Song Yunxiang chuckled. Don't worry, I know what I'm doing. This new info left Lan Kuan dumbfounded again. Wait, the Lord's body isn't his. It's hers, right? Wow. I can't believe she just said that so casually. After bidding farewell, Huang Miaoying left the area on a jade disc. Watching her leave, Song Yunxiang felt a pang of guilt. Sorry, Huang Qianmei. If I get the chance, I'll make it up to you. Then he turned to Lan Kuan. All right, here, this is the Jia. Lan Kuan excitedly caught the glowing jade. I need to head back to Shidaio City to grab something. What are your plans? Upon hearing this, Lan Kuan immediately responded. Please allow me to accompany you, Lord. With the power of the new Star Soul General, Ao Bing, I should be able to assist you. Song Yunxiang waved him off. It's just a stealth mission. Better if there's no fighting. Lan Kuan nodded. Then let's wait until nightfall to sneak in. No need. I have some tricks up my sleeve. It's actually better to sneak in during broad daylight, more unexpected. By the way, Lord, I have a subordinate named Longley. He was probably captured by the merchants. You happen to come across him. Could you try to rescue him? Song Yunxiang nodded. No problem. Just as they were about to leave, Lan Kuan pointed at Lan Zhou. What about him? That reminded Song Yunxiang. Oh, right. I'll add a concealment seal and bury him underground for now. With a wave of his arm, Lan Zhou uncontrollably sank into the ground as the surrounding sand closed in, covering him. With that done, the two headed off toward Shidaio City. Meanwhile, in the third basement level of the merchant dungeon, inside the Beastfolk detention block, the guard captain received a security alert and quickly made arrangements. The general's orders. The intruders might attack tonight. Everyone take turns eating and resting now. Be on full alert after dark. One subordinate pointed at the cells behind them. What about the Beastfolk slaves? Should we transfer them? It could get messy. If any get harmed, the higher-ups will blame us. The captain shook his head. Forget them. Follow General My Jin. Inside the dimly lit, a centaur-like Beastfolk woman was tightly bound by iron chains. In the cell next to her, lying there, was the young Beastfolk who got caught in Ao Bing's reverse realm. He was still fast asleep, snoring away. After successfully copying the two historical Star Soul generals, Song Yunxiang took Lan Kuan and snuck back into Shidaio City. Thanks to the stealth enchantments, the two easily evaded the tight layers of guards. This stealth technique was truly extraordinary. It not only blocked light, but also muffled their footsteps completely. For infiltration and assassinations, it was like walking through an empty field. Taking down enemies would be as easy as picking fruit. Compared to this, Lan Kuan marveled. The Jiaoren clan's cloaking cape is trash. Song Yunxiang chuckled at his excitement. Don't get carried away. This isn't some cheat code. Forget assassinations. If you accidentally leak some soul energy, any strong soul cultivator nearby will sense it. Hearing that, Lan Kuan calmed down. Right? I got carried away. The two quickly resumed course, rushing toward the western district. The guards there were far more relaxed than those outside the city. They clearly didn't expect anyone to sneak in broad daylight. The two were about to bypass the guards when they overheard some chatter nearby. According to General My Jin's plan, it led two squads to ambush between the west and outer districts along the third segment of the northern wall. General My Jin is certain those thieves chasing the divine boundary stone will strike again tonight. This northern wall might be where we trap them. Got it. Crystal clear. Lan Kuan leaned in and whispered to Song Yunxiang. My Jin has the eldest of the My families for prodigies, and the son of the family patriarch, My Biao, though he's not the direct heir. He gained his position due to his military skill, with outstanding talent and cultivation skills. He earned My Biao's deep trust, and was entrusted with important responsibilities. Because of this, his relationship with My Biao's other three children was strained. Lan Kuan scratched his chin in confusion. But it's strange. My Jin isn't someone who acts without reason. Why would he assume we'd night raid for the divine boundary stone, and even set up an ambush? Something doesn't add up. Song Yunxiang gestured. Let's keep moving. We'll adapt as needed. Let's head to the My residence first. The two continued, stealthily infiltrating the western district. Not long after, in the My residence's side courtyard, a chubby man was soaking comfortably in a pool, holding two women in his arms. Behind him stood a calmer-looking young man. The chubby man was Mai Tai, the fourth of the My family's four prodigies. Mai Tai took a glass of wine from a maid, and gestured for her to pour one for his third brother. The young man leaning against a pillar was Mai Tong, the third of the My family's four prodigies. He waved his hand, declining the offer. Big brother My Jin claims that the thieves will return tonight to steal the divine boundary stone, so he set up traps all over the western district. Hearing this, Mai Tai sneered. That bastard. He's nothing but a bastard son who got lucky. He probably just wants to hog the Jiao Ren clan's treasures. He thinks we don't see through him. Mai Tong sighed. Still, don't say that. After all, big brother is father's chosen heir. He's the head of the My family's four prodigies. Mai Tai scoffed. My family's top prodigy, my ass. I'll never recognize that. Only you and I, true blood brothers, deserve to inherit the family. The other two? They're just illegitimate bastards. Give me time, and I'll take them out. When that happens, the inheritance will be split between us, 50-50. Mai Tong shook his head and walked away. All right, enough complaints. Father said us four brothers must work together. Don't let yourself be distracted by wine and women. Get ready. We might have to act tonight. I'll check on the hangar. You stay prepared. Mai Tai grinned as he replied, sure thing. Take care, third brother. Don't worry, I'll be ready to act tonight. When the time comes, we brothers will join forces and take care of those bastards. As Mai Tong's figure disappeared from view, Mai Tai quickly pulled two maids into his arms. Time's short today. I wanted to play around in the dungeon, but never mind. You two will serve me instead. With that, he led them into his bedroom. At that moment, Song Yunxiang and Lan Kuan were already hidden in the rafters. As soon as Mai Tai entered, they began their move. The two maids were quickly knocked unconscious, and Lan Kuan followed with a swift kick that struck the unsuspecting Mai Tai. Song Yunxiang promptly set up a soundproof barrier. Lying on the ground, Mai Tai let out, looking at the two intruders in panic. Who are you? Help! Assassins! Before he could finish, Lan Kuan smacked him hard across the face. Shut up! Mai Tai held his reddened cheek, furiously shouting, how dare you? Do you know who I am? I'm Mai Tai, the fourth prodigy of the My family. You're all dead meat. Do you know who my brother is? Hearing this threat, Lan Kuan stepped up and slapped him again. Song Yunxiang joined in. Mai Tai, who's your brother? My pot. Mai Tai was stunned. His chubby body quivered in fear and anger. His body trembled uncontrollably. Don't do anything rash. My third brother, Mai Tong, is right outside. He's a super strong cultivator, half a step into the earth realm. Mai Tai, Mai Tong, My Jin. Song Yunxiang chuckled. Now I'm curious. What's your second brother's name? As he spoke, Song Yunxiang pulled out a talisman. Second brother? My second sister, Mai Shi, is half a step into. Before he could finish, Mai Tai's face twisted in terror. The talisman pierced his skin and embedded itself directly into his heart. A searing pain erupted from within. Clutching his chest, Mai Tai trembled violently. What did you do to me? Song Yunxiang smiled faintly. The talisman reappeared in his hand, and inside it was a fresh, beating heart. I've sealed your heart with this spell. One squeeze, and you'll drop dead on the spot. Mai Tai was petrified. Terrified of death, he dropped to his knees. Master, senior, whatever you need, just say the word. I'll serve you loyally. My life isn't worth dirtying your hands over. Song Yunxiang nodded in satisfaction. Good. Now, enough nonsense. Take me to the treasury. Mai Tai dared not hesitate. He quickly got dressed and led them toward the vault. Soon, they arrived at the entrance of the My family treasury. I'm here on orders from my brother, Mai Jin. Mai Tai declared. I need to collect supplies for tonight's operation. The guards nodded and let him through. They descended a winding staircase, eventually reaching a heavy iron door. Senior hero. You're still here, right? Cut the crap and open the door. After another slap, Mai Tai complied without complaint. As the heavy iron door swung open, the sight inside the vault left them all stunned. They saw piles of gold, silver, and jewels scattered across every corner, as if they were standing in a golden ocean. The shelves couldn't hold them all, and some were simply dumped on the ground. Song Yunxiang scanned the room, but didn't find what he was looking for. Where are the spirit herbs? He asked. Mai Tai quickly replied. The spirit herbs are in the third basement vault, but I can't get in there. Lan Kuan grabbed his collar. What do you mean? Are you playing games with us? Terrified, Mai Tai pointed frantically at the nearby iron door. Hero, please go easy on me. I only have access to the first level vault. Only my gene and the family head can open the second and third levels. Oh, is that so? Song Yunxiang smiled faintly and snapped his fingers. Mai Tai gave him a pitiful look before collapsing to the ground, unconscious, with a wave of his hand. Song Yunxiang summoned the master system. Collect all of this into the system's storage. In the blink of an eye, all the gold and jewels vanished from the vault. Lan Kuan was dumbfounded. Whoa, he cleared it out with just a wave. The master's methods are terrifying. After looting the first level vault, Song Yunxiang used the master system to bypass the security and access the second level. When they entered, they discovered not only a vast collection of yellow grade and black grade, ferocious beast core crystals, but also rare metals, used for forging ordinary soul generals. It seemed to be the result of decades of hoarding by the Mai family. But for Song Yunxiang, this was all low-tier junk, completely beneath his notice. Just then, a large chest in the distance caught their attention. Song Yunxiang examined the chest and became somewhat interested. The material of the chest was extraordinary. It could block soul energy fluctuations. Lan Kuan, curious, stepped forward and opened it. Inside lay a rift crystal, quietly resting in the chest. He couldn't help but exclaim, "This is a priceless treasure." "We're rich, master." But Song Yunxiang looked disappointed. All that effort for a mediocre thing like this. It's tiny and of average quality. Lan Kuan was stunned. A treasure like this, and the master looks down on it. How wealthy is he? Lan Kuan, still in shock, quickly rummaged through the chest, but found nothing more. Master, it's just shock-absorbing filler underneath. Song Yunxiang sighed in disappointment. These fools have no eye for treasures. This chest itself is worth hundreds of times more than the crystal. Do you want the rift crystal? I'll give it to you. Lan Kuan quickly waved his hands. No, it's too valuable. I wouldn't dare accept it. A treasure like this belongs in your hands, master. Song Yunxiang smiled slightly and tossed the crystal to him. Don't worry. I'll keep the chest. You can have the crystal. Lan Kuan was stunned. Song Yunxiang didn't even care to pick it up himself. It's not even as good as the one senior sister Shangwan extracted. I wonder how that crazy girl is doing now back in Tindu City. I should contact her later. Maybe I can gain something from the Shangwan family. With that thought, Song Yunxiang refocused. He summoned the master system again and stored half of the vault's resources into his storage space. Lan Kuan, puzzled, asked, Master, you're leaving the other half? Song Yunxiang shook his head. Let them keep some resources for self-defense. Although Xiaoyu may soon become a foe of Tiandu, as another intelligent civilization, I still hope they won't face the beast attacks unarmed. Hearing this, Lan Kuan froze. Another intelligent civilization? Does the master treat both the demon and human races equally? Master's perspective is truly vast. It makes me feel ashamed of myself. Enough. Let's move on to the final floor, said Song Yunxiang, urging them onward. After urging him, he used the master system to unlock access to the next level. Lan Kuan responded with a sound of affirmation and trailed behind. Meanwhile, in the Sandstone City's West District General's residence, Mai Jin was questioning his subordinates. How are the ambushes and encirclement preparations going? A subordinate replied, nearly done. You can rest assured, General. It'll be ready before nightfall. But General, I don't quite understand. Why aren't you placing troops around the vault where the divine tier artifact is kept, or the dungeon holding the captives? A confident smile spread across Mai Jin's face, and he explained, based on this general's analysis, this group is likely made up of two factions, the demons and the Mirren, so the Mai family's vault and the dungeon are just bait. Think about it. If either side shows up and sees that area heavily guarded, would they take the bait? But if they don't take the bait, wouldn't we be at a loss? At this, Mai Jin's expression turned assured. That captive demon isn't worth much, and the divine tier artifact shards are that massive. I could just let them carry them out freely, without a soul gear in play. How many pieces do you think they could even take? Hee, as long as our 3-layer ambush closes in, they'll be completely trapped before nightfall. Send a few elites from the 7th Guard and swap them with the guards at Tilligen. Have them ready to sound the alarm at any moment. The moment those people show up, close the net immediately. The subordinate saluted. General, you're wise. I'll arrange it right away. After the subordinate left, Mai Jin sneered, clenching his fist. Heh, Ping Tian Sacred Sect, huh? Not only did you target the divine tier artifact in my Sandstone City, but you even dared to covet the legacy of the Jiaren clan. This time, I'll catch you all in one net. Meanwhile, Song Yunxiang and Lan Kuan arrived at the 3rd floor of the vault. This level was massive, larger than the previous two combined. Half of the space was filled with rows of divine tier artifact shards. Lan Kuan stood dumbfounded. They actually cut the divine tier artifact and moved the shards here? But how did they even transport such large pieces? Song Yunxiang noticed, pointed toward a distant platform, probably a cargo lift, big enough for a star soul general. Then, he summoned the master system and stored all the shards into his system space. After finishing, Song Yunxiang headed toward a shelf, stacked with rare elixirs. He searched through the inventory and stopped at a machine labeled 4 yin-yang balancing elixirs. Opening it, he found 6 neatly arranged silverless flowers. Song Yunxiang's eyes sparkled, and he waved his hand, summoning the master system again. Within moments, everything on the 3rd floor had been cleared out. Master, you're not leaving half behind this time? Song Yunxiang nodded. Those previous materials were for mass-producing soul gears. Leaving some was out of humanity. But these elixirs and divine tier shards are the foundation for creating top-tier warriors, knowing they'll become enemies. There's no way I'll leave these behind. Leaving them resources for growth would be foolish. Oh, I see. Master, your decisiveness is admirable. I'm truly impressed. Lan Kuan's words were like a wake-up call. All right. I'll set up an illusion formation, and we'll prepare to leave. With that, Song Yunxiang got to work. Moments later, the cleared area was restored to its original appearance. This was an illusionary projection. Without physical contact, it would be nearly impossible to detect. Pick him up, and let's go. Drop him at the entrance of the 1st floor. Lan Kuan acknowledged the command, quickly following Song Yunxiang. Shortly thereafter, on the 3rd underground level of the My Clan's dungeon, 2 guards stationed there were knocked unconscious by a sudden attack. Song Yunxiang and Lan Kuan swiftly entered. Master, this big... Can you store it for me? No worries. I'll make you a storage charm later. But master, I heard that skycleave crystals have spatial properties, making them impossible to store in charms. They chatted while walking into the cell block. As they passed a sleeping child, Song Yunxiang suddenly noticed something unusual. Wait, this energy, this persona, this beast seems extraordinary. The unusual flow of soul energy, that faint pressure. Could it be that realm? In my previous life, because of my fractured soul veins, my cultivation stalled at the 12th saint stage, couldn't advance further. So I was forced to rely on horizontal integration, but that closed yet far realm, the God stage. Yes, it's here. As Song Yunxiang was lost in thought, the sound of heavy banging suddenly echoed. Then, Lan Kuan's angry voice rang out in his ears. These damn bastards. Lan Ling, hold on. I'll get you out right now. Song Yunxiang quickly turned his head to look. He saw Lan Kuan had already crawled into the passage, entering the prison cell, and was rescuing someone who had been tortured, their body covered in wounds. These bastards. Don't worry, Lan Ling. I won't let them off. Song Yunxiang then took out a bottle of elixirs from his robe and handed one over for him to take first, to help him recover quickly. Lan Kuan was stunned when he saw the elixir. He recognized it. It was the 3-star rejuvenation pill, and the quality was even higher than the premium rejuvenation pills used by his royal father. It was top grade. Your Excellency, it's just superficial wounds. Our Jiaran clan has strong self-healing abilities. Such a precious elixir shouldn't be wasted. But Song Yunxiang waved his hand, signaling it was fine. Quickly give it to him. We can't delay our next move. Lan Kuan heard this, and couldn't help but twitch his mouth, feeling heartbroken as he fed the pill. Lan Ling, this is your fortune. A mere low-level demon like you actually gets to consume an elixir even higher grade than my father's royal pills. After swallowing the pill, Lan Ling quickly felt its effects. Warm currents surged, invading his internal organs. The wounds on his body began healing rapidly. Lan Ling's eyes shot open, feeling a strange, warm sensation flowing through his body, as if he were floating in the ocean. Sadly, in my short demon life, I never learned much culture. Right now, I can only describe this feeling using a human phrase. Holy sh*t, this is awesome. Fully recovered, Lan Ling sprang up from the ground, stood before Lan Kuan, and respectfully bowed. Your subordinate Lan Li greets your highness. Seeing him so full of energy, Lan Kuan couldn't quite believe it. Already recovered. This pill is incredibly potent. Your Excellency is amazing. Indeed, the power of the immortal is unfathomable. Lan Li pointed at Song Yunxiang. Curious, your highness. Who is this human? Seeing how rude he was, Lan Kuan quickly pulled him aside to explain. Are you crazy? You fool. This is the Exalted One. He is the master of the secret realm's guardian lord. With just a single elixir, he brought you back from the brink of death to full recovery. Such divine methods are truly beyond comprehension. Hearing this, Lan Li quickly bowed respectfully to Song Yunxiang. Song Yunxiang then walked out of the cell. All right, our task is done. Let's get ready to leave. Hearing this, Lan Kuan and the others quickly followed behind. In the cells on either side were many imprisoned Yao tribe slaves. Seeing this, Yang Kuan's heart softened, and he appealed to Song Yunxiang. Your Excellency, may I make a request? Can we rescue these fellow Yao tribesmen? Song Yunxiang sighed deeply. I knew it. When someone says, a small request, it always ends up being moral blackmail. Think it through. If we bring these people along, we won't be able to use the concealment talisman and leave quietly. If they stay in the cells, at least they won't end up dead in the streets. But if they come with us, and a battle breaks out, who knows what will happen? Lan Kuan hesitated for a moment, then clasped his hands and replied, without freedom, it's better to die. Our Yao tribe swears never to be enslaved. Besides, I believe that with your Excellency's boundless immortal abilities, you can surely ensure these old, weak, and sick will remain safe. Seeing that he had made up his mind, Song Yunxiang couldn't refuse. All right, but we need to come up with a backup plan in case we're discovered. For your sake, Prince Lan Kuan, you don't mind acting as bait, do you? Rest assured, your Excellency, At your command, I will obey without hesitation. Song Yunxiang nodded. Then let's begin the operation. Alright, I'll go and free them now. Wait, your method is too loud. Forcing the doors will make too much noise. Let me handle it. I didn't expect the Exalted One to be so skilled in lockpicking too. Your immortal abilities are truly boundless. Not long after, it was time for the guard shift. The elite guard sent by General Mai Jin arrived at the treasure vault. By General Mai Jin's order, I'm here to temporarily take. Has there been anything unusual today? Hearing this, the guards quickly replied. Nothing unusual. General Mai Tai personally came by earlier, but he didn't take anything and left. The captain then led his men down to the underground level, carefully inspecting the area. He opened the heavy iron door, and the scene inside came into view. But Song Yunxiang had cleverly set up an illusion formation, making everything appear normal. The captain noticed nothing unusual, and led his men back upstairs. But what they didn't realize was that the unconscious Mai Tai was quietly lying in a hidden corner inside. After assigning guards to watch over the area, the captain then led his soldiers toward the dungeon. But upon arrival, he immediately sensed something was wrong. Where are the dungeon guards? Could something have happened here? The group quickly searched the dungeon cautiously, but strangely, the slaves and prisoners were still in their cells, and nothing seemed out of place. But where have all the guards gone? The captain frowned deeply, unable to make sense of it. One of his men speculated, could something have happened in the dungeon? They probably got the notice that we were taking over, so they left early. The captain waved his hand and replied, that's unlikely. Those slackers. After this is over, I'll definitely report their negligence to the general. Meanwhile, in the western district of Sand Sculpture City, Lan Kuan and his group, along with the Yao tribe slaves, were hiding in a secluded alley. Lan Li curiously asked, Your Highness, haven't we been here before? Isn't this the VIP passage leading to the slave market in the central district? Lan Kuan nodded. That's right. We'll make our move when the guards switch shifts. But isn't this taking us farther away? Why don't we just leave directly through the west gate? Lan Kuan then explained. First of all, with this group of elderly, sick, and injured, it's impossible to scale the walls. And based on the intel we got from that fat guy, Mai Jin is mobilizing troops to set an ambush, trying to lure us toward the north gate for an all-out attack outside the city. So, the Exalted One's plan is to head east from the western district toward the central district, avoiding Mai Jin's troop deployments, and exit through the east gate near the slave market. If the guards are alerted, the slave market is full of mixed races, so they can hide there without getting caught in a fight. After all, in Sand Skull, Yao tribe slaves are considered valuable property, even if things go south. We can always take nobles from the central district as hostages to help us escape. Lan Li was still a bit confused, but he didn't forget to flatter him. So that's how it is. The Exalted One is truly brilliant. Song Yunxiang, walking at the rear with the Yu tribe slaves, had his gaze fixed on a small sleeping girl. Earlier, I just grabbed her, along with the others. But she's still asleep. Song Yunxiang sighed, speechless, and curiously reached out to probe the little girl's identity. In his previous life, he had noticed that the system wouldn't respond to people who were asleep or unconscious. But this guy was from the Yao tribe. It was hard to say whether he was an ordinary mortal. Still, that faint aura of dread made his true identity suspect. Just as he reached out his hand, a young centaur boy saw him. What are you doing? A centaur girl realized what was happening and quickly slapped his hand away. Get your filthy human hands off. But her hasty movement reopened a wound, causing her to wince in pain, breaking into a cold sweat. A young centaur boy beside her immediately asked in concern, Sister Timao, are you alright? Timao shook her head, pressing her bleeding wound and trying not to let them see. Seeing this, Song Yunxiang took out an elixir. Take this. Get lost, human. I don't want your... Before Timao could finish, she was shocked by what happened next. Several young centaur children were drawn over by the elixir's fragrance. They were captivated. Timao gasped in surprise. What is this? Could it be an elixir? Song Yunxiang quickly signaled her to keep quiet. Timao realized her mistake and apologized. Sorry, that was rude. May I ask, is this really an elixir? A few children eagerly moved closer, hoping to take a lick. Song Yunxiang quickly explained. This is a 3-star rejuvenation pill, a low-level healing elixir. Hurry up and take it. Hearing it was a 3-star elixir, Timao was stunned. Such a precious treasure. Sorry, I can't accept this, he said, but before he could finish, Song Yunxiang grabbed him and forced the elixir into his mouth. I'm really getting tired of this nonsense. Just swallow it already. Once the pill was swallowed, it quickly took effect. A faint spiritual energy began to emerge on Timao's skin, followed by a strange, warm force that flowed into her meridians. What is this incredible feeling? It's like finding an oasis in the middle of an endless desert. Not only is my body healing, but even my soul feels cleansed. Oh, great deity of the Yao tribe, allow me to offer my praise. Praise this miraculous elixir, and praise this strange human. In just a moment, all of Timao's wounds had vanished, and her skin had become smoother than before. A human elixir can really be this powerful? Does that mean the tribe leader might still be saved? After the initial shock, Timao respectfully bowed. I am Timao, daughter of Yanhua, warrior of the Gale tribe, from the Great Rift Valley Tribe Alliance. Thank you, sir, for your kindness in giving me this elixir. Timao, in the name of a warrior of the Gale tribe, swears, I will hunt down 3 enemies to earn your forgiveness. Hearing this, Song Yunxiang quickly waved his hand. No need. Can't you just make it up with actions instead of words? These Yo tribe customs are surprisingly simple. Alright. I just don't want the injured to slow us down. Take care of the sleeping one on your back. Consider that repayment for the rejuvenation pill. Timao quickly nodded. I won't let you down. By the way, do you know this person's identity? Timao instinctively felt a sense of bloodline suppression, as if this person had a very noble background. Just as she spoke, Lan Kuan's voice suddenly echoed. Your Excellency, we can move now. Song Yunxiang immediately signaled everyone to stay alert. Alright, time to go. Stick together, don't fall behind. In Sand Sculpture City, each district was connected by tunnels. Soldiers regularly patrolled these tunnels. Fortunately, there were only 2 guards on duty, and Lan Kuan dealt with them easily. The group followed the tunnel into the central district. Song Yunxiang then laid out the next steps. According to the plan, we'll go through the central district, pass through the slave market, and exit via the east gate. We have 2 options now. 1, we split into 3 teams, blend into the crowd, and try to slip out through the east gate. Or 2, we use a more aggressive approach. The first option is a gamble. If we're lucky, we can get out unnoticed, but if not, we could be ambushed. And these Yao tribe women and children might not make it. So, I personally prefer the second option, an aggressive diversion. That way, we can control the pace of the battle as much as possible. Lonley scratched his head in confusion. But, isn't this something only villains do? Don't protagonists usually just charge and head first? These words left Lan Kuan speechless. You know nothing. But, I've seen stories sold by humans, and they're always like this. Shut up, will you? Lan Kuan couldn't help but give him a good scolding. Respected one, Kuan will follow your orders without question. Song Yunxiang nodded after hearing this. He pulled out a map. The decoy plan does require you to act as bait first. You'll leave the group and head toward the border between the central and inner districts. When the group nears the east gate, I'll use the Star Soul construct to create a distraction and draw the enemy's attention. Lan Li will lead the Yu tribe to escape amid the chaos. Lan Li, after exiting the east gate, head toward this location. Got it. Lan Li quickly nodded. No problem. But Exalted One, what about you? Song Yunxiang smiled slightly and pointed to the slave market. I'll stay behind and cover the rear. If too many enemies gather at Lan Kuan's side, we'll initiate backup plan number 3. I'll intercept them here and kite the enemies away. Kite them? What does that mean? Lan Li was confused. Lan Kuan clenched his fist in frustration, gesturing for him to stop asking. Just follow the Exalted One's instructions. With the plan finalized, the group moved into action. Song Yunxiang led the Yao tribe slaves toward the east gate, while Lan Kuan split off toward the district border. When they reached the slave market area, the group paused. Song Yunxiang pulled out local clothing and handed it to everyone. Use these clothes to hide your Yao tribe features. I'll gradually lift the concealment spell soon. Stay calm when that happens. Blend into the crowd and head toward the east gate. Everyone quickly began putting on disguises. However, the Centaur tribe's features were too obvious, making it difficult to conceal them. Forget it. You guys just stick with me. The main road leading to the east gate was bustling with people. It was quite lively. Most of the crowd were merchants from other regions purchasing supplies. After lifting the concealment, everyone gradually blended into the crowd. We're the last. Hurry up, kids. These people can't. So you have to actively avoid them. If there's any collision, they might notice us. After giving these instructions, Song Yunxiang followed the crowd toward the east gate. The east gate had more guards, and everyone leaving was subject to inspection. Lan Li stopped at a distance from the gate, waiting in place. He signaled to Song Yunxiang that he was ready. Seeing this, Song Yunxiang used his communication device to contact Lan Kuan. We're all set here. Let's go. Time for your Star Soul General, Ao Bing's debut. Receiving the message, Lan Kuan smiled slightly. Then, with a leap, he soared into the air. The Star Soul construct followed him, and with a loud shout, blue lightning instantly crashed down from the sky. Lan Kuan, standing in the thunder, slowly spread his arms. A brand new form of the Star Soul General, Ao Bing, materialized before him. Ao Bing opened his eyes with excitement. A surge of explosive power coursed through his entire body. Lan Kuan knew there was no time to waste. Suppressing his excitement, he began to control Ao Bing. Alright, Star Soul General Ao Bing, let's cause some chaos here. Come forth, Sand Dragon. As he finished speaking, a massive mechanical dragon roared as it burst out. Energy gathered in its maw, and it began bombarding the buildings below. The booming explosions and tremors caught everyone's attention. The soldiers of Sand Sculpture City immediately panicked. Damn it, we're under attack from the inner district. Summon the Sand Dragon. After a round of fierce bombardment, the city's soldiers regained composure and quickly launched a counterattack. With the construct complete, they locked onto Lan Kuan hovering in the air. Lan Kuan showed no fear at the sight. The first wave is just a bunch of small fries. Listen to my command. Target him and fire. With the captain's order, dozens of ranged attacks shot toward Lan Kuan. But Lan Kuan, controlling Ao Bing, easily evaded the onslaught with agile movements. Damn it, there are still civilians below. To avoid harming them, I can't use the Sand Dragon's area attacks. As the battle intensified and the fight grew fiercer, he let out a loud shout and swung his weapon. The next second, a massive slashing wave roared through the air. The violent explosion flung the soldiers to the ground. Lan Kuan took the chance to launch a surprise attack. This intruder's power surpasses the Xian rank. Notify the general's residence. Call for Earth rank experts and above for reinforcements. Meanwhile, at the East Gate, the captain quickly ordered the gates closed. Emergency situation. Close the East Gate. No one is allowed in or out. Anyone approaching will be executed on sight. But before he could finish, Lan Li struck him down with a swift attack. After clearing out all the guards, Song Yunxiang called out to the Yao tribe slaves. Everyone, now's our chance. Run. Move quickly. The crowd didn't dare delay, rushing toward Lan Li. Lan Li reopened the nearly closed city gate. Follow me. This way. Someone's forcing the gate. They must be with the intruder. Don't let them escape. Noticing the commotion, nearby soldiers rushed over to block the escape. Song Yunxiang pulled out a storage talisman. You guys go too. Timao nodded. Got it. Take care of yourself. With that, he picked up a young centaur child and dashed toward the city gate. Song Yunxiang gripped his long blade, blocking the pursuing soldiers in front of him. You alone dare to stop us. Surround him. Capture him alive. Following the captain's command, the soldiers quickly closed in, their spears thrusting toward Song Yunxiang's legs. Song Yunxiang pushed off the ground, leaping high into the air. He jumped. He has no leverage mid-air. Capture him. Hearing this, Song Yunxiang smirked. Idiots. He pulled out a storage talisman, manifesting a barrier underfoot, using it to propel himself again, flipping behind the soldiers. Like a wolf among sheep, he began a ruthless slaughter. In mere moments, most of the soldiers lay dead. The remaining captain paled in shock. This guy's skills are terrifying. You too, summon the Star Soul General. Hold him off. I'll call for reinforcements. The soldiers scrambled to summon constructs and launched their attack. Song Yunxiang raised a brow, glancing into the distance. It's not time to summon my Star Soul General yet. Need to wait for Lan Kuan to lure Sand Sculpture City's elites away. Meanwhile, on Lan Kuan's side, the first wave of enemy constructs had been completely wiped out. He opened his sensor panel to check. According to the plan, the Earth rank and higher elites should be arriving soon. They're here. Red dots on the panel raced toward him. Without hesitation, Lan Kuan bolted toward the Western District. Moments later, the elite guards arrived. Where's the intruder who attacked the Inner District? He ran that way. Toward the Western District. Why would he head there? Doesn't matter after him. The elite guard squad didn't think twice, and hurriedly chased in the direction Lan Kuan had fled. Meanwhile, not far away, Lan Kuan had already dismissed his construct, and was hiding in a small alley. Bunch of fools. Exalted One, my side is clear. Song Yunxiang received the message, and lured 2 soldiers toward the city. Soon, more soldiers gathered, surrounding him on the street. You fell into our trap, didn't you? With this many of us, even if you had 5 lives, you'd still die here. Hearing this, Song Yunxiang scoffed. Since you came to me, let's finish this. With that, he charged at the soldiers ahead, launching a fierce attack. But just as he was about to go all out, the sound of horse hooves echoed nearby. Looking up, he saw Timao, who had supposedly escaped, brandishing a spear, leaping down from a rooftop. Song Yunxiang was dumbfounded. What the hell? Why'd you come back and make things worse? Timao, panting heavily, grinned. I came back to save you. Hearing this, Song Yunxiang was speechless. Thanks, I guess. Before he could say more, Timao grabbed him and threw him onto her back. Hold on tight. I'm getting us out of here. Gonna speed up. Song Yunxiang almost lost his balance, panicking as he wrapped his arms around Timao's waist. Timao, feeling a man's touch for the first time, blushed furiously. Where are you grabbing? Song Yunxiang awkwardly replied. You told me to hold on tight. Then grab somewhere else. There's a little one between us, you know. Where else am I supposed to hold on to? But Timao had no time to argue. The surroundings. With a snort, she gathered strength and leapt high into the air. They soared past the outer soldiers, landing behind the enemy lines. Song Yunxiang now took over navigation, while Timao focused on sprinting away. But soon, they hit a dead end. Damn it. You led us the wrong way. Timao tried to turn around, but it was too late. Now let's see where you run. The soldiers lunged at them, but Song Yunxiang simply smiled, leaping into the air. I didn't lead you wrong, this is it. Star Soul construct. As he spoke, lightning erupted, splitting the air. A never-before-seen Star Soul General took form, glowing in a shimmering astral hue. Timao stood frozen, staring wide-eyed at the incredible sight before her. At this point, Song Yunxiang's face. This is not the same AO being I've used before. As the soldiers of Sand Sculpture City charged in, Song Yunxiang didn't have time to think and shouted, activating rejuvenation mode. No. Be careful. Thinking he was about to unleash a powerful move, the soldiers dodged quickly. But the next moment, silence fell. Nothing happened. Song Yunxiang was left awkwardly embarrassed. What the? AO Bing can't enter rejuvenation mode? It looks like he's bluffing. Let's get him. Now's our chance. Charge. Take him down. With that, the soldiers attacked him in unison. However, the power gap was too great. In no time, Song Yunxiang swiftly took out one soldier, then knocked down another with a single punch. After finishing them off, he intended to see if their weapons could be of use. But more soldiers from With no other choice, Song Yunxiang pulled out a long blade, preparing to face the crisis head-on. He leapt into the air and launched a counterattack, stabbing one soldier with a precise thrust. He then threw his long halberd, hitting a distant soldier who was attacking from range. Seeing this, the sand sculpture commander switched to human wave tactics. The summoned soldiers fearlessly charged ahead. Get his accomplice too. With that command, a group of soldiers turned toward Timao. Song Yunxiang found himself surrounded. Don't be afraid, he's unarmed. Attack. But before the soldier could finish, Song Yunxiang landed a heavy punch, knocking him out. He then weaved through the crowd. His advanced combat skills and lightning-fast speed, turning the battle into a one-sided massacre. Within moments, 5 soldiers lay on the ground, completely incapacitated. Meanwhile, Timao was also deep in battle. As the strongest female warrior of the Gale tribe, her combat experience far surpassed that of ordinary soldiers. Combined with the raw strength of her centaur form, the soldiers trying to surround her stood no chance and were slain on the spot. Song Yunxiang watched with fascination. She's got quite the temper. Her fighting style's brutal, but super effective. Too bad the Yao tribe has only star meridians, not soul meridians. They can't use star soul generals. Wait, I've got an idea. With the ceiling array. Maybe my earlier concept isn't impossible. I should give it a try later. If this works, this could get really interesting. But as he was lost in thought, a soldier crept up behind him, trying to launch a sneak attack. But the moment he got close, Song Yunxiang sensed him. He grabbed the soldier's arm, twisted it, and slammed a powerful palm strike onto his neck. The armored soldier collapsed instantly, his mech deactivating as he hit the ground. Idiot. The strength of a star soul general is leagues beyond these mass-produced machines, especially with 2 full rank gaps between us. Even barehanded, I'm unstoppable. You guys are like vegetables waiting to be chopped. Seeing this from afar, the squad captain's face twisted in shock. This guy's definitely at least Earth rank. Damn it. Forget about that Yao tribe fighter. Everyone, summon your constructs, attack together. The soldiers obeyed, quickly summoning their mechs, charging at Song Yunxiang in waves. Song Yunxiang glanced at the time. Almost there. Those Earth rank guards should be arriving soon. Let's end this with a bang using the sand dragon. Then I'll hand it over to Lan Kuan. With that thought, he snapped his fingers. Come forth. The sand dragon roared into existence. A massive dragon materialized, claws outstretched. Identical to the one Lan Kuan had summoned except for its color. The dragon breathed out scorching flames, blasting toward the soldiers. The massive explosion echoed far and wide, reaching the ears of the elite guards, still hunting for Lan Kuan. This attack, it has to be that same guy from earlier. Damn it, how did he move so fast? We can't let him escape again. We must capture him alive for General Maijin. The elite guards rushed toward the explosion site. Meanwhile, Lan Kuan received a message from Song Yunxiang. I'm done here. It's your turn now. Lan Kuan smiled. Got it. Star Soul construct. With his shout, the blue Star Soul General Ao Bing reappeared. He then summoned the Sand Dragon as well. The elite guards soon reached the blast zone, only to find the ground littered with corpses. But there was no trace of the intruders. Damn it. Where did they go? The captain growled, scanning the area again, but just around the corner behind them. Song Yunxiang and Lan Kuan were hiding, silent. Timao whispered curiously. Why all this running around? Why not just fight our way out? Song Yunxiang explained. Sand Sculpture City has heaven-rank cultivators. For us Earth-rank fighters, sneaking out quietly requires misdirection and tricks, especially with 2 peak Earth-rank enemies. Even the weakest among them are early Earth-rank. For Lan Kuan, dealing with them might still be somewhat troublesome. Although I consumed a lot of soul energy back on the Yellow Street, thanks to Lu Bu's unmatched strength, I could still handle it. Now that I'm late Earth rank, armed with Lu Bu, Ao Bing, Wenzhong, and the 3 envoys, plus the Star Soul General's astral replica, and an almost limitless supply of ammunition, facing an average heaven rank should be no problem. But still, I have a bad feeling. What if Sand Sculpture City has something unusual up its sleeve? Meanwhile, in the underground hangar of the Maijia household, the clan leader Mai Biao stared at a test mech, excitedly exclaiming, it takes linking 5 heaven rank soul energies to operate. Such terrifying consumption. If this could be mass-produced, wouldn't the entire Xiaoyu kingdom, and even the entire eastern continent be mine? A nearby assistant named Dan Pai overheard this, and couldn't help but remind him, Sir, please be careful with your words. This single test mech took me nearly 50 years to assemble. Some of the materials came from ferocious beasts, and acquiring them was harder than climbing the heavens. Mai Biao, feeling slightly annoyed, interrupted, all right. I was just speaking casually. At that moment, Mai Jin walked in slowly. Mai Biao looked at him suspiciously. Aren't you busy setting up the ambush for tonight? What brings you here now? Could it be that something went wrong with the plan? Mai Jin nodded and pulled up a soldier's report on a screen. Father, something has indeed happened. He displayed images from the soldiers' reports. The Jiaran clan's envoy, the Star Soul General, has appeared within the city. They're engaging our forces. What? They've appeared? Mai Biao was astounded. Mai Jin continued. Their appearance has disrupted our plans. However, it's fortunate that this Star Soul General is still new and untested. It seems he's only at Earth rank, so he's nothing to fear. Then, do we have a way to capture him alive? Even though he's just Earth rank, he's still an incredibly powerful envoy with a Star Soul General. So to ensure we capture him alive, I came to personally request that my father intervene and use your mech. My Biao grinned excitedly. No problem. I've been itching to test out this mech's power. My Gene, you're coming with me. Dan Pai, prepare everything. We'll engage at full force. Wait, we still need a name. Got it. Since this embodies Sand Sculpture City's will, I shall call it the Ultimate Sand King. Let's go. Time to capture the Jaren Envoy Star Soul General. Launch. Ultimate Sand King activate. At that moment, in Song Yunxiang's location, the elite guards received a report. The target has reappeared in the inner city. Infuriated, they rushed toward that direction. Damn that bastard. He's making a fool out of us. We're Earth rank elites. When we catch him, he'll pay dearly. Meanwhile, Lon Kuan had finished off a few soldiers and was waiting idly at his location. A short while later, he sensed a strong presence. They're here. That was fast. Let's see, makes sense. I'm a bit too close to the boss's location. Time to head to Mark Point 2 near the East Gate. With that thought, he leaped into action. Before leaving, he deactivated his construct. Then he activated stealth mode again, not long after he left. The elite guards arrived at his last location. The captain scanned the area, but found nothing. His rage flared instantly. Where the hell did he go this time? Why does he keep vanishing? He roared furiously. This is impossible. How is this guy so damn fast? Why can't we catch up with him? Why is it that at this moment, Song Yunxiang reached the predetermined location, marked as point 2 on the map, and then stopped? Tina was a bit confused. Why are you doing it this way? Hitting twice, then switching positions. I still think directly fighting our way out would be better. Song Yunxiang smiled faintly. He began to explain. This is a lure strategy. Lon Kuan and I, using similar astral soul generals, will cross paths with the enemy, leading those high-level combatants around like kites, while observing their top-tier combat forces. By staying alert against them and holding their attention, we find an opportunity to break through the east and north gates and make our escape. If we choose to fight our way out head-on, unexpectedly strong enemies are bound to appear, and often in such battles, we cannot rely solely on strength to win. Moreover, it would likely result in the sacrifice of some teammates. Tina asked in confusion. What are similar astral soul generals? Did you notice the key point? Trying to conceal the starry hues of AO Bing is just too troublesome. Might as well just fudge it by using Zit's ability as a Star Soul General. Thinking this through, Song Yunxiang confidently replied, since you're asking the key question, fine, no more pretending. Yes, I'm actually just a rookie Zit Star Soul General. My Star Soul General has a unique ability. It can transform into other Star Soul Generals. That's why I'm able to take on the appearance of AO Bing from Lon Kuan's group. I can even team up with him and toy with our enemies. Tina felt completely lost. Do we really have to go through all this trouble? What I mean is, don't all Star Soul Generals look pretty similar? Huh? Song Yunxiang was instantly thrown off balance. Tina sheepishly explained. To be honest, we from the demon race can't tell those human constructs apart very well. In our eyes, all those Star Soul Generals look more or less the same. Song Yunxiang rubbed his forehead in frustration. That's not facial blindness. You're colorblind. Then a message came from Lon Kuan. Sun Shang, I'm in position. Song Yunxiang nodded. All right. No more chatting, time to get to work. With that, he once again summoned a Stardust replica of AO Bing and directed it to the surrounding buildings, deploying the warplane Falling Leaf Lamp. The loud noise drew the attention of the Qingwei team. What's going on near the outer district by the north gate? Everyone rushed over and were completely stunned. Song Yunxiang was nowhere to be seen. Only a chaotic mess was left behind. At the east gate, Lon Kuan chuckled. I'm catching up on my end too. He then summoned the AO Bing Star Soul General again. What? He's at the east gate now. Quick, head to the east gate. Meanwhile, in the cockpit of the Sand Sculpture King, the soldiers reported the situation to General Mai Jing. Both the north gate and the east gate had that cocky human envoy, that new Star Soul General, appear within a short time. Our Earth rank warriors still haven't caught up to him. Orders were immediately given to place both the north and east gates under heightened alert. 2 leaders and their elite guards were sent to ambush and intercept. Clan leader, soul power is fully charged. Can we strike now? Hearing this, my Biao grinned confidently. Good. I command the ultimate Sand Sculpture King to attack. With his order, a bizarre, wing-covered machine ascended into the skies above Sand Sculpture City. At the same time, near the east gate, the Jingwei squad was panting heavily. Damn it, another wild goose chase. Hidden in the shadows, Lon Kuan smiled faintly. Next location, outside the east gate. Then we can fully withdraw. Sure enough, this is the master's plan. To toy with these Earth rank warriors at will. The pressure at the north gate is likely much higher than at the east gate. Hopefully the master can handle it smoothly. No, that's me overthinking. With the master's foresight and unfathomable means, nothing unexpected will happen.